The Opie and Anthony Show.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks.
Opie and Anthony.
Things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
All right, we get it. Hey, man voice.
Ooh, you're hurting me now.
Yeah, you know I am.
Grandpa, could you whip me up some ovaries?
iTunes Apple Store offers a slew of programs and games. How about the game Take Picture of Genitals, Send to Friend? Now open your cheeks up.
I want to hear the sniffing
Open
on the radio.
Cheeks wide.
Wait, shh.
My teeth hurt.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get the show on the road. Yes. Good morning. Tuesday, July 22nd. We are here. We are live in living color. The Opie and Anthony Show, starring Jim Norton. Phone number, 877-212-O&A. You got that ONARadio.com. And I think we're on in Buffalo today. We might even be back on in Syracuse today. But we're not going to be on in Buffalo in the very near future. What? Oh, yeah. I figured I'd tell you live in the air to get a natural reaction from you, Jimmy. I got a call from our agent yesterday. And he goes, remember when I told you that you guys were off Syracuse, but you're going to be on in Buffalo until at least January? I'm like, yeah. We weren't happy about it, but it was some backroom deal we made with Citadel Broadcasting, a radio company that's basically going broke, and we're suffering because of it. So all last week we had angry phone calls from Syracuse. Why aren't you on anymore? A lot of people pissed off because, this show takes time, but we definitely find our audience. He calls yesterday, he goes, well, now they've decided that you're going to be on in Syracuse, but you're going to be off Buffalo in the very near future. We might not even be broadcasting in Buffalo this morning, for all I know.
Why?
I don't know why. It's the nature of the business lately.
Do we have good ratings in Buffalo?
We have good ratings. I was going to say very good ratings. We're doing very well. Yes. And for the amount of money they're paying for this show, this is where it comes down to, because it's economics. For the amount of money they're paying for this show in Buffalo, they should just leave it alone and let us be. But they're saying they can't afford it, this and that, blah, 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 the economy, blah, blah, blah. We can't sell the show because blah, 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 blah. Still on in Buffalo, not in Syracuse. Well, that's going to flip. So we're talking to people in Buffalo right now, but we're going away, and then we're going to say hi to Syracuse again within the next day or two.
That soon?
That is the breaking news I got for everybody out there. And I know we're in other cities, and you're probably saying, who cares, who cares? We care. This whole business is falling apart.
I want to go to Buffalo and do a gig.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, well.
So
Syracuse, here I come.
And believe me when I tell you that they're not paying a lot of money for the show in Buffalo. We're basically, we are doing the show for free for Buffalo. Basically. Yeah, we're making a few shekels, but nothing to brag about. It'll pay a couple bills, but that's about it. No one's getting rich because we're on in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah,
we just love it up there, and we've been, our show's been a part of that area for many, many years, off and on.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Silly.
So I got to call Fareed today and give him a piece of my mind and say, what are you doing? And I also found out they don't even have a plan. They just can't afford the show, so they're taking us off the air with no plan. So they're probably going to just throw a guy in there to play music. And that'll cost at least half of what you would pay for a morning show like this.
Not if you just get some guy who does like one shift on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And say, do you want to just build your name up a little?
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't cost them much.
And then there's going to be a new market we're adding in the very near future. Terrific. Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Let's see. What coast is it on?
It's, where is it? I don't know.
Wait,
it's like the East
Coast. Is there water next to it?
Yeah. No, it's landlocked.
Is it Los Angeles?
No.
Oh.
Kind of East Coast, landlocked.
Landlocked. Jacksonville, Florida? That's where I want to be on.
Exactly.
Is it a good one or no?
It's all right.
That's not.
It's all right.
Let me translate for the fans. No.
Well, when you do a radio show, you want to be in like the top 10 markets. And then, like, good news, you're going to be on in Market 58. I just threw 58 out there because these dopes will now look it up. Well, the Market 58 is actually Dayton, Ohio. They're going to be on Dayton, Ohio. No, I don't know, but it's in the 50s somewhere. So it's like, oh, that's exciting news, Bob. Thanks. How about Los Angeles? How about San Francisco? How about Dallas?
How about Buffalo?
How about Buffalo? How about you keep us on in Buffalo? Unbelievable. Let's say hi to Brian really fast. Brian, listening on the Edge, the home of Shred and Reagan. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not too much, man. I'm out here working, delivering the Buffalo news, and kind of disappointed that you guys are going to be going off the radio.
I'm amazed we're even on today. Maybe they're giving us the chance to say goodbye.
Yeah, a little send-off, huh?
Oh.
Kind of disappointing.
I'm out of my mind about this. Out of my mind. It's like, what are you doing?
Absolutely.
What are you doing? We just had to deal with all these angry phone calls from Syracuse all last week, and now we're going to go back on Syracuse, but now we're going to get the angry phone calls from Buffalo. What are they doing?
First one. It ain't going to stop.
All right, Brian, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, let's say hi to Brooklyn Ace, a regular to the Opie and Anthony show. Brooklyn Ace, what's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Listen, are we safe here in the city? I mean, is K-Rock okay?
Yes, absolutely. The ratings came in yesterday, and Stunt Brain, how well did we do? There's two ratings systems going on. The old one goes away pretty much starting today.
Yep.
And the new one starts in September.
Like the second week of September, we get the new currency on the people meters.
Yeah, the electronic ratings, which we've been following for the last 6 months here in New York, and we've been killing with the new rating system. The old rating system, we don't do as well, but we had a very nice book here in New York.
Yes, the summer book or the spring book is out, and according to the 1834s, the 2554s, and the boys listening, we did very well, and it was really nice growth over all three of those months in the book.
Right on.
So thanks to the listeners.
Very cool.
But
Yeah. Huh?
Since when have radio executives counted on listeners, on ratings?
Well,
I blew the line. Bye.
All right.
Out. Goodbye.
All right, thank you. Let's say hi to Big Jim in Buffalo. Big Jim.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
Hi.
Man, this is such a crap hole in Buffalo. Now they're taking away O&A from us too. That's such bull, man.
And they don't even have a plan. They just want to save money. That's how desperate they are right now.
And
trust me. I mean, if they were paying us a ridiculous amount of money, I would almost understand. But this show is pretty much being heard for free in Buffalo, as far as we're concerned. It's a bargain.
And there's such hacks that you guys go against in the morning on these other stations too. If we have to listen to them, I'll just lose my mind, because if you know who you're going against, it even makes it worse.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of who we go against in Buffalo. There's nothing going on. Maybe we could get someone with like a bucket, and people could like start dropping their change in a bucket outside the radio station.
Is there anyone's life we can make miserable here to change things, or it's above our heads pretty much?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, in all fairness, I know the PD, I don't want to mention his name, but he's not happy about this decision. He was left out of the decision. He was told it comes from way, way up. He wants the show to continue on the edge. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm punching out, man. I've only been listening for the year and upset about the whole decision, man. So thanks a lot for everything, man.
All right, thank you, Big Jim.
Stephen Bayshore had a good point. He said, I feel bad for Buffalo. They're losing the Opie and Anthony show, and it's due to start snowing in 5 days.
We should have a fundraiser. I could raise the money that they're paying us in a week.
We should go up there.
In a week, and then go, here, stupid, here's your money.
Go up there, do an event.
Right.
Have all the proceeds get donated to the station.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so they could keep us on another few months.
There's really not a tremendous amount of money to be made from some of these markets at all.
It's just the state of radio. It's getting really, really frustrating. But I just wanted to tell everybody that because who knows? They might take us off before 6:30. You never know how this works. All of a sudden, they just pull the plug on you.
So I guess if people call once we're off, it would help. But I don't know.
Maybe they should start calling now and get the word out because this show is going away in Buffalo. When I don't know. I heard we might have the whole week. Gee, thanks. What does that do in the end? Well, you guys, you'll be on till Friday. Well, thanks. No, we won't. Watch what happens in the next few days. Yep. I say we're off by Wednesday.
I say we say something before 9 that wrecks it.
No problem. Get the word out. We might blow it up today. Jerks.
I want to stay on in Buffalo, though. I mean, it's like one of those weird little markets that we just do well in.
We love Buffalo. We were on another station in Buffalo. We did really well, so maybe it's time to start saying hello to those guys again.
I don't remember which one that was.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, we got a busy show. Anthony is homesick.
Yeah, he was sick yesterday, too.
Yeah, he's been sick since the birthday show we did for you on Friday there, Jimmy.
Yeah, he was going to come out to dinner, and he's like, I'm really not feeling well. I feel like woozy and dizzy, and he's got like a bad bug.
Yeah, he's got a very rare summer flu. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Who gets the flu in the summer? I bet you we couldn't find 5 people with the flu.
I hope that's
across America.
I hope it's nothing he was doing and he wasn't letting us know he was doing.
Yeah.
Rest areas, things of that nature.
Well, he did say he had a really bad sore throat, so I don't.
This is my first show as a 40-year-old. I feel the same as I did on Friday as a 39-year-old.
But don't you feel like relieved that it's finally over? Because when you get those milestone birthdays, you just want it to pass.
Yeah, I feel a little bit more relaxed now. I was very tense.
Yeah.
And there's something depressing about turning 40. It's just... Ugh. And then I went to my aunt's wedding, and they sang Happy Birthday, and I'm so easily embarrassed that, they're all up there looking at the wedding cake, and then I heard, Happy Birthday, and they're all looking at me, and I just, sink at my chair, and they all conga line over to me. The whole wedding party conga lined to me and sang around me. It was awful.
Did you jump into the line?
No, I didn't. I just sat there and nodded.
Thanks, you asses.
Yeah, I get really embarrassed really easy, with family stuff.
Of course.
And it was nice, but...
We had a good dinner on Friday.
It was great.
It was like celebrities all over the place.
Weird celebrities. I've never seen so many celebrities I didn't care about in my life.
Right.
I've never in my life.
E-Rock's laughing, but it's the truth. And I do this thing called Opie's Eye, and during dinner I was snapping these horrible photos because I'm not brave enough to ask for photos. I just can't do that. So we got what? Uncle Junior from The Sopranos.
He was there by himself. Dominic, what is it? Chinese or Chinese?
Yeah. He was eating dinner, a really nice steak dinner by himself. He had a little window seat.
Alone in a little 2-seater.
Yeah.
And he was going around saying hi to people. I'm sure he would have said hello. But I wanted to talk to him, and all I wanted to talk about is how much I loved him in Injustice for All.
Right.
Because he was in the first scene of that. He played Arthur Kirkland's, some guy that was with a hooker and had a car accident. All he did was get hookers in that, which I loved him in. I didn't want to mention the stupid Sopranos. All I wanted to talk to him about is his small part in that movie.
I'm sure he's sick of talking about the Sopranos.
Of course. Uncle Junior.
And then we realized that right behind Jimmy at the other table was Meredith Vieira from the Today Show.
I know who
Matt Lauer's partner there on the morning show.
Is she on it now?
Yeah.
I know her name, but I wouldn't know her. I didn't recognize her when I saw her.
They do wonders with makeup because without the makeup, horrific stunt brain, horrific. So we got a picture. We got a picture of the back of her head, and then we got a picture of Uncle Junior talking to Meredith Vieira. And then to our right was Boomer Esiason and his huge, Stonehenge head.
What a massive skull that guy has with a little thing of blonde hair on it.
Yeah, it could be the biggest head I've ever seen in my life.
And people like that just talk to each other because they're all famous.
Yeah.
It's so weird, having, we have fans / our nobodies.
Yeah.
It was really weird at our little table just watching this go on. Dominic Chinese walked over to Meredith Vieira, and I heard him go, and I'm a fan of yours.
No, they're not.
Yes, he did. He did.
No,
say
I
that
know,
to
but
them.
they're not fans of each other.
No, and they just do this back and forth, friendly hi. I'm kind of famous, and so are you. Or actually, very famous. And then Boomer walked over to talk to Meredith. He goes, I just wanted to come over and say hi. And it's just acceptable.
I guess if you're a celebrity, you got to just say hi to other celebrities if you're in the same restaurant.
Yeah.
Because like Meredith Vieira and Boomer Esiason would never hang out.
No.
Uncle Junior and Boomer would never hang out, but because they're celebrities, they all have to like mingle and talk to each other. Did you hear what I said to the waitress?
No.
Waitress comes over. I'm like, wow, a lot of celebrities here tonight. As I look around, she goes, yeah. I go, and I swear to God, I was joking.
Yeah,
I go, we're famous too. And she goes, so am I. The waitress actually goes, so am I. Your entrees will be out in a minute. Like, I'm like, and then I felt like I needed to explain, and I'm like, just let it go. Let it go. The waitress actually said, so am I.
I just shrunk into my hoodie as Ope said that. I must have been in the toilet when you said that.
I think secretly I did want her to go, really? Who are you guys? But she just goes, so am I. Like, she didn't recognize us from a hole in the wall, man.
No.
Nothing.
No, it's really bizarre in settings like that. Like, I know I wanted to say something to somebody, of course, like, yeah.
You just feel like you need to say something to somebody.
I want to stand up and go, hi! Somebody, please. But they're all old people in a steakhouse. It's not our fan base.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they don't have TVs or haven't ever seen the news.
Yeah, we were dining very nice on Friday. What about the other thing? The table next to us was celebrating a birthday, too. Did you hear what I did with that one?
No.
All of a sudden, they bring out the dumb dessert with the candle, and everyone starts singing happy birthday. And, other tables will join in. So our table sort of joined in singing happy birthday to this complete stranger. And I go, in the middle of happy birthday to you, I yell out, come on, Boomer. Like I'm trying to get some. Because we met him like at a golf tournament for Joel Hollander, so I'm like, all I need is to get a little eye contact.
We interviewed him in Vegas.
I know. All I need is a little eye contact and be like, whoa, hey, and he'll come over and we could be part of that whole celebrities talking to celebrity thing.
And then maybe Uncle Junior will come over.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But in the middle of the happy birthday song, I'm like, come on, Boomer, like pipe in. And then he would turn around like, who's that voice saying that? And then he would see us like, hey, and there'd be a recognition. And then we'd fast forward, we're all just hanging out.
Yeah, and then Meredith comes over. Oh, we should do a segment.
Right.
We're all laughing and toasting.
Right.
Instead of just being a couple of nobodies watching an old man dine by himself, a rockhead, and an old lady.
Yeah. Instead, what did we do? I go, Jimmy, move your head right now. So Jimmy would move his head, and I'm making believe I'm taking a picture of Jimmy so I could get an awful picture of Meredith Vieira's side head. And then with Kenny, I'm like, Kenny, I'm going to make believe I'm taking your picture. So if you look at these pictures, they're up on onaradio.com under Opie's Eye. You get half of Kenny's face and then Uncle Junior in the background. Because I wasn't even brave enough to just take a picture of Uncle Junior. I had to make believe I was taking pictures of you guys. And I'm like, Doc, right now.
We should get a camera for Opie's Eye. This way that some of these pictures will come out clearer.
Yeah.
It's tough with a BlackBerry camera to get in the dark.
But that's the beauty of it, because it's supposed to be just kind of primitive, So they're up there, whatever. But
how lonely does he look?
Huh?
Just sitting there by himself.
I don't look at that face.
How lonely does he look?
Well, the sad part is it's not even in a diner. Like people eat alone all the time in diners and stuff, but not at a really nice steak joint.
Yeah, you wonder if he has friends, or if it would be funny if after it went off the air, he can't get anybody to go out with him now.
Right.
Sopranos is done. There's no more cast party. People are like, ugh, you're old. Just go eat by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, is he like a lonely old man? Because old people are aggravating. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to eat with them.
Maybe
you don't have to.
Maybe he lost his wife or something. I don't know. Do we have the backstory on Uncle Junior? Or maybe he's never had a wife. Wink, wink.
Oh,
nudge.
Oh, yeah. Maybe like him and Ed Koch meet.
Right.
And they'd never say it to each other, but they both know. Sure.
All right, we're just getting warmed up. We got a very busy show. Nick DiPaolo stopping by today to say hi. We got the Mythbusters stopping by today. We got Scott Rigsby. He's the guy I met in Central Park. He's a double amputee. The first double amputee to ever finish a Ironman triathlon. That's just insane. So we're going to talk to him. And also, I'm obsessed with this guy as well as Jimmy. Jimmy's big time obsessed with this guy, and I'm recently obsessed with this guy. Talking about Philippe Petit. And he'll be on the show today to talk about his little walk between the Twin Towers back in 1974. Yeah, there's a documentary out called Man on a Wire, and I watched it yesterday. It's horrifying. We'll explain that next. We'll talk about the film a little bit after the break. Okay. It's Jimmy and I today. 877-212-ONA. Opie and Anthony.
Hey, this is Dominic Canese. You know me. I play Uncle Junior on The Sopranos, right? Yeah. You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Let's get ready to chuckle.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony Show. You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
God damn it! Fuck this show. Take this fucking show and forget it. Forget fucking basket.
Hey, good morning to everybody. You got Jimmy and I today. Phone number 877-212-ONA. Front page of the paper today. You got Brittany's Brittany smoking in front of her kid. You see this, Jimmy?
No, I'm looking at it now.
Brittany kid's smoke bomb. We got a lot of parents that are listening to this radio show, and they could totally relate to this. This is a no big deal type of thing. The paparazzi, they got a picture of quote, hot mama, almost hot again mama. She's getting there. Britney Spears, she's smoking a cigarette, right? And she's got her little son, Sean Preston, too. And he's reaching for the cigarettes that happen to be on a little table. And he's got a lighter in his right hand. And they're making a big deal out of this picture, like she's a bad mom or something.
Amazing.
Blah, 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 blah.
The kid's probably just like asking her if she needs one or do you want one. It's so stupid. Who cares? If the kid was smoking, that'd be kind of cute, actually.
Well, parents. I mean, we could talk to the parents, but at this age, 2 years old, this kid doesn't even know that it's a pack of cigarettes and a lighter. It's just a toy to him.
Well, what if he was saying, "Mommy, no more smoking," and what if he was taking it away from her?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
And remember, K-Fed, the ex-husband, used to be the bad guy. He was the one they were all saying he's a bad influence on her. When did this happen?
When K-Fed's music, here's what changed us about K-Fed. When he taught us how to dance. Popazao. I mean, come on. It's not like you don't love him.
Who doesn't love
terrific.
Popazao?
Remember he's on the Teen Choice Awards and Britney introduced him? It was like she had a rifle. I've seen hostage videos that were more happily delivered. She so
didn't want to do that.
Oh, was she embarrassed to have to introduce that boob.
Yeah.
She didn't. She's like, my man, Kevin Federline. It was so painful. She was pregnant.
Like,
she just wanted to have her baby and be left alone.
And then if you go further into the paper, it's very obvious that Britney is acknowledging that the kid got her cigarettes and a lighter, and she's basically taking the cigarettes and lighter away from the kid. Yeah. So just nonsense on the front page today. And then you got this bitch, the YouTube divorce woman.
Yep.
This is good news for the guys there. She went on YouTube and was bitching and complaining about this guy she was married to, the blonde. Most people remember this, right?
Do we have any of the audio of this? This was audio.
Why would we have it today?
We did do this, right?
Yeah, we did do this.
Okay.
I'm trying not to bitch today. I want to do a lot of bitching today.
I just want the audio.
If the broad is on the front page of the paper, don't you think we should have what?
I've been looking for it all morning. You're talking into the...
I've been looking for it all morning.
Wait, is she on the...
Well, where did it go?
Is it on YouTube still?
We did like hours on this lady.
Is it still on YouTube, York?
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever. You guys continue doing what you're doing. It's great.
Well, she was the lady, because I do remember we heard audio of her, who was like, she was crying that he's going to put her out in the street, and she was going to be left like destitute or whatever she wanted. She was appealing to the public.
Right.
But she came off like a spoiled rich bitch.
She sounded like a complete ass, absolutely. Well, guess what? She's got to beat it. She's got 30 days to get out of her really, really nice pad on the Upper East Side here in New York. And they're saying that the prenup holds, and they're going to follow the prenup, and she's got to go find somewhere else to live. So
yeah, she was mad that he was throwing her out, but there was a prenuptial, and it's amazing how women will fight a prenup. I don't understand why. If you sign the document, I guess they assume that there will be a loophole, or that they'll threaten to embarrass the husband, and he'll go against the prenup.
Right. And the prenup was more than fair. The amount of money she gets through the prenup is ridiculous.
How much is she getting? $750,000?
Yeah, she's woe is me over $750,000. And then I'm sure there's other things in there as well.
Yeah, he's happy. He said, I'm happy with the decision of the judge. I'm happy with the outcome. And she obviously didn't think it's the same way. She said it's disgusting. She said, I think it's disgusting. I'm really, really disappointed with the decision. She accused Smith of basically throwing me out on the street.
Right.
Like with $750,000, you can't either rent a nice place or put a down payment on a great place and then get a job. But the prostitution, I mean, it's like you forget that could be a fine bridge between an unpleasant divorce and a new life. Like you could hook for a little while. Women are never going to starve.
Right.
You could always do that. If I get fired from here or I can't do stand-up, I'm in trouble.
You could do a little hooking, though.
I don't know. I don't have a good enough body. I would love to think I'm waif thin enough. But older men tend to prefer twinks. But I'm almost at a point where I can be like a silver dad.
What's a silver dad?
Funny you should ask. That's a term that the older gay guys use for like for older, younger.
Yeah.
They have like these dad-son thing. It's so creepy sounding. Like
repulsive.
A silver dad.
So what? You got a little gray hair?
I'm guessing gray hair.
And you like the...
You guess, like a youngster. Not an underage youngster. I mean, 20 to 25, or a silver dad, I'm guessing would be in his 50s or maybe
silver
older.
Dad in his 50s, gray hair, and he likes the...
Yeah, silver bear. Yeah, it's a little gross.
That's just wonderful.
A lot of man-to-man kissing.
Men on the Wire.
Philippe's...
I'm obsessed now with Philippe Petit, or, in America, he's called Philip Pettit.
Yeah. Like Andy's creepy French brother.
Stupid French have to make everything sound good.
But by the way,
Philippe Petit.
As much as we give the French crap about being like, they're cowards because they're military, the two craziest son of a bitches are him and Alain Robert.
Right.
These daredevils are always French.
Yeah, we like to think the French are a little, swishy, but they do some crazy daredevil things. So you really should look up Men on the Wire, and I don't know. If you're into this daredevil stuff, it's a really, really good documentary, and we got Philippe Petit coming in within the hour. And I saw it yesterday, and I'm just horrified by what this guy did back in 1974. Horrified. Philippe Petit was like a street magician, and he did some of this tight roping. And he decided he was in the dentist's office or something.
Yeah,
when he was a little kid.
Yep.
And he's getting like a root canal or something, and he sees a magazine where they're showing that they're building like the tallest buildings in the world here in New York, or at least they got the plans, and in the end it's going to be the biggest building in the world. And at that moment he claims, which is a little far-fetched, but we'll go with it, that someday he's going to tightrope across the two buildings.
And he said he stole the ad. Like, he ripped the ad out of the magazine.
Yeah.
And he actually didn't go through his appointment. He actually left the dentist's office. Yeah. It was a drawing, a mock-up in the magazine of these two buildings. And it's kind of believable, because as a tightrope guy, it's almost like if you see a photo of two giant... Because tightrope walkers don't normally get two massive buildings of the same height.
Right.
If you see that as a tightrope walker, that probably is your first thought. Like, wow,
sure,
that would be great to make an ass out of myself in between those two things.
And he did a little tightrope between the two... What would you call them? The two towers at Notre Dame?
How high is that?
Not as high as the Twin Towers, but it's pretty impressive. He did that. He did something down in Sydney across the bridge.
Right.
That huge bridge down there.
All these weird landmark places.
Right. And you fast forward a couple decades, they build the Twin Towers, and he decides to do it. And the planning that went into this was years and years of meticulously planning for this tightrope across the Twin Towers. And the documentary is amazing. He's a little swishy, and he's very animated, but a bit swishy.
But he's not gay, because he was with that chick for a long time. Because you watch it, he goes, "This guy gay?" I don't think he is. I think he's just...
That's what I was asking that same question yesterday when I was watching it with some people. I'm like, because I always think of like my friendship with you, Jimmy, and I'm like, I've never given Jimmy a piggyback ride before.
I've often. Remember?
Because all of a sudden they're laughing and they're running in the field together. I'm like, I guess I should explain further. Like, he had a whole crew of people, and they would do the tightroping with these landmarks and stuff. And it's not just Philippe Petit; he has a crew that sets up the tightrope and make sure everything goes smoothly. And they train and all this. And they had this big, huge field wherever the hell he's from, and they would set up the tightrope and they would practice there. And next thing you know, they're just running in the field with each other and tackling each other. And Then there's another scene where Philippe Petit is getting a piggyback ride from his pal. And every time one of these things happen, I'm looking to my right like, what do you think? What's up with Philippe?
Why would you do that in a field? Don't just high five or shake hands or say good job.
Have we ever ran together in a field and kind of rolled around together, Jimmy?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we always walk slow when we're together. Right. It's almost gay to speed it up. It's actually called Man on Wire. Man on Wire is the instinct to say it, but because that's what he was charged with.
Right, Man on Wire.
Yeah,
You're right.
Man on Wire is what
that's how they wrote it up back in the day. And Philippe Petit, it should be a good interview because he's very animated.
He's a weird guy. I guess you'd have to be. I don't know what we're you have to be kind of weird to want to do that and then to go through with it.
Right.
But if you're afraid of heights, I mean, the photos, because there was unfortunately no video of it.
There's one video from the street where you see this dot in between the buildings, literally a dot. But look, I'm looking at the photos again. It's called manonwire1word.com, and you can see some photos. And just looking at these photos, I'm just horrified all over again. The guy, when he finally got this tightrope set up, he went across back and forth, back and forth. He was up there on this wire for close to 2 hours. He lays down and starts looking at, quote, the heavens, and he saw a bird above him, and he's trying to get the bird to come down to his level. There's another shot where there's like a plane that looks like he could almost touch it because the plane is, they fly pretty low over Manhattan.
Yeah, it was probably LaGuardia Airport plane, and it was above him.
Right.
And there's a shot taken. I don't know if it's from the ground, but it shows him and it shows a plane above him. And, he's just laying there.
Yeah.
He laid down on the wire.
And then he sits down on the wire. And I'm thinking, all right, you sit down on the wire. How the hell do you get up without falling?
But he looked down. He said he wanted to see we're saying everything he's probably going to say, but he sat down on this thing, and there's a way to balance yourself. I think his foot was actually dangling down, and his one foot. It's like picture yourself sitting on a rope, and your right foot is balanced on the rope, and then your left foot is kind of like hanging straight down at the bottom of the queue.
Right.
And he just stopped and he looked to the ground.
Yeah, he leaned over to look too,
because he said it was a view he'd never have again. And he wanted to see it.
The detail that went into this, I mean, they got fake building IDs. They snuck. It turned out to be at least a half a ton of equipment they snuck into the Twin Towers, and then they had to get it up there, and then there were security guards, and they hid under a tarp for like hours and hours while this security guard was kind of in the area. They weren't sure if he was still in the room, so they stayed there for hours.
Yeah,
and then and then in the middle of the night, they're able to set up this tightrope, and how they did it, they shot an arrow, and this is all the stuff that's explained in the documentary, and took a lot of training. But basically, they shot a bow and arrow with a fishing line from one tower to the other. That's crazy. And then on the end of the fishing line, then they had like a small piece of rope, basically. And they pulled that across. And then when they had the rope across, then they were able to get something a little heavier. And they pulled that across. And then finally, the actual tightrope wire, they were able to pull across.
Once they had a rope big enough under it.
Right.
And I'm so stupid all these years, because I always knew that they used a bow and arrow, because I heard that years ago. And I'm such a dope. I always assumed that they hooked up the tightrope wire and fired it across. It never occurred to me that you'd have to work your way up to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's kind of heavy. How did they actually fire that on an arrow?
Yeah, because I think they also said that at one point they dropped the wire or something, and it took hours and hours to pull it back up because that's how heavy it is.
What, did it fall off the building? You mean?
Something like that, I believe, yeah, if I was paying attention, yeah.
And they actually, there's so many, there's a photo right there.
He's just sitting on the edge of the Twin Towers, or one of the buildings.
On the top of the towers, there was always, I mean, it's like a giant rectangle. And on the top, it angled inward slightly. And I think Stunt Brain said that's where the rigging for the window washing was hooked up.
Sure.
And maybe that's a 10 or 12 foot angle going up. And he's just leaning back against it with literally his foot 6 inches from the edge of the building. And there's nothing for him to grab onto in front of him.
Yeah.
It's only him leaning back, which is preventing him from falling.
Yeah, it's horrifying every time I think about this. And then finally, dawn hit, and he started his tightrope walking.
Oh, I'm looking at that picture. I have my hands get sweaty when I look at things like this.
Right.
And it's just there's certain photos that are really creepy because they give you a relative. You can see how far from the ground he really is. Why would you stand there?
Right.
I just want to say, why are you standing there?
Yeah.
Why don't you go inside like a nice person?
But he trained for years. He was kind of spying on the Twin Towers for a while. He would come to America and really, really study how people got in and out of the building. He was able to get upstairs, and he was on the roof by himself. He actually made believe he was a French reporter when the Twin Towers were opening, and he was able to interview all these people that gave him a lot of inside info. And then he goes back to somewhere in France, right? And then he sets up this whole field to mimic the Twin Towers, like the distance it would be and all this stuff. And then he was on the wire practicing. He had his friends with ropes, like moving the wire as hard as they can, and their whole job was to try to knock him off. He was only about, 15 feet off the ground, something like that. And they couldn't knock him off the wire. That's how good he was at doing this.
Well, yeah, in case of crosswinds, I mean, even if it's a nice day, there's still unpredictable things, especially at that height. I mean, we've all been on top of a tall building before.
Right.
And you're always kind of worried. And there's one photo it was in the documentary. I don't know if it's in this book I have, but it was in the documentary where the wind can be so bad up there. He's holding on to a piece like a flagpole. He's in the middle of the roof.
Yeah.
And his legs are straight out. What's the word, the way a flag would be? It's not perpendicular, whatever the word would be. But he's being blown almost straight out like a flag.
Yeah.
Because at that height...
like a flag.
Yeah. Yes, he's being blown out like a flag because at that height the wind is so strong, or it can be so strong.
Yeah.
So that was one of the problems. They were worried about the wind, obviously.
And then there's another picture where he's kind of like, they're all like shirtless, and one of his buddies is in bed while he's doing sketches on the other side of the room. And once again, I'm thinking, wow, have I ever been in the same bedroom with Jimmy, topless while he's in bed?
I will say,
I don't, and he had a long-term relationship that ended after he did the walk.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, she probably had enough tightrope, and she's like, enough about the rope. We know the sky. We get it.
I think she got sick of looking the other way. God, he's getting another piggyback ride. Finally said, I'm done with this.
Years ago, I was working with Jay Moore in Florida, and he goes, come in. And he called me into his hotel room, and I walked in, and he's just on his bed naked with his face in the pillow and his hands behind him, let's just say, making a nice presentation. And I walk in, and it's like a cyclops just staring at me. So guys do weird homoerotic, funny things like that.
Well, that's the famous...
funny, yeah.
That's the famous thing we talk about from time to time, gay or funny.
Yeah.
Philippe Petit, there's nothing funny about, rolling around in a field with another guy.
Well, those were
or getting a piggyback ride.
Weren't those reenactments like... a lot of it's done in reenactments, I think, the older...
No, that's real footage from back in the day. That's the only video they got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a young Philippe Petit.
Because I know that
positive.
They did use some actors to reenact certain moments.
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe that was a reenactment. Maybe he just said, be festive, run around the field. Yeah. That's what they did.
So then the other thing really fast, so then he's doing his walking across just saying it, across the Twin Towers. It's like 200 feet, 200 some odd feet. And then he was just toying with the police and stuff. Like he would get really close to them and he'd go, and then he would go back the other way. He started smiling. What did he do? Those French, they like to do a
bow?
Like a salute. He was saluting New York and everything. What is it called? When
I'm not sure.
A curtsy?
You take your hand like this, it's open, and you're just to the right.
It's like a gesture of,
But you're saluting like you're giving respect
Like when you're trying to get one side of the stadium to yell, you go, over here.
Yeah.
It's like slowly backhanding a child. That's the best way I can think of it.
But I have to ask you a question. They were up all night. They were hauling all this equipment up. They didn't sleep.
Right.
And then he gets up at dawn. So it's like staying up all night.
Oh, I think
doing all kinds of labor, and then you walk across a wire for 2 hours?
Yeah, I think his adrenaline took over. I don't think he left I think at that point, they stayed there all night.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. We bitch about being tired on a Monday.
Right.
Oh, I don't want to do radio today.
3 hours of sitting down. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, the things I found amazing about it, because I've been kind of looking at this off and on for many years, and Jimmy reintroduced me to this whole thing a few months ago, and what a coincidence that the movie came out, because we felt like we were talking about something that no one talks about anymore, but now people are talking again because of this new documentary. I really thought it was like just a bag with a rope in it, and that's it. When they said in this documentary that it was over a half ton of equipment, I'm like, how the F did they get that up there?
It's amazing. You'd never get even close to the building, close to an elevator today with any of that stuff.
But you know what, though? They had stuff. They had security back then, though. They even had building IDs and things they had to have duplicated.
Right.
And it's funny. I was just thinking that's why we had that silence for a second there. Penn. when he was in, Penn Jillette actually said the day of that walk, one of his friends said, do you want to come down? There's a guy going to cross the towers today. He could have went and watched that live.
Wow.
And he didn't. He said he was new to New York, and I don't remember why he didn't. He was like,
Right.
I'm sure he regrets it, but he could have actually went down and seen that live.
The biggest shame of this whole thing is there's no freaking video.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because some of his other things were videotaped. I'm surprised that he didn't think to get some kind of camera up there.
Yeah.
I know they were big and bulky back in '74, but, they have video of him, like, crossing, across Notre Dame.
Were those videos
or Notre
he
Dame.
took, though? Were those videos he took, or were those things that other people took of him? Because I wondered, too, if he had the cameras to do that, why didn't he just bring it up with him and set it up?
Right.
It's a stationary.
Because all you get is pictures, which is a shame. Could you imagine seeing video of this? I would pass out.
It was probably like everybody thought that somebody else brought the video camera.
Yeah.
And they all looked at each other and go, oh, we don't have anything. All right, you get a camera?
Yeah.
Took a few stupid pictures. Although the pictures are good, and the way the documentary is done, I mean, there's enough photos in it and enough of him talking. It keeps you interested.
Well, he's very animated. He makes it.
Yeah.
He really makes the documentary because he's good with words. The other thing, really fast too. This was a downhill, like the rope was on an incline or decline, depending on which way you're going.
Well, one of the buildings is a little higher than the other.
Right. So it's not even. It wasn't even like an even. The rope wasn't even. He had to go down and then up. Slightly.
We've talked about this on the show where the greatest fear, it's like I would always think, hey, is that an actual photo of his foot, E-Rock?
No, it's an artist.
Okay. Could you show that again? Because we're looking at black and white photos, and there's an artist rendition of what his foot, like...
Get the F out of here.
What his foot looks like from his point of view, like if you look down and saw the foot.
The F out of here.
Like the building, like the ground below you, if you look down at your own feet. And what would happen if you were in the middle of the wire, and all of a sudden you just realize, like, I don't know how to tightrope walk. And you just stuck. Like all of a sudden you came out of the haze and you were in the middle of the wire.
Right.
It's like, is there a way to kind of just get down and grab it? Because even the guy, one of the Wallendas, the Carl Wallenda, couldn't grab the rope when the wind started up.
Well, the problem was he got too old.
Yeah, he's in his 70s.
That's what scares me about Philippe Petit, because then he's got to be, maybe we can look up his age. He's got to be 60 by now.
I don't know. No, he might. Yeah, that was what, 28?
34 years ago, Jimmy.
94.
He's got to be close to 60,
wow,
if not. And he's still doing some tight roping. And I'm thinking now his skills are diminished, just imagine like old golfers, old major league pitchers. He doesn't have the skills like he had when he was in his 20s or 30s, but the mind is still there. And I have a feeling that he's going to do something stupid and he's going to fall to his death.
Well, he does a lot of benefits now. Like he does stuff in like Washington Square Park where he'll just
5-6 feet off the ground.
Yeah, little cute things.
Might break an arm if he falls.
Yeah, perhaps spill his drink. I mean, that's crap that I would do.
But I think he's the type of guy that I think he really wants to do one more biggie. I really think that he wants to do something.
But what is there to walk between? Like
after that, I don't know. That's just crazy.
Yeah, how do you follow that? Just like, let it go. He has too. He's pretty much kept his mouth shut for 34 years.
Right. He's 59, so
now he's doing a documentary. It's like, it sucks because 9/11 happened for a lot of reasons, but I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't before then. And why wait so many years? Like, why not just do this in 1980?
I don't know.
Why are you doing this documentary so many years later?
Well, we'll find out. He's going to be here in a few minutes.
Let's just scream at him when he comes in
right.
for trespassing.
Yeah, let's just scream at him. Are you gay? Why the piggybacks?
It's funny as you.
Why the frolicking in the fields?
So, do we find the audio of that lady yet?
I'm looking for it.
All right. Uh-oh, crossing out.
Oh, they're here.
Oh, the Mythbusters are here, too?
They have arrived, and he's on the way.
All right, we got Jamie and Adam from, of course, Mythbusters. They're going to join the show next. We got Scott Rigsby. Don't forget about him. He's the double amputee that is the first to complete the Ironman triathlon.
Didn't someone die doing that, too, recently?
Yeah, over the weekend.
Wow.
And they just did an autopsy, and they don't know why he died. There's like these monster jellyfish in the Hudson River, and all the athletes were getting stung.
Were they?
In the swimming portion of the race.
They swam in the Hudson River?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a mini triathlon in New York this weekend, and the first time we've had someone die. But the good news is the Hudson is clean enough to support jellyfish. The bad news is they did the triathlon, and all these guys were getting stung.
They said that the jellyfish population is way up. It could be either global warming or the fact that we all love tuna. We all love our tuna.
What, do they eat jellyfish?
Oh, yeah. The tuna love eating jellyfish, but there's not as much as many tunas out there. So the jellyfish are just exploding, and there's tons of them in the Hudson River. And these athletes had to just swim through them. And I guess they were as big as like what do they say? Like plates.
Yeah.
Do they hurt to get stung by?
These particular ones, yeah, they'll hurt you. And they're trying to figure out if this athlete got stung, which caused a heart attack. They don't know why he died, really. Even after the autopsy, they can't figure it out.
Yep.
Who would swim through the Hudson River? I didn't realize it did that.
Oh, there were thousands of them this weekend.
Where? How did I miss? I was in New York.
Right outside your building.
Why am I screaming? Really?
Yeah, literally.
You didn't hear the splashing?
No.
Literally, if you looked down, Jimmy, you would have saw this race that was going on.
Oh, I didn't know.
They ran up the West Side Highway, and they swam right outside your building, basically.
I had no idea. What was I doing?
I don't know. You couldn't miss it.
I missed.
You couldn't miss it.
I was in New York the whole weekend. I missed.
They ran up and down the West Side Highway. They jumped in the water somewhere up in somewhere in the hundreds, and swam down to like 79, 80th Street.
Are those the jellyfish?
Yeah.
E-Rock showing a picture of the jellyfish. They're like giant splotches. You can really see them.
Yeah.
Wait, were they attacking people because people bumped into them, or were they pursuing people?
No, only when you bump into them.
E-Rock, Mike.
They don't chase you.
Oh, okay.
Chase you. They go like not even
like this.
Yeah,
they're like a cloud.
They can't move. I don't even know how they survive. What, the food has to go to them? How does that work?
They probably just slowly.
All right, we got to take a break. Let's step aside. We got MythBusters, those guys coming in, and Philippe Petit, Nick DiPaolo should be here in a few minutes. Very, very busy day on the Opie and Anthony show. It's Jimmy and I today.
This is radio at its most fascinating. Cutting edge radio, I don't know how to do this.
Opie and Anthony. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony show. We got a busy one. We got Philippe Petit coming in about 40 minutes or so. We got Scott Rigsby, the double amputee, the first double amputee to complete an Ironman triathlon. We have to say hi to Nick DiPaolo. He has entered the studio.
You have to? What's it?
Sure.
We just have to. It is a chore.
Nick, just to figure his
I made it in here in 36 minutes.
Oh, that's
From
a new
36
record, right?
miles. Yes. 2 people died on the way.
She obeyed the speed limit, I hope. I'm kidding, Nick. I'm kidding.
Look at me falling for it. Not too early. What, Jim?
Also on our couch, we got the MythBusters.
Hi, fellas.
Jamie and Adam. How are you guys?
Very good. Good morning.
Now, I'm kind of confused. You guys are here to promote Shark Week.
We are.
But you're the MythBusters dudes.
Well, you know, sharks, explosions, guns, it's all dangerous stuff. It's
Are you hosting Shark Week, or is Mike still doing that?
No. Mike did it last year, I think. We did it back in 2005, and we're doing it again this year, 2008.
This is called They Couldn't Get Mike to go out and do promo, and these guys happen to be on the road, and they're nice. And they're like, all right, we'll cover it while we're gone.
Yeah, we'll do your promotion for you. My brother's a marine biologist, so I know everything about sharks.
Oh, awesome.
They don't.
Is he really?
Yeah, they hate humans. The only reason they bite is because they get confused and then they let go.
You talking about brothers?
Oh.
We're far too bony for them as a meal.
Right.
Yeah, it's not enough fat as for the return in energy.
Well, give Oprah a bathing suit.
And he also says there's sharks literally everywhere, and if they really were into humans, it would be an all-out war.
Yeah, one of the surprising things when we talk to the biologists is that they would say things to us like, you want to come up to some conclusion about shark attacks from a statistical standpoint, they don't occur.
Mm-hmm.
When you consider the hundreds of millions of people that get into the water every year, the millions and millions of sharks, and the 40 shark attacks, it's a statistical non-number, and it's not worth studying.
Right. I think we did some research ourselves. I think more people die from vending machines falling on top of them. I'm serious. We did this whole thing once, and more people die from a vending machine falling than being bitten by a shark.
Are you sure about that, Opie?
Yes, I am, Nick.
At least in the ocean, it happens that way.
My brother-in-law actually is a surfer in Santa Cruz, and he asked me, I actually worked out the math and emailed him a detailed breakdown that even as a surfer in the water 5 days a week, he's far more likely to be struck by lightning anywhere than he is to be bitten by a shark in the ocean.
I wonder if the statistics occur to somebody, because you're right about this. Like, it's so rare to have it, but as someone is having their leg ripped off, I wonder if like a part of their brain just goes like, how unlucky.
I should have played the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I should have just brought a soda machine with me or done something stupid, because this sucks.
You start cursing God. Why am I the one?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it does happen. There's great footage. You guys have shown that footage, right? Of that woman getting her leg ripped off and then swimming to the boat, and all of her friends are like pulling her on the boat.
Oh, that was a myth.
That's not on our show.
No?
No.
I've seen
What, you didn't get the...
That was a Three Stooges episode, Jim.
That's exclusive.
Oh, wait. Oh, that was Orca. No, you don't remember what the...
That's exclusive video that you guys didn't get a hold of, I guess.
No, you've seen the footage, right?
That is the sickest shark attack ever filmed.
Wait a minute. I don't remember seeing this myself.
It's a woman, and she gets her whole leg taken off, and now she's swimming to the boat, and behind her is just a pool of red.
There's camcorder footage. Yeah, it's real.
You sure it was a leg? Doesn't have a heavy day.
Yeah, she was cranky when she got on the boat. No, there was. You guys know the footage I'm talking about, right? There's a woman in the water, and there's a bunch of people going, "Oh my God, it's a shark!" And you can see the fin around her, and she goes under.
Yep.
Red comes up, and they pull her in the boat, and you can see like where her leg was.
It's like a scene right out of Jaws.
Wait. Is this fairly new footage, or
it's a bit? Yeah.
Can I find this on the intranet?
You could.
Sure can, Nick. We're looking for it right now.
I think it's
I like that. Anytime a woman gets hurt.
Yeah, here you go. This is the one.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad. We get to the Mythbusters, we're showing a video that people
you might want to use
see.
this during Shark Week, guys.
You guys have never seen this?
No.
I haven't either.
I'm
getting excited.
There's a woman right now. You can see her. She's in the water.
Oh, paddling.
She's got both legs.
She's screaming.
And you can see the shark. There's still
there's the shark.
And the shark grabs
the fin
her.
out of the water grabs her.
It's March of '94 this happened.
The stupid cameraman. Hold steady.
Try to help the dummy.
That's how you know it's real. It's like he's really like panicking because the camera's all over the place.
He's probably laughing.
And there's water.
And there's the blood as you go back to her.
Let me see that stump.
This was back in 1994, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Roy Schneider. This is fake.
This is the worst video ever.
Roy Schneider.
Schneider. I'm
you
sorry.
guys, the one to keep an eye out for on the internet is the one where this guy's on a surfboard and he has a chunk of meat on a line. He throws the chunk of meat out. The shark takes it, and then he gets up and he's surfing away with the shark towing him.
You're kidding.
Shark surfing. Yeah.
Is that a new sport?
We just came across it. I think about 3 weeks after we wrapped shooting Shark Week in March.
Right,
and we thought, we'll use that next time.
Oh, that's too bad. That's hilarious. Actually,
do you guys? Most people watch this stuff because there's something about a shark attack, like that type of footage that you want to see somebody getting attacked by a shark. I mean, that's the main reason to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, sharks. It's understandable that people would react this way because you can't see them. You know, they're these big creatures that are really dangerous, and they're under the water. You don't know whether they're there or not. It's like the ultimate sort of a monster kind of a situation for people to fantasize about.
All right, can I interrupt you? Because now we're looking, you could go to YouTube or we'll throw it up on onaradio.com.
Oh, geez,
there's a video of shark surfing. These guys are insane.
No, they're great.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this is real. I feel like you can see the wake of the towing boat, but again, it's perfect for the next time we have to do shark myths.
So, okay. So you guys should try to do this for Mythbusters. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys do shark myths?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's one about a shark that everybody thinks that's just not true? Like, will they chase you on land and into the street?
Only in a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Well, is there one that's not? Like, what is one that is not? What is one that's not? That's completely not true? Like, what's a real misnomer about?
They only have 2 teeth.
Well, I guess one of them is that they acquire a taste for humans, which. All the evidence that we have is just the opposite. When usually these bites that occur on people are a mistake. And then when they chomp down, they realize it's not their regular food, and they spit it out. And that's standard for these cases.
But unfortunately, you got about 1,000 teeth going into your flesh, so that's the problem.
But we did a lovely set of tests the last time we hosted Shark Week of some lemon sharks, which are kind of considered the lab rats of sharks because they're so universal and they're very sensitive. And we exposed them to fish blood and human blood, and it was really marked. You could do it several times in a row. Shark would be swimming around the tank. You'd drop a drop of fish blood, and the moment the shark got near the fish blood, it would start turning its head around looking for where the food source was. He did the same thing with human blood. It swam right through it, didn't even notice.
Well, the funny one that we did actually was a story about sharks being repelled by chilies. So these native Indians had, trailed them behind their boats to protect them. These were fishermen.
It's perhaps the oldest shark repellent there is.
Is it true?
And we got in the water with we can't tell you whether it's true or not. We tested it on the show, but we ground up like 5 pounds of habanero chilies. And
Jamie is like, well, let me try it. And he dips his pinky in and he goes like this. The tiny spit on his tongue, and then his whole head turns red.
Yeah, and so we had these balloons of these things that we were making sharks bite, dangling them right next to bait fish, and they were exhaling it through their gills. They were just swimming through clouds of these habanero chilies.
Well, I've never seen one in a Mexican restaurant, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that chance. Did you guys jump in the water with the sharks?
Oh, yeah.
Or Shark Week?
Every single day. It was like we were like chumming up the waters behind the boat. Actually, I did a lot of the diving this one. So Jamie's back there gleefully chumming up the water. The water's boiling with lemon sharks. And then in order for me to get down to the cage, to the cameraman and the shark divers, I've got to jump off the dive platform into the middle of like 26 to 8 foot long lemon sharks.
Nice.
Was it lemon sharks?
Yeah, they were lemon sharks.
Yeah.
There were some tiger sharks in the area, and actually somebody had gotten killed by one of the tiger sharks in that area just a couple weeks before that.
So yeah, we were swimming with the tiger shark that already had the taste.
Are you doing anything with? Let me ask the nurse shark. Our greatest terror is the nurse shark. Is it retarded? Is that a retarded shark?
Well,
no one respects the nurse shark.
Well, actually,
the hell is a nurse shark?
It's just a big dumb thing.
It looks scary, but it does nothing.
Nurse?
It barely moves. It just hangs out at the bottom of the water.
Well, see, actually, that's a good question because a lot of people think that, and so as a result of that, nurse sharks are one of the more dangerous ones to be around, or at least statistically, more people have been bitten by nurse sharks.
Well, here's the problem with them:
they
is
can't
their
even open
jaws.
their mouths.
They have ratcheting jaws. They don't have very large
my
teeth.
wife.
But if they grab your finger, their jaws ratchet. You lose your finger. Even if you kill that shark, you're not getting your finger back out of those jaws.
I would make that trade, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, even
take my finger, just let me live.
They have really powerful jaws, and it's a flat palate, and they can actually, just mash whatever they get in their mouth. You'll lose it.
Why nurse shark? Where's the name?
Does
it wear a little white hat?
No hat. Does it dispense medicine?
What is that? No.
Don't they swim close to the bottom? They're big, dumb, lumbering sharks. They don't look like great whites. They don't look
They swim
frightening.
across. They're called a benthic feeder. They feed across the bottom on microorganisms mostly.
They hang out in lobbies of hospitals.
They eat shellfish. Actually.
Oh, okay, shellfish. There you go. That's why.
So they're not Jewish.
Why don't Jews eat shellfish?
No.
Well,
You didn't know that?
I've never known.
Where are you from?
I have a lot of Jewish
Oklahoma?
friends. Don't get me wrong.
Rich Voss is your favorite friend, for Christ's sake.
I didn't know that until just now,
Plus,
too.
he has tattoos and he smokes,
Yeah.
and he thinks Christ was the Messiah. He's not a good Jew.
No, he's not.
I had no
Bad
idea
example.
that they don't eat shellfish, Jewish people.
No clue.
Yes.
All right.
They said.
All right, let's say hi to Coke Logic, a regular
kinda
to the Opie and
smart all
Anthony
of a
show. Coke Logic, what's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Bernie looks
Amy and
good.
Janet, I'm screwing that up.
What?
Amy.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Stupid.
You're falling apart.
Mythbusters.
Okay.
Okay. You guys had a special where you did you blew out a candle with using a subwoofer.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, you guys didn't put a screen up on the subwoofer, so I want to know, was there air pushing out? Is Nick laughing at me?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
We're
Jesus
all
Christ, is this nerdy? Go ahead.
we're all listening to you, and we feel a silent revulsion.
He's like, is Nick laughing at me? Yeah, he is.
Go ahead, Coke.
Smokers laugh. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Coke.
Okay, so the candle blew out by the subwoofer, but you guys didn't put like a pop filter or a screen. in between the candle and the subwoofer. So I was wondering if it's like popping your peas. Is that what blew out the candle?
Well, yeah,
like confirmed.
The air that is moving off the cone of the speaker is what put out the candle. Yes, it's not just sound waves by themselves. I mean, and for that matter, if you didn't have the air there is no sound in a vacuum. So, I mean, if we put a shield up in front of it, nothing would have happened.
The airwaves is. Yeah, the air moving is what is creating the sound.
So, okay, hold on. Coke Logic, an excellent question. Did air blow the candle out? Or was it a suicide?
Well, the
Did the candle choke itself?
I have a question.
The experiment was to see if sound alone.
I have a question for you guys.
Where you calling from, Radio Shack?
Before your question, I got an observation. I think you guys are running out of stuff to do if it's coming down to speakers blowing out candles.
No.
No, we're. I mean, the beauty of the show is that we'll take on things like that, as well as we're still doing it. Next week we're going back and we got about 1,000 pounds of thermite that we're going to make an SUV disappear with.
Oh, we're also doing slipping on a banana peel, and we spent all last week. The special effects industry, we're working on a model that you don't. The art directors, bad art director, and you don't think the model's that good looking. You call it turd polishing.
Okay.
So we spent last week and we're spending part of next week finding out if it is possible actually to polish a turd.
Like I said, running out of things to do.
Why don't you tie some rocks around Keith Olbermann's neck and see what happens? Put him in a tub of nurse sharks.
Hey, do you guys do something with the Kennedy assassination? With the did you guys hook up stuff with that?
Kennedy get assassinated?
I was shocked myself.
What happened
recently in Dallas? Did you do anything with the trajectory and stuff like that?
Yeah, we have not done anything to do with the magic bullet. We did one of our earliest episodes was about whether or not an ice bullet was used, and we busted that twice. But no, we haven't gone near any of the other.
People really? I'm sorry to interrupt you. People really thought an ice bullet.
They really did. That was really one of the
ice
prevailing
bullet?
theories.
What's that?
I don't know. It doesn't exist. You can't shoot a bullet.
The idea is that an explanation for the magic bullet was that an ice bullet was used that created the wound, and that's why they found this one perfect bullet. And we proved that it's ballistically improbable, if not impossible, to successfully shoot someone with a bullet made of ice because it's going to vaporize long before it gets to them.
Yeah.
And if you're going to shoot somebody with something, it's not subtle. It's you might as well use a real bullet. There's plenty of other ways to hide your evidence.
Yeah, who wants to hide a bullet by using ice? If you're shooting at the president, who's going to say, let's take a shot with the ice thing I thought of?
Didn't kill him, you just get an ice cream headache.
Are you guys doing anything with alternative fuel and all that? Like figuring out other ways to, run your car?
Actually, yeah, that's become kind of a
That's
personal.
a good one.
That's become a personal thing for me as far as we mess around with these technologies all the time. We've done things with fuel mileage, gas savers, and all this kind of stuff. And 90% of it is just
99%.
99% is nonsense. But there is some pretty good stuff out there. There was one that we have done already, which was what did we call that about driving angry?
Oh, yeah. With all the fuel efficiency stuff we've done, whether or not these various things work, and even tailgate up or down only improves your mileage by maybe 2%. It's like 10 miles over a full tank of gas. But we actually just did, it's going to air in a few weeks. The other team did driving angry versus driving relaxed. And you won't believe...
How do you get the guy angry?
The difference. That's the funny part to watch.
Okay.
That's the very funny... How they got Tori and Grant angry is fantastic.
Please tell me that angry driving... I know you can't give it away, but I'm really hoping that angry driving saves gas.
Please.
Please. How great...
You could have seen me coming in here this morning.
Especially if they could break it down, like honking incessantly saves you this much. Ethnic slurs.
Slurs.
Yeah. Can't speak English.
I'd be getting 65 miles to the gallon.
Let's go to Joe in Jersey. Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
morning.
Jimmy. Morning.
Guys, I just wanted to mention, what's it like working with Kerry, man? She's a little hot one, huh?
Well, yeah, she's cute. What can we say? Kara's great. She's one of the nicest people we know.
We heard you both slept with her. Is that a myth?
That would be a myth.
At the same time in a Shark Tank.
Right. Let's go to Kenny. Lemons. Kenny, what's up, buddy?
Just wanted to call and say I love the show. And
Which one?
I love the Opie and Anthony show. I love the Mythbusters.
Okay.
And Shark Week, with that girl on the show, quite sexy.
This was a terrific phone call. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, he just kind of gave like a breakdown of what he thought of everything.
Right.
You guys okay? Shark Week? The girl's sexy. I'm gonna go.
The
kill
weather's
myself.
okay.
Yeah. Danny's a huge fan of Mythbusters. Danny, you got a question for the guys? He's seen every single episode.
Yeah, I probably have. You know, it's funny because, like, working on this show, a lot of celebrities come in and out. You know, Gene Simmons was in just, a few weeks ago. The big, huge people have sat on this couch, and the Mythbusters are here, and I'm actually,
You're nervous?
I'm frozen. I can't think of anything to say.
Well, the way you started out was good, though. Like, normally we get big celebrities.
No, I know.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
I just put my foot in my mouth.
You can come over here, sit right here on the couch if you'd like.
No, that's okay.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, there'll be another
I'm
myth.
extremely. These guys are, for lack of a better word, they're kind of like my idols. You know,
Is that
just
right?
Just from the science and the engineering standpoint. I mean, it's
Why, did
brilliant
you
stuff.
go to school for engineer?
No, I dropped out of high school. that's why I look
like
up
a vaudeville
to these guys so
setup.
much.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, look how smart they are.
His idol is anyone with a diploma.
We got at least 3 or 4 guys on staff that never graduated high school, so.
It doesn't show. How's things going in Buffalo?
Yeah, you got 2 guys on the air that never have. I didn't. Anthony didn't. He didn't. Bunch of dopes.
You got to have a question for Mythbusters.
Yeah, you love these guys.
Oh,
Which one was on the Charmin commercial?
That was me.
All right, thought I recognized.
I squeezed the Charmin.
What was your favorite episode?
Yeah, there you go.
well, no, I think my question for the Mythbusters would be: what is the myth that is probably most contested? I know you guys do your recaps of myths that have gone one way, and then the viewers contest the outcome, and then you guys will redo it. But which myth out of all of the myths was one that was contested the most?
Probably the most vitriolic response to.
Remember, I dropped out of high school. I don't know what that means.
The angriest response we ever got was for doing one called Sniper Scope, which in Vietnam, this famous sniper named Carlos Hathcock, I swear, supposedly shot another sniper who was aiming at him by shooting through his scope and into his eye and killing him.
Yeah, it was just like Saving Private Ryan.
Cool.
And we did it. We unfortunately we had bad information. We did it with the wrong scope and the wrong ammunition, and we busted the myth. And I'll tell you, you don't want to piss off. I don't want to piss off snipers. I think it's bad policy.
What did you use? What was wrong about what you used? Did you use a cannonball?
A water gun?
No, we used
Super
ammunition
soaker.
that was close, but the scope, it turned out, the scope that that his enemy was using was very different than the one we were. It's not like a modern scope at all. It's much smaller, has a different reticule and different lensing and everything. And once we actually went back and got the correct scope, and we actually managed to find a ballistic expert who found us a box of ammunition from that year that he,
cool.
like the identical stuff. Then we were able to shoot through the scope, and we were able to confirm that the myth actually happened.
Yeah, but the shot required, I made the shot finally, and it was all like at point blank range, but the shot required that you put that bullet within, like, I don't know, a hundredth of an inch or less of accuracy. There was no, if you were off to the side by a hair, it was going to hit some of these other metal parts in the lens or in the scope, and it wouldn't start.
How far away are they supposed to be?
I think they were supposed to be at least 200 yards. Yeah. It's an unbelievable. And I'll tell you, the other thing is when the email comes in, it's really angry, and then it has the, I'm a sergeant, I'm in the military, I'm in the Navy, I've been teaching sharpshooting for 30 years. It was the email was not only scary but really well backed up.
It's amazing. It's really amazing the stuff that they actually let you get away with. Like, sometimes I'll watch a new episode, and it's like, I can't believe who's letting them do that.
We ask that question
like
all
what?
the time.
Like what?
Well,
just where, where I remember one shooting fish in a barrel, and you have Jamie firing a shotgun into a barrel full of there's an insurance company that has to underwrite that. So I mean, I can only imagine what they've said no to.
A barrel of what, Danny Fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, what are some of the things that the insurance company has to know? You just can't do that.
One of the things we learned is that
naked women.
We can't call. We were going to do one about awning fall. You've seen Jackie Chan fall through a set of awnings and stuff. We wanted to do that, and we proved that we actually came up with some interesting results on that. But then we wanted to show how Hollywood stuntmen would do it. So we were going to set me up with on a descender rig and do it. Except that we had called what we were going to do a stunt, and the insurance company, the word stunt has a very specific. It's a term of art that means an acceptable amount of risk. And for them, with me and Jamie as the assets we are, they were like, you can't do the stunt. You're not allowed. And Discovery said, well, that's fine. Is it a little more insurance? We'd pay a little more of a premium. They said, no. There's nothing you can pay. We will not let them do the stunt. But Tori can do it. They let the girl.
He's expendable. No, it's one of their build crew.
Well, we always figure out a way of doing it. I mean, we're no different than a couple of your average 14-year-old pyromaniacs. But the difference is that we call the police and the fire department before we set something on fire.
It's just funny that they wouldn't let you do something like that with like rigging and harnesses. But I remember there was a myth to test whether or not you could use a 9mm bullet, a .22 caliber bullet, as a replacement car fuse.
Right.
And that was fine. You could plug a fuse into a bullet into a car fuse, and they're hiding behind like what amounts to plexiglass, and the bullets are just firing indoors, mind you. It's not outside of a range or anything. And it's amazing what some of the stuff that
that was one of those urban myths, right? Some guy did that, and he killed him.
And it shot him in the
groin.
Yeah,
of course.
One of the things we found out is that we will describe a setup and send diagrams to the insurance company, and we will say, well, we're going to set this up and we're going to heat it up and it's probably going to be under pressure, and if it blows up, we'll be behind the blast chamber. And they'll say, what, if it blows up? No, it can't blow. And then we realize that if we say, when it blows up, we'll be safe behind the blast chamber, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
They don't like if, they like when. They like it if we tell them exactly what's
taking all the guesswork
tell
out.
them to expect the worst.
We do experiments on the Opie and Anthony show. We're just like you guys. Our experiments are a little different. We did foaming.
We took your the Diet Coke and Mentos thing.
Oh yeah,
and we just took it to the next level. We how do you say this? We did foaming.
Danny.
A private fountain.
Yeah. Think
like a
female.
private dancer, a private fountain.
Private part fountain.
Think
with
female.
Diet Coke,
Think
Mentos.
foaming blank, and it wasn't as impressive as we were hoping.
It was an homage.
Yeah,
I'd like to say
it wasn't
to the
as
Mythbusters.
impressive. Nothing was hitting the ceiling or anything. It was just kind of.
I have an idea for that. We're going to rework it, though.
We're going to rework it
very soon.
Maybe we can get some advice from these guys. How can we rework the foaming blank?
Are you referring to an enema, perhaps, or is
No.
you should try that.
Front side?
No, we can't. We're trying to keep it sexy.
Actually, you know what? There's actually a news story kind of relevant. There was Stunbrain was telling me about it. There was an apartment. There was a guy spraying for bugs. I think it was in the city. It was in Manhattan, right? Mm-hmm. It was in Jersey, and he ended up blowing up his entire apartment because he had sprayed too much bug spray.
Yep, we did that on the show.
Yeah, and I do remember you guys doing that on the show. I just thought it's so funny.
Obviously, the guy wasn't a fan of the show.
Yeah, he
would
didn't
have never attempted that.
It's amazing though how.
Wait, how did the whole apartment blow up?
Yeah.
Was there a candle lit or something?
Lighting farts.
He
next
had a gas stove, and once the initial explosion happened, apparently there was a reaction, and boom, big
Well, what's
fire.
the initial explosion? I don't get it.
Yeah, what triggered the spark?
It's a pilot
He
light.
filled
the
his
pilot.
apartment
All right.
with
The bug
spray, and the pilot light
lit
set it off?
and then the apartment caught fire.
All right.
Remember that if you want to get rid of your wife.
Have you guys ever done the drop a penny off the Empire State Building while it
We
crack
did.
your head?
Yes.
They did that
And
one.
I missed it, so did it?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
It's well. First of all, the observation deck of the Empire State Building is 300 feet back from the outer extent
You'll
of
never
the
get
base
to
of the building.
yep.
So you have to be able to throw a penny a football field. Second of all, we figured out the terminal velocity of a penny is only about 70 or 80 miles an hour at the worst. So Jamie actually built a staple gun that fired a penny at that speed.
You should have seen this thing. It was ridiculous.
That's cool.
I saw that one.
So what happened?
What happened?
Well, he shot me in the ass, and I'm still here. And then we wanted to figure out
What kind of damage did it do to your butt?
It's like getting hit with a pellet gun. It
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. But then we wanted to figure out, is there any speed at which a penny could be lethal? So I built a slide for a penny that bolted to the end of a rifle with a blank round in it. And we got that going, I think, like Mach 4, 2,500 miles per hour. And we fired it into a skull, a real human skull encased in ballistic gelatin, and it still wasn't powerful enough to break the bone. I mean, you'd be really upset, but the penny just doesn't have enough mass.
Wow.
Especially because the wind. Is that what you also counted to for wind resistance as it was falling?
Well, what happens is it tumbles. It's not like a
Doesn't
bullet
cut
that's or an arrow that's aerodynamic. So that tumbling causes turbulence. It slows it down.
We did another experiment. We should tell these guys.
We did?
Yeah, the bottle rocket thing. You guys should do the bottle rocket thing.
Well, I wasn't around. That was before my quote-unquote time.
Oh, we built a heat shield and everything. This was right out of Mythbusters.
I remember listening to it.
It was, we fired a bottle rocket from a girl's
stuff.
I'm noticing a
Jesus,
theme.
really?
I'm noticing a theme.
But it
to your
worked.
myth.
We were pretty impressed with that one.
You know, what was I going to say?
Are you feeling more comfortable with the myth?
Yeah, I am.
All right, good.
I am.
I like it.
Danny's fast forwarding. We're going to be
'cause
doing lunch and drinks together
Using
in a few
drinks.
hours
Girl's
from right
vagina.
now.
In the movie Fight Club, there's a scene where the main character's pilot light gets blown out in his kitchen.
Yeah.
And the whole apartment fills with gas.
Yeah.
And then the compressor from the fridge is supposed to spark and ignite the gas.
Yeah.
I don't recall if you guys have ever done something similar to that, but...
We did when we did the Bug Bomb episode. We actually experimented with 4 or 5 ways in which a spark can be generated in your house. There's a motor starting. There's a pilot light. There's light switches with weak contacts, and absolutely all of those will totally work to ignite a properly mixed gas.
Right, you still need to have that, right? The air to gas ratio.
Yes, the stoichiometry.
Yeah.
I have a question about the bug bomb. Was it actually regular bug spray, or was it those bombs that go off? And
Yeah, it's the bombs that you
He wasn't
set
holding
and you
it.
leave your no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the bombs you set and leave your house. And the thing is, it'll say only use one of these at a time. And people who have a bug problem will buy 10. We found so many cases of this happening. I mean, at least I think 4 or 5 cases of people destroying their apartment or destroying the entire building by setting off 10 of these bombs and then leaving the house and a pilot light or something kicking off and blowing up the whole house.
Because they want to just get everything in one shot.
Yeah.
Washington Heights.
Well, we got to get the big plug in. We got to take a break here, but it's Mythbusters, Shark Week. Anything else you could give away as far as the new season goes?
Yeah, well, actually, as soon as Shark Week airs, we've got 11 new
When
episodes.
does it air, by the way? I don't have that in front of me.
Shark Week airs Sunday at 9.
No, I mean the special Shark Week.
Yes,
on
it's,
Discovery.
I believe it's Sunday at 9.
Sunday at 9, okay.
And then starting Wednesday, we have 11 brand new episodes airing all in a row. They've been saving them up since we did the Alaska special back in March.
Nice.
You guys also have a book out. Is this an older book or is this new?
Which one?
The Mythbusters, the explosive truth behind 30 of the most perplexing urban legends of all time.
That one is that one's a couple years old.
Okay, that's on the prep sheet like it's coming out tomorrow.
Just one last question for the
Still a good read.
With the new season coming up, I did hear, I don't know if it's fact, but I heard that one of the new episodes is going to revolve around the moon missions and whether NASA actually made it to the moon.
Absolutely. We take on the myth that the NASA moon landing was a hoax, and we had a lot of fun. That was awesome.
Oh, that's got
I can't
to be
wait
a good
for that
one.
one.
We have Buzz Aldrin coming at the end of the month, too. Is this going to air soon?
It is. It's actually one of the very first episodes that airs in the new
All right,
season.
we'll check it out
He
before
gets
he gets
testy
here.
about that.
Yeah, he really gets testy.
I know, he's
We're
great.
hoping
Why
he
wouldn't
kicks
you?
us in the groin or something. That's our goal with that interview. All right, we got to take a break, guys. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters. Thanks.
Shark Week starting Sunday, right?
Sunday at 9.
All right. Up next, Scott Rigsby, the double amputee that is the first to finish an Ironman triathlon. Stay there. You got that right. We got a real busy show today. I want to thank the Mythbuster guys for coming in today. We got Philippe Petit coming in about 15, 20 minutes. We got Nick DiPaolo sitting in with us today. Hey, Nick, you promoting anything?
Yes, I am. Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor this Saturday night. And then next following weekend, comics, August 1st and 2nd in New York City.
Very good.
That's the,
You're not doing our thing?
When? No, I had this comics thing lined up.
I thought you were on a thing. We've been promoting that you. Oh, my God.
No, my agent was
Yeah,
called, right? He called you guys, all right?
He called Peter.
He didn't. He's finished.
Well, we found out, I think, yesterday, where I did.
You're kidding.
We've been,
No,
we've
I'm not
been
even
promoting
kidding.
you since we announced
We've
it.
been-
Oh,
we've-
Apollo is part of
We've
the
been announcing.
Cowards!
We've been announcing it as part of the lineup for weeks.
I told him this over 2 weeks ago. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we took care of it. We talked to the show.
No.
No, he didn't.
No. Okay, where's Kenny? Kenny!
All right, that's... All right.
Club Soda Kenny. So Nick's not going to be part of the virus show this
No, I'm at
this summer.
comics.
What do you got, Kenny? When did you find out that Nick wasn't doing
No.
the show?
2 weeks ago, but allegedly Live Nation got involved and was trying to figure something out. And allegedly there was a mix-up by superartist.com, Nick's rep.
Well, that sucks, Nick. We wanted you this year. There's going to be a big crowd out there for you. Big crowd.
I know, I heard. It's like a 4-hour show, too, right?
Yeah, it goes on all night long.
I'll make one of them, I'm sure.
All right, Nick DiPaolo sitting in today. 877-212-ONA. Let me take care of something really fast, then we're going to move on to Scott, who's sitting on our couch. Allie in Buffalo, New York, the home of Shred and Reagan.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
All right, Allie.
I was just calling because I woke up this morning. My eyes aren't even open, and my boyfriend's telling me that you guys are off the air this week in Buffalo.
Well, yeah, we made a deal with Citadel Broadcasting. They wanted us to, let them off the hook for Syracuse, and they said that we would stay on in Buffalo until at least January. And
guys,
we
you're breaking my heart.
We kind of made that deal. We weren't happy. Well, it wasn't even a deal. We didn't have a choice. They were basically telling us that's what they were going to do, and then they kind of made it look like we had a choice in this whole thing. So last week we had a lot of angry phone calls from Syracuse. They're still calling, by the way. We could put Syracuse calls on today as well. Everyone really upset that we're not on the air in Syracuse anymore. So then we were sort of dealing with that, and then I got a call from my agent yesterday, and he said, "You're not going to believe this, but now you're going to go back on Syracuse, which we're not on today, and they're taking us off Buffalo ASAP. So this could be our last day, Allie."
So does this mean that I have to listen to stupid Shut Up and Rock in the morning?
I don't know what they're going to do. They don't have a plan. It's a financial thing because we're doing very well in Buffalo, and for the amount of money they are paying for this radio show, trust me, it's a huge bargain. And for some reason they can't even afford that. It's just ridiculous. We love the Buffalo market too, so we're really, really frustrated. We lose some of these markets. We're like, who cares? We've never been there. We don't know the people. Whatever. But Buffalo, we have a long relationship with Buffalo.
Well, we knew something was fishy when y'all lost Philly. That just didn't seem right.
No, well, they're going to do the right thing with Philly sooner than later, so whatever.
I mean, luckily we still have XM and all, but it's not the same.
No, we're not happy. I don't know what you could do. I know the PD up there, he was left out of the loop. He said it came from way, way above him, and he's like, what can we do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to get on the phone with some people today because I think it's complete, bull crap.
Yeah.
So
watch your mouth, Opie.
All right. Yeah. And I'm hearing rumors they're just going to play music and maybe move Shred and Reagan back. I don't know. It's a cluster F. It's unbelievable.
Well, we're going to miss you, and I got to head to work, so I'm punching out, but damn, this sucks.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, take an acting lesson.
Yeah. Damn, this sucks.
Thanks, Allie.
It does suck. All right, guys, take it easy.
All right. Our next guest.
Insult your biggest feelings.
F Allie. F everybody.
Now I think I see the problem.
This business is so stupid.
I wanted to get back into it. It's the only thing that excites me is radio, and turns out it looks like Marconi was making more money.
You're better off doing a podcast at this point, Nick.
I don't know how to do that.
It's a very unstable business right now. Hey, in studio we got Scott Rigsby, right?
Yep.
Okay. Right. I'm praying I've been saying your name right the last week or so. This is a little strange. I was in Central Park. I just jumped on my bike. I was going to do a loop, and I'm biking along, and all of a sudden I see Scott with like prosthetic legs standing there in the middle of Central Park in the road where we all bike, and he's got a camera crew. I'm like, I got to stop and talk to this guy. And then we talked for about a half hour or so.
Yeah, sure.
And his story was completely fascinating. Turns out that Scott is the first double amputee to ever complete an Ironman triathlon.
Actually, I'm the first double amputee to ever complete the Hawaiian Ironman. It's the Ironman World Championships. There was a guy earlier from Japan, 22-year-old guy, that actually finished Ironman New Zealand.
Right.
But then the Hawaiian Ironman is the oldest one, and it's actually the elite athletes of all these 22 Ironman competitions around the world.
Right.
It's the best athletes, and they meet in Hawaii every year in October.
So someone was before you?
Yeah, there was.
All right, beat it.
There was one young guy.
The New Zealand one, though.
Japanese don't count.
New Zealand one's easy. Anyone could do that.
No
one stinks.
No one wants to hear the guy that did it second.
You and it's. I was looking at your thing, and it said that you lost your legs when you were 18.
Yeah.
And the way you lost them was very, very
horrific.
I mean, there's never a good way to lose them, but this was like particularly. I wasn't sure if you were a soldier. You want to say what happened?
No, actually, I was 18 years old. I'm from Southwest Georgia. And I was working a landscaping job, and we were pulling a flatbed trailer. I was sitting on the back of a pickup truck, and this 18-wheeler tried to pass us in a no-passing zone. We were approaching a bridge, and he didn't think he was going to have enough room for both vehicles being on the bridge, so he moved over. I got knocked off. grabbed hold of the side of the truck for a brief second. We were going like 45 miles an hour, and my legs got lodged in between our flatbed trailer tire, and I literally bounced up and down the road over 324 feet on the pavement. My friend in the middle that was sitting on the back of this toolbox with me grabbed my other friend, or he would have been crushed between the side of the truck and the bridge. And then he went to grab me, and I wasn't there, so he started beating on the back of the glass. And then that's when the truck actually stopped.
Do you remember it at all, or is it just what people have told you, or do you remember that moment?
I remember the collision, and right before the tractor trailer collided with us, I remember, gosh, I can't believe this guy's going to pass on our bridge. And then the next thing I know, I'm holding on for dear life for just a second. And then the next thing I know, I wake up and my buddy, I'm trying to get up. I played high school football, and so I just got my bell rung. And so I'm trying to get up, and he pushes me down. We've been in an accident, and help is on the way.
Oh, so you actually were there in shock, obviously. And when did you realize that you had lost both legs? Did they tell you there or in the hospital?
Well, I mean, it was probably I think it was literally probably 3 days later. I had a concussion, so I woke up like 3 days. Later on that night, I take that back. Later on that night, I woke up probably 1 o'clock, and I heard this doctor talking with my parents, and he said something about taking off both of my legs. And I sat up and I said, "You mean to tell me you're going to take off both of my legs?" I'm an athlete, and this was a manual labor job, earning a little extra money for college. I was in phenomenal shape, and only had one scar on my body. So to go from an 18-year-old kid who has one little scar on his body to some doctor telling me, "Hey, we're going to take off both of your legs below the knee," I was, I didn't even know what to think. And then I passed out, and 3 days later, I woke up and I was missing my right leg below the knee.
And it was just so mangled. There was nothing to do.
Well, I mean, mostly part of it wasn't even there. It was drug off right above my ankle.
Jesus.
And then my left leg, my calcaneus, the heel bone, was completely knocked off. And so they shipped me from Southwest Georgia to Atlanta, and they took some bone chips from my back, some muscle from underneath my arm, and some skin from my thigh, and actually created me an ankle. I had 8 surgeries in 6 weeks, 17 in a year, and this was July 23rd, 1986 when the accident happened. So over the course of a year, I had 17 surgeries, and then I went off to college at the University of Georgia, and over the course of probably 7 years, I had additional surgeries. 12 years, I had 25 surgeries.
So what you had, you had the right leg was gone. You were using crutches or a prosthetic?
No, I was using a prosthetics. I went off to college after a year, but I was having really my college years over the course of 7 years really consisted of getting a surgery, going to class, getting a surgery, going to class, and so I graduated and then worked odd jobs along the way. But really over the course of 12 years, I had 25 surgeries, and then I went to a surgeon there in Atlanta. He's Dr. Scott Galogli. He's the team physician for the Atlanta Falcons and Thrashers, and said, "Hey, I want you to take off the other leg." And so literally, June 22nd, 1998, he took off my left leg 4 or 5 inches below the knee, and 6 weeks later from the time that I had surgery, I was running foot over foot, just like if you saw me in the park.
Absolutely amazing, by the way. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, 13 years after the accident. Or 12 years after
12
the accident?
years accident. Yeah.
You had the other leg removed. Was
Yeah.
it just... Was it so irritating, or was it like you couldn't do anything with it, or why would you have had that? Was it just...
It really, I mean, I had never run, I was never able to run farther than just a mile. And then, I mean, I would be trying to run in college or out of college, and I would run, and I would, because half of my foot was kind of manufactured via skin graft, muscle grafts, it would bleed. I would open up my shoe, I'd take my shoe off, and there'd just be blood in there, but I didn't feel it. And so I really felt like I was going to run the risk of infection. And plus, over the course of 12 years, $2 million worth of medical expenses, 25 surgeries, I felt like I was a professional patient. I felt like I was a prisoner trapped to this leg. There was this life that was out there that I needed to be leading, but I couldn't do it unless I took off this other leg. And like I said...
That's got to be a hell of a decision.
Yeah. That was your own decision? That wasn't a doctor's... Nobody recommended that, or?
Well, I mean, obviously, I had to go. I mean, when I went to the doctor, prosthetics. You got to think about how prosthetics have advanced.
Right. Since then.
Here in 1980. I mean, in 1986, would you ever have thought that a double amputee sprinter would have been banned from the Olympics or
yeah.
try to compete in the Olympics.
Right.
And the interesting thing is nowadays prosthetics are advanced. There's not a technical advantage, but that's not to say that won't happen in the future.
Right.
But as it stands today, there's not a technical advantage. But back then, I mean, I was probably wearing legs that weighed 10 or 15 pounds each, and
cumbersome, not really getting around that well.
Made out of fiberglass boat material,
right?
And now they're made out of space shuttle material.
What exactly? Because looking at you, I mean, we've seen people with prosthetics walking, and it looks comfortable and natural. What holds, because the leg, it starts off, the sneakers and then the prosthetic, and then it kind of goes into a bandage which comes up on the thigh. What holds the leg on and keeps it from coming off?
Basically, there's only like 4 parts to a prosthesis. There's just like you put on your socks when you get up in the morning, I put on a kind of a sheet that's made out of urethane. It's just as a gel liner, and that's called a prosthetic liner. Slide it over my legs. My legs are off 4 or 5 inches below each knee. Just slide it over my leg, and then that acts as an interface between my leg and then a carbon fiber custom socket. Just imagine kind of a mold, almost like a denture for my leg. And then that gel liner sits into the prosthetic socket, and then a sleeve, just like you have a athletic sleeve. Well, I have a kind of a silicone sleeve that slides over my leg, and it creates an airtight seal. And then right below the prosthetic socket is a small little tube that's a one-way valve, and it pushes the air out, so my legs are held on by vacuum.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And then there's the last part of the prosthesis is just really the foot portion of the of the prosthetic.
Now, when Scott walked in this morning, if you didn't know any better, you would say this guy has both his legs.
Yeah.
I mean, you look down and it's obvious, but you walked in and I can't see below your waist, and I'm like, it looks like he doesn't.
The movement
it's amazing.
I mean, last night, I worked for 2 things. I worked for 6 months. I was in the internet field in sales. And I was working with one of my coworkers, and I said, "Hey, I need to go get my. I've got an appointment with my to get my legs fixed." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Well, I have 2 artificial legs," and she never knew. She worked with me for 6 months, so most people don't know if I have have pants on, and even if I have pants on, like this homeless guy hit on me last night. He said, "Hey, man, can you give me some money?" And I'm like, "You just asked a guy with no legs for money." And he looked down. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I didn't even know." He was looking at my face. He wasn't looking at my legs.
Right.
How many years since this is? So, how old are you now? You're in your 30s?
No, actually, I turned 40 back in May.
So over half your life with.
22 years. Yeah.
Are you like? I mean, we always personalize it. How would I feel? Do you feel like kind of pissed off that it happened, or are you more grateful? Like I probably should have been killed, and I'm lucky to be here at all.
No, I mean, really, a lot of the biggest questions I speak to kids groups across the nation, and the biggest question that I get is if you had a choice for, God to give you back your real legs or have prosthetics, continue with prosthetics for the rest of your life, which would you choose? And I said, hands down, I would choose my prosthetics, because at the end of my life, I want, it's all about what did I do here? What kind of difference did I make here? Obviously I was saved from this catastrophic accident. I should have died. And so there's a reason, obviously, that I'm here. And I feel like that is just to make the world a better place. Show people that, whatever happens to you, you can overcome it and make something of your life and really invest in other people.
There's something about Scott, too, because I never stop for anyone, man. And living in New York, you see a lot of weird crap going on. But your personality just was oozing, and I go, I got to talk to this guy. An observation, though, you're cheating on your height today, I say.
Oh, definitely.
When I met him in the park, he was a lot shorter. We were about the same height in the park, and he walks in today, he's like 6'2". I'm like,
yeah.
That's not one of the advantages.
Yeah. Well, I'm about, if I want to get on a date, I can ask the girl, hey, do you want a short guy or a tall guy? I was like, do you want I said, do you want to date a hobbit or a tall guy?
Yeah.
So, my brother, when I had the second leg off, My brother was 6 foot tall, and he's always been taller than me. And so, I just jacked up my legs so I can be taller than him.
Oh, he wants to tell you off, too, so badly.
Much, yeah. And my friend who's actually on the back of the truck, he's still hacked off at me. He's still 5'7".
Right.
People ask me, were you ever bitter after the accident? And I said, no, but my best friend still is.
When the accident occurred when you were 18, obviously you attempted to continue being an athlete, and it was tough for you until they removed the left leg in '98, and then you've been going all out ever since.
Well, I mean, the way my kind of athletic journey, I mean, I had those 12 years there. The last 3 years of that 12-year period before I had the other leg, I was addicted to prescription medications. And then I finally had this other leg off, and it kind of gave me this free life. And I just wanted to live like a normal life, get married, have kids, stuff like that.
And did you do all that?
I haven't found the right one yet.
Oh, okay.
Oops. And I'm trying to find somebody to help me with that. So I started working working, and I just didn't really find myself, find that purpose until. December of 2005, Christmas of 2005, I saw a lot of our soldiers, men and women in the service who had put themselves on harm's way for our freedom. I saw them coming back from the war, and it just really ripped my heart out. And I thought that I've always had this uncanny ability to be able to balance and walk on these prosthetics. I played, just sports like softball and flag football and stuff like that, but never anything endurance. And so I saw our men and women, and I heard about this girl that actually did the Ironman. She was above the knee amputee. She was actually on the front cover of Runner's World in 2006 and 2000, and Triathlete Magazine on 2006. And I said, you know what, I need to do an Ironman. And so I told my friends, I said, hey, I'm going to do an Ironman. Well, I told them, if you look at me, I'm built like a linebacker.
Right, you're stocky.
I'm not built like a
marathon runner.
Yeah, a swimmer, a cyclist, or a runner. And so I told my buddies I was going to do an Ironman, but I didn't know how to, in January of 2006, I didn't know how to swim, I didn't own a bike, and I'd never run farther than a mile on a set of prosthetics. And I told them I was going to swim 2.4 miles in the ocean, I was going to ride 112 miles on a bike through the lava fields of Hawaii at 110 heat index, and I was going to run a full marathon, 26.2 miles, and I was going to do it all under 17 hours. And that really started my journey. My first small distance triathlon, a 600-meter swim, a 12-mile bike ride, and a 5K run was April 22nd of 2006. Wow. Well, fast forward 1 year and 8 months, and I finished one of the toughest endurance races on the planet. So it really took me 0 to Ironman in a year and 8 months.
So you have it. Look, you're wearing a pair of the prosthetics now. I just have sneakers, and obviously for just getting around and walking. And then you have two other ones with you. One, which is fitted. It's kind of like almost locks around a bike pedal.
Yep.
And the other one, it looks almost like a scoop, like a very thin, like almost like an ice cream scoop. And what is
like a spatula, like a curved spatula,
like a Russian sickle.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that one for?
That's
for running.
The first one that you were talking about that kind of looks like an upside, it's like a trident, and where it has the cleat, the bicycle cleat. I ride a normal bike just like everybody else, and so I clip into the pedals just like everybody else.
How do you get off? Clip in like you're locked in. Like if the bike started to tip over, could you jump off it?
I would need to twist my knee. Most people twist their ankle, but I need to twist my knee to pop out.
Yeah, Jimmy, most of these guys are locked into their pedals these days to begin with. So,
are they? Okay.
Yeah, real bicyclists, they lock in. But they can twist real fast and they can get out. So what he's saying, he has to twist from the knee to get off.
Yeah, all you need to do is just press down, and the pedal locks in, and the cleat locks into the pedal. And so you're locked in. You get more power that way.
I saw him on the running spatula thing. I'll call it the spatula thing. And he was just bouncing the whole time I was talking to him because it's hard to balance on those, obviously, but you can run like a mother effer.
Yeah, there's I'm balancing 200 pounds on 3 square inches.
Right.
And so it's like it doesn't kind of give me any kind of a technical advantage or anything like that. But what it does is it's just simply just like running shoes. It just cushions the blow. of running.
Do you did you ever have, or how long did you have? I guess you did like phantom feelings for where you like when you're running. Can you feel anything below the knee? Or does your mind tell you that there's something going on? Because they say that when you lose a limb, you have phantom pain,
itchy, and all that stuff. Yeah.
I haven't really had phantom pains because the right leg was taken off by trauma, but still, even then, it was the surgeon had enough time to do a very good amputation. The left leg was taken off by choice, but still, it was it was taken off in a textbook kind of way. Where our soldiers, the real phantom pains, I haven't had those, but the real phantom pains that our soldiers are having is these makeshift, bombs and stuff like that are shattering some of the bones. So they take off a leg, but the bone fragments are going into the leg, and the bone doesn't realize that it's separated, and so it creates a bone spur and it literally starts to grow into these guys like muscles and nerve endings and stuff like that. And that's really the a story that a lot of people don't understand that these guys are facing over here. It's just not, oh wow, they lost a leg. Hey man, they lost a leg, and this bone fragments from these crazy bombs are growing, and they're growing into tissue.
When they took your leg in '98, where did the leg end up?
My dad, I think I donated it to research because at that time, back in 1986, the skin graft that they had done was very radical surgery, and so they're using it, or I guess they used it. I donated it.
I was going to ask, is it still around somewhere?
No, it's like,
it's on Craigslist.
Right. Yeah, eBay.
eBay. And the other thing, so getting back to the triathlon, we got to take a break here, but I could talk to Scott all day. You don't use anything when you're doing the swim, so when you're swimming, it's all just upper body in the water?
Yeah, man, I can't get rid of these shoulders.
You can tell, man. Look at, his upper body.
He's got the swimming shoulders, right?
Yeah, I can't get rid of these shoulders.
So you can't kick nothing? You can't even kick kind of with your thighs or?
No, I mean, I lose 25% propulsion on the swim because there isn't a kick there.
Are you just exhausted from swimming without legs?
No, not really. I mean, it's just I just have to practice a lot and get my swim endurance up. I mean,
Doggy paddle?
No. I swim freestyle, but in Hawaii, that was only that was the longest that I'd ever swam, and that was only the fourth time that I'd ever swam in the ocean. And I did
That's amazing.
I did
really
I did 2.4 miles in the ocean in an hour and 28 minutes.
Wait, how many miles?
It was 2.4 miles in the ocean.
It's a 2.4 mile swim?
Yeah.
In the ocean.
The Hawaiian Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's
112 miles.
And you have to do it. You have to do it in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Or they just bail on you.
They pull you out of that course.
Right.
And then you have to do the swim and the bike in 10 hours and 30 minutes. And so I finished the swim portion in an hour and 28 minutes. It took me about 8 hours on the bike, and I finished in just under probably 40 minutes before the cutoff on the bike.
You finished the total. Now, you had 17. It said here you did it in
16 hours and 42 minutes. Yeah, I was cutting it kind of close.
So literally, the 17-hour time limit was not a personal thing you set. That was their rules.
No, that's their rules. You have to finish those three disciplines,
right.
The 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, full marathon. You have to finish that in 17 hours.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. We got Scott Rigsby in studio, double amputee. A lot of the military guys are thanking you for speaking so highly about the military and what these guys have been through.
It's my privilege.
Right.
The Marines flew me into Camp Lejeune, spent time with 150 of their family members, and just loved on them. I've been to they use my cycling feet at Walter Reed.
Right.
I've been to Balboa Naval Base. So I've got invites to the Center for the Intrepid. So yeah.
Awesome. If you want to stick around, I'm sure we'll have a few more questions for you. But we got Philippe Petit, Man on Wire. Is his documentary we're going to talk about for a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get back to Scott's story. But it's ScottRigsby.com, RIGSBY. Scott Rigsby, one-word.com.
Yeah, and it's called, promoting the Scott Rigsby story, Unthinkable, and it's a short film, and it's available now on ScottRigsby.com.
Yeah, and then also I'm one of the top 10 finalists for the Energizer Keep It Going Hall of Fame Award. I get to meet Kyle Ripken, and it's an award that Energizer puts out. The voting ends July 25th. If you want to vote for me, go to my website, click on the Energizer Bunny.
You just won.
Vote
you have no idea what our fans are capable of.
Yeah, just tell them to go to my website.
Let's put Scott
and vote
over the
for me.
top, because this guy, he was an inspiration to me after just meeting him in the park for 20 minutes.
Yeah, just go to my website, click on the bunny, and you can go right to Energizer's site and vote.
And by the way, screw Cal Ripken. You got to meet Jimmy Norton.
That's true. And I've met Cal
My
Ripken.
man Jimmy.
Yeah, we've met Cal, and you know what? He's a bore.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, you have much more fun here. All right, we got to take a break.
Good for you. You can hit the ball.
I'd love
but-
to stay around.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
We'll throw you over there. We'll get Philippe in, and then we'll get back to Scott.
Great.
Very busy show. Opie and Anthony, stay there.
Hey, this is Mike DiStefano. Please come and listen to me do my comedy show. Please. I'll be in Chicago at the Lakeshore Theater, July 25th and 26th. You can call them at 773-472-3492, 773-472-3492, and go to their website, lakeshoretheater.com.
I smell dead people. I farted.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Good morning to everybody. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Jimmy and I today, 877-212-ONA. Also, Nick DePaul helping us out. We got Scott Rigsby, the double amputee that completed the Hawaiian Ironman triathlon. And now we say good morning to Philippe Petit on our couch. I can't believe you're actually sitting here. We're huge fans of yours, sir.
We've been talking about, just pull the mic a little closer. We've been talking about you for a long time. Even before the documentary, we were always talking about you. Because there's another guy, Alain Robert, who you probably know. He climbs buildings.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a sissy. He doesn't have, he doesn't use a wire. He just climbs the buildings, which is pretty easy.
I think he knows him, but he doesn't want to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, glorified window washer.
I think what you did was hard. Everybody knows you. You walked on a tightrope in between the Twin Towers.
Yeah, I don't try to do things that are harder. I'm interested in beautiful theater in the sky.
All right. That's.
I've never heard it put that way before.
Yeah, that is that. Well, the book I have, my ex-girlfriend who did eventually leave me, got me your book for Christmas last year because I've been kind of obsessed with you for a long time.
She's got good taste.
Yeah, she really does. She left me for a gentleman of color. Yeah.
In books, I meant.
And it's just this.
Still a fan, Jimmy?
Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah.
And I knew it'd be an interesting interview because you do have a very poetic, odd way of looking at the world. You're not a typical guy.
I couldn't be.
Not to do that, I suppose not. Was there ever a moment, because my greatest fear is heights, and Nick was talking about the terror of heights, where you're in the middle of walking across in between these buildings, and you just thought, what am I doing here?
No, I had been thinking of being between those towers for many, many years, even before they were built. So when I found myself there, it was by choice, not by chance. And I loved it.
You had no fear of falling? I mean, even as a guy who knows...
It's very logic, my answer, and it's not a pun. It's reality. I had no fear of falling because I could not fall. If not, I would be fearful, of course, and I will run away in fear. But because I cannot fall, because I put myself in a state of psychological and tangible certitude, solidity, I can enter in this fragile world with knowing I will do the final step victoriously.
So what are you thinking as you're walking across? I mean, there's one part where I think you said you focused on the other building on a piece of metal. Is that what you actually looked at?
Yeah. One nice way when you're on a tightrope, try it one day, and believe me, it's the right way. Look at where the wire is tied on the other side. It's a bit like the horizon on a long walk. And that makes you feel like you're part of a rigid system. But in these walks, as you know, I walk many times, 8 times. My friends told me I didn't have a machine to measure my walks, but I stayed there like almost 45 minutes. And during that time, I actually looked down, looked around.
You sat down on the wire.
Yes, I sat down.
You laid down on the wire.
Yeah.
And how high up were the Twin Towers? Like a quarter mile?
Just a quarter of a mile.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Quarter mile in the air.
That would knock the wind out of you.
Well,
Yeah,
they
no
were
kidding.
the highest towers in the world at the time.
Sure.
This photo here, this is to me, I mean, they're all horrifying photos, but this one, I'll show Nick, is Philippe. He's in between the towers, and he is, you could be lounging on a hammock somewhere.
So let me correct you. There's nothing horrifying about this picture. It's glorifying about the Twin Towers, and it's magnificent about seeing a man becoming half a bird.
Yeah.
So
it's glorifying to you, horrifying for every single human being out there.
Philippe, how do you explain that you don't have a fear of heights, but somebody like me or Jimmy, is that genetics? What?
No. I was not born as a wire walker. I actually fought for it because I was not born in the circus world. And my parents and the teachers and the whole powers that be around me as a teenager said no. And my intuition was yes. So I became a natural climber. At 6 years old, I climbed everywhere, played with ropes like little kids do. And I found myself at 16, 17 learning by myself, which is very unusual, the art of wire walking. So I have no fear because I loved it all along. You see, if I force you to get on a wire, you're going to resist and say, oh, I'm scared. But if you live from your childhood climbing everywhere, it's very natural that you're going to become a wire walker.
Carl Wallenda fell to his death. I mean, obviously a very accomplished guy on the wire. That was after I think you did this, or was that before you did that when he fell?
After.
It was after. Okay, so you didn't have that. Would seeing that have kind of slowed you down at all, or it wouldn't have stopped you?
No, but it's always a good lesson. I was actually invited to perform where he did, and I went to Puerto Rico and I studied the wind, and I say I'm not interested in his assignment.
What was the mistake you made that day? Just not reading the conditions?
I refuse to talk about how people could have felt if they're not in front of me to refute me. But as a wire walker, I know that I will never do a walk when I weigh all the odds. And for example, if I'm proposed a place to walk where it's very windy, I will study the wind and I might say no, which I said in this specific.
All right, going with that. So the day you decided to walk between the Twin Towers, if it was windy up there, you weren't going to go?
No, it was windy, and by nature, it was there was turbulence there, which is like mad wind that you cannot control. And I knew that from my homework and for dozens and hundreds of visits sneaking up while the towers were being built or finished almost. So I don't know. I don't believe in gods, but I think the gods believe in me.
Sure. So you visited the towers dozens of times before this?
No, hundreds of times.
Hundreds of times.
I was in New York 8 months street juggling to survive, passing my hat in.
So you were street juggling and then you were sneaking into the towers when you could?
Well, I had to disguise myself as an architect or a worker or
reporter,
a journalist. And then I sneak in a building thousands of times, have friends taking pictures, measuring things, daydreaming. It's important to daydream when you're building a dream.
You're meticulous, because that's what I took away from the documentary. This wasn't like a whim. You really studied the towers, and you really prepared. You went back to your hometown, and you even, when you were practicing the conditions that you thought would be happening that day, you even had your friends shaking the wire to try to knock you down.
Absolutely, and we have a wonderful, true footage of that was shot at the time. So this film is marvelous because it's a modern telling, and at the same time going back 34 years and showing amazing footage that survived, all those dozens of years.
Now, there's video of you doing some other tightrope walks. Why didn't you get the Twin Towers thing filmed? Why didn't you have a buddy up there?
I had my friend who shot the arrow of the bow.
Yep.
He was a photographer, so we took pictures, but we had rented a 16mm camera, and I said, take a few pictures, but run to the camera and press the red button. I want a live footage. And he was about to do that when the police came to his roof, so he has to hide, and he went down, and his pictures ended up all over the world in the front page, but no film, which at the time I was really, really upset. And now I think it adds to the legend.
Mystique.
I mean, the towers are even no longer there. It looks like, did I dream all this? Am I inventing all this?
I'm sure you've given that guy a scolding over the years, though.
Well,
why are you hiding? You should have got arrested for me, so we have some video of this.
No, but then the pictures would have been confiscated, and the world
so they would have taken right.
Oh yeah. No, it was a caper story.
Now,
Jimmy, you got it.
So you actually looked down at one point, and there's a photo of you, I guess, balancing yourself, where you kind of go down onto the wire and your leg is hanging down, and you said you took a look down because you'd never see that view.
Yes, I do that actually not in the middle of a performance, but sometimes, yes, I stop performing and I do a little thing for my own pleasure, and it is often to sit on the wire, let's say on a very long and high wire, and then to look around and look down. And it's amazing because it's a view that it is true I will never have again. Each walk is very different and at the top of the world, 1,350 feet in the air.
Right.
I had to look around and I recorded magnificent images.
Yeah, nobody will have that view. You're the only one.
No, nobody did and nobody will.
Nobody will. Now, we were talking about this whole thing earlier this morning. We really thought it was like a wire in a bag. You throw the wire to the other side, no big deal. I learned from the documentary it was something like a half-ton of equipment.
Almost a ton.
Almost a ton of equipment. You had to sneak into the Twin Towers.
Yeah, divided in two crews. The North crew with the little equipment, the bow and arrow, and the South crew, me and a friend. A few accomplices that I fired a few hours before to sneak in the building because they were incapable. So we were not enough people on my tower, and we had almost a ton of equipment.
Right. And you had to sneak in through the freight elevators and this and that. And you had fake badges.
So you got to be a good criminal too.
Well, I am. I was born a criminal. I mean, an artistic criminal. So I can go to school and talk to students and tell them, go on and pursue your dreams. There's nothing illegal about that. Although maybe there is these days.
And the biggest thing, you had to figure out how to get the wire from one building to the other, and you finally decided on the arrow.
No, I didn't decide. It's my friend.
Your friend came over,
and I thought that was a ridiculous idea. Don't bother me with the
Well, how were you going to do it if you didn't have your
practice?
Wait, before you say that, how did you think you were going to get the wire across?
This is ridiculous. It's in my book. I share with the reader all the ways. One of the ways was I was thinking of a little radio guided helicopter with a fishing line. But those things, first you need 3 years to master them. Okay, I went to a specialized shop and the guy says, forget it. Plus, he made a demo for me and it makes so much ruckus. The whole lower Manhattan would have woken up, So, but the bow and arrow was beautiful and it worked. Except I was thinking, what if the arrow pierced my heart and in the morning the cops are really puzzled. They see a dead Frenchman with an arrow in his heart and they say, what's going on? But it didn't happen.
Yeah, and then you decide on the arrow with the fishing line, and then in the middle of the night, you finally, your buddy, right? He shot the arrow across.
He shot across, and then we pulled out. As you
you're skipping a step, and I have to give this away because I found it a little strange.
It's very dangerous for me to skip steps.
I understand, but you weren't sure if the arrow made it to your side with the fishing line, so. Very strange. You decide you needed to get completely naked to.
Yeah, but you're telling about the film. Don't say
a little bit. That's not going to give everything away.
Yeah, it is true because imagine this is a comic movie in itself. You're in the middle of the night, totally dark, and you're looking for an invisible nylon fishing line. I mean. So I thought after a few attempts, I thought he missed. Maybe the arrow is in New Jersey, So I took my clothes off and and I looked, and then I could feel on my legs a little caress of a fishing line. It was the most beautiful caress I ever had on those legs for years. No, it's not true.
And well then. Then you attach something else to the fishing line, and you slowly get up to
a heavier cord and then a rope, and then when it was strong enough, that rope, a thick rope, could actually pull a very heavy steel cable across, and we had all kind of trouble, and the police came. But anyway, read the book and see the film.
Yeah, we will.
This is nothing you say is going to cause people to not want to see this film because I mean, first of all, everybody knows you live, so it's not like does he die at the end? So it's how did he do it?
It's not like the Bible.
Hold on. What is fabulous about this film is that there is a suspense, and even I'm supposed to be the guy. I'm supposed to know I made it. Well, I am on the edge of my seat when I am in a dark theater full of people. I am laughing and crying and applauding with them, and I want to know the outcome. Is he going to make it? So it's a good film.
It's a great film, actually. You're so animated, and you really make it by how you're describing everything. And yes,
I was also interested in all the people around you that are interviewed in this, and all the people that helped you with this, that are in this film, that talk about what they were feeling and how they didn't think you. It's a very interesting group of people that all talk about what went into making this happen, because everybody just obviously thinks of you instead of realizing that there were friends, and then there was a girlfriend, and there was all this stuff that went on behind the scenes.
The girlfriend and all the stuff, yes.
Yeah. Why did he get naked again? I don't understand that.
just to feel the fishing line. A little strange, yes. I'm with you on that, Nick.
Yeah.
How about a flashlight?
You sort of glossed over that. So I got naked on the bill.
How about a flashlight? Look around a little bit.
What is that on my balls?
Are you going to do any more walking?
Yes,
To that extent, I know you still perform and all that,
Yeah,
but I mean, are you thinking of another?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Obviously, nothing as huge as the Twin Towers.
Well, I have small, medium, and giant walks. I'm not trying to collect the gigantic, but it looks, when I look back at my life, I have done big things. But I have many projects. One of them is quite mysterious. It's to attach my rope or my wire to the belly of those big statues in Easter Island. The Moai, they are sacred statues. And that will be like a very mysterious, out of the world walk. So things like that interest me, and they almost look like they have their room in a movie rather than in real life. But I continue to perform. I continue to write books. I'm writing my 7th book right now.
Wow.
And I continue. I also lecture on creativity, go to people and tell them how I work by myself. I discover juggling, magic. It's a life that is a life of passion. And as long as life continues, I will continue to exercise those passions.
Do you think your skills have diminished now that you're older?
No. I think I'm not older. I'm much younger. I am more knowledgeable, more masterful. I think my skills, yes, physically the body is saying, leave me alone, I'm getting old. But I disregard that. I think it's the mind that pulls the body. You had a guest before who, who is racing around the world, and his legs are new legs. So I salute that, my hat off.
Can you get him on a wire, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that would be
absolutely.
Scott, what do you think?
Hey,
well,
maybe that's the next
this
challenge.
man has undoubted spirits, and you can do anything. That's basically what this film, Man on Wire, is telling, is that if you have a dream, stick to it, and nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
So yes, I continue to walk the high wire, absolutely.
I had a question for him.
Sure. Scott Rigsby, yes.
Yeah. Hey, mentally, Prepper, I mean, when I did the Ironman, it was more mentally draining than physically draining, so I had to prepare myself mentally. So over and over, I dreamed about crossing that finish line. I dreamed about every portion of the race, the swim, the bike, and the run. Did you do that when you're preparing for these?
Absolutely. Well, the chemistry of the victory that you just outlined is exactly the one I believe in, except I am not formulating it so clearly as you just did, and I'm not living through it so exactly, but it's intuitively. I know if I look at how I prepare for a high wire walk for the past 45 years, it's exactly what you said. It's much more in the head. And, if the body is asleep, you wake it up and you pull it by the sleeve. I mean, the body is an instrument.
Sure.
So that's why I'm not really interested in those climbers and those stuntsmen who do, impossible thing. It doesn't move me, because where is the human theater? Where is the soul? The mechanical work of a human body doesn't interest me. You have to inspire me. You have to move me. You have to be a poet, and that cannot be explained.
Could someone climbing, though, have the same... Could someone who climbs buildings, I mean, it's amazing to me that the guy does it without equipment. Could he have that same spirit that you have? He's just not a tightrope walker.
Well, but it will look differently than just climbing and stopping.
Yeah, he's calling it.
And climbing.
He basically
somebody will make an opera vertical on a facade and turn around and do a kind of ballet, and you call it theater in the sky. I will be the first one moved by it. But when I see a human being getting higher or longer than the other guy, and do climbing 9 peaks within 8 hours to be in a book of records, I think these people don't understand life. Life is not to be the highest, the strongest, and the newest. Life is to be meaningful and to inspire people and to do something beautiful. So really, and since I was not born in the world of the circus, from the beginning I took the wire as a stage. What interested me was theater. Of course, my stage is kind of thin, and I'm not allowed to make one mistake because I won't be here to talk about it. But that's the beauty of my theater. It's a theater where you have to put your life entirely, not gamble it, but carry it across in full focus.
Jimmy basically saying they're hacks, and all they're doing is climbing a really, really tall ladder.
Philippe, can I ask, you said you've been doing this 40 years?
No, much more.
Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm kind of 60 or something like that.
Getting close to the big 60.
But, I have disregard. I know teenagers that are already dead, and I know 95 years old people who are my best young friends.
Right. Hey,
like 60.
You've never answered the question why.
Oh, yes, I did answer. I said there is no why.
Yeah, but that's how you answered it, I
well,
guess. Sure.
you know, I think also it's a...
Because that's the obvious question everyone would want to ask you. Why would you, walk between the towers?
A real painter, if you interrupt the painter who should be painting all day long by such a foolish question, why? The real artist painter will not know why, or the answer will be, well, I have no choice. I wake up and I have to paint. If you think and if you realize why, it's something else. So I always had this kind of passionate calling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't decide to put a wire between the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers called me. I was a young, self-proclaimed, self-taught wire walker. I wanted to use the wire as a stage, how absurd, how poetic. And then I was looking for great places. And then I see 6 years before they were built, I see an announcement that one day those towers will be built. And right there, as a 18 years old imbecile,
giving away the movie. You're giving away your own movie there, Philippe.
I'm following your example from the beginning. You keep, but anyway, you're right. This movie can be seen even if you know what the subject is.
Now, what are you scared of?
Well, I'm scared of things crawling on the floor with too many legs or with not enough legs, like snakes and spiders. I'm not very comfortable. But that's stupid. It's because I didn't put my mind into studying them, you see.
Well, how about we put a few of those on the wire and we get a little... we'll make it a little more interesting for you.
What if I am across the Grand Canyon and I see a tarantula coming? Well, I'll have to think about that.
You ever
talking of snakes?
You ever thought about doing the Grand Canyon?
Yes, yeah. I had a big project there, and it's still semi-alive, but I need an art angel to sign a check. You know, it's always the same. I'm not the only artist who needs the motor to his to his dreams.
What's it called? The obviously the
balancing pole.
The balancing pole.
No, put your hands facing the sky like this. Yeah.
How people on radio don't know how long actually is that?
Well, it depends of the walk, and it depends of the wind I'm going to meet up there, and it depends of the tension of the wire and what I'm going to do on that wire. So it's a dancing parameters. But at the World Trade Center, it was enormously heavy. It was 40 pounds, and it was 28 feet long, because I knew I would have to be fighting turbulence, and I knew at that height I would be so fragile. I needed my arms to be longer and heavier. I mean, this is not a trick, the balancing pole. If you don't know how to maneuver it, it's going to make you fall off the wire left or right. But once you know how to move it around, it helps you a little bit stay on that wire.
If you were to drop that, if for whatever reason you were to drop it, would you have been able to make it to the edge of the wire?
I'm really not a good guy to answer the if questions. I always frown at, if you were a tree, what tree would you be? Well, I'll be a solid oak, but anyway. So there is no if for me, but if, I know, there is no if because I cannot put myself in the mind of what if. You see, I narrow all the unknown into a moment where I am certain nothing will happen to me. So I cannot entertain the idea, if I drop my pole, I cannot drop my balancing pole. I cannot be allowed to drop it,
But don't you have a process of elimination you go through where you have to go through the worst case scenarios to prepare you to deal with them?
No. It's
positive.
Not that.
You do positive creative visualization.
No. Well, it's half and half,
right?
Because when I train, I think of Murphy is the worst scenario. I think a big wind, or I think something breaking in the wire. But because I am the engineer for my project and I direct my rigging crew and I practice, sometimes even with the right direction of the wind for months before a big walk, then as you can imagine, if you were following me for months before a walk, you would not say this guy is crazy. You would say this guy is crazy about details and about respecting his life and the life of the buildings, and he doesn't leave anything to chance. And what is Murphy is a thief that used chance to bother you. So I cannot be attacked there. There is no if for me.
But didn't you, when you're going through something like, aren't you going through, like when you're checking the building out and you're going through so many steps to make sure that it was going to work, you are in a way looking at, well, if security is here, or if this guy's here, or if this doesn't work, this is how I get around that.
Okay, in the case of the World Trade Center adventure, it was illegal, as you know, and there was a lot of question mark. What if in the middle of my walk, some guard comes and start banging on the cable? Or, that would be the if that there was nothing I could do. But it's not true, because I was looking constantly on both sides. I did U-turns and I walked back and forth, and I was really looking at any human being approaching the anchor points. And if they would have approached the anchor point, I would probably stop walking, sit on the wire, hold myself with one hand, all this in a way is answering your question of if, but it's just that
would be
it's my
insane
knowledge of
to
the
do.
wire that saves me and my knowledge of myself.
Right.
If I thought I was invincible, I would already be dead. You see, there is a certain humbleness in being the best at what you do.
Jimmy, we got to take a break.
Okay.
Man on Wire is the documentary. Where can people see that? Is it
I
in
don't know.
theaters?
It's got a limited release. I know we have it. I don't even know if we have the list of where it is. I know you can go to Man on Wire. There's no the. It's tempting to say the, but it's not. manonwire.com. And I'm sure that will give certain dates as to where you can see
Yeah,
it.
it's opening within hours in New York City, so it's going to
That's
take New York
exciting.
by storm. And I know the New Yorkers, it's going to be their film because it were their towers. And they,
Who needs
they
to
made
see
a
Dark Knight when you can see
hero out
Man
of
on
me.
Wire?
Yes.
It is
Well, there is a big difference.
It is a very interesting
Taliban's gonna go see it.
documentary. It's a very interesting thing. It really gets you inside of Philippe's headspace and what was going on, and it really was a fascinating thing to watch. And I knew a lot about you just because I read the book and I'd watched a lot of stuff on you over the years, and I still found myself really interested in watching this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure, Philippe.
Thank you very much.
Philippe Petit. We're going to wrap up next. Stay there.
Call the Opie and Anthony Show. 866-WOW-1-WOW. 866 WOW-1-WOW. Cell phone and PDA users send your message to feedback@opieandanthony.com.
We got a busy show. Actually, we got to wrap up pretty much. I want to thank Nick DiPaolo for stopping by.
NickDip.com.
NickDip.com. That's right, Nick.
We have the Myth Boss. Oh, this is kind of uncomfortable, by the way, watching Danny examine
Scott's
legs.
Yeah.
He's examining them.
Well, he brought all sorts of legs in today. I want to thank Scott for bringing all his legs in today. What do you think of Philippe Petit there?
He's
Your
an interesting
hero.
guy. I mean, he's an odd guy. He's an artist. He gives artistic answers. I mean, but he's just a very interesting dude. I mean, look, here's the bottom line. The guy did what he did.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feat. I don't agree with him when he says, like, the pictures aren't horrifying. Well, to us, they are because we can't do that.
Of course they're
Yeah,
horrifying.
he's a mime on a wire.
Yeah.
But,
and he's romanticizing the whole thing. I'm sure he beats the crap out of that guy that didn't turn on the damn video camera.
Yeah.
He came up with a good answer. How cool it is that you don't have video of one of the greatest things to ever happen in New
Called
York.
rationalization.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's beating the crap out of the guy.
He looks great for his age, though. I mean,
he's going to be 60, and he's going to plummet to his death. And I was ready to tell him that, but then I felt maybe I shouldn't.
he
Yeah,
looks
it's gotta
like
be
he's
a down
40,
on
though.
radio.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
but-
was freakish, man.
As soon as you start thinking that your mind can still get things done,
Yeah.
that's when you're
Well,
in
that's
trouble.
true.
Because he said, "No, man, I'm older and I'm more experienced and I got more knowledge." And then the whole time I'm thinking, "Wow, we're going to read about this guy in the
What do
next
you
few
think
years."
Walenda said?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? He wasn't going, I can't do it anymore physically.
well, Walenda's things, Walenda probably, hopefully, Philippe seems like he's smarter than because Walenda's things weren't tied off right, and I think that's why he had so much wobble. And the documentary is interesting, man. It was a
Yeah.
really interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, I'm
All
definitely gonna
the
check it out.
crap that they had to go through and navigate, and all these weird little blockades to get by to pull this off.
yeah, you got to be, he had to have like a good criminal mind to pull off that.
Yeah, he was a big fan of.
I knew nothing about it. I thought he had permission and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough one to get them to
He
sign
had
off
an
on.
inside guy. He met this guy who was an inside guy that
point.
got him building IDs. It was just
Very involved.
very, very involved. It took years and years of planning.
That's positive thinking. I don't believe it.
With these guys that climb the buildings, literally do. I mean, they can study it by themselves, but they could probably pull that off by themselves because all you got to do is study what you have to study, then go up. But to have a whole other two teams and both people to have to sneak by and get up and
Shoot an arrow across. Just that alone. It's
Amazing.
like, really?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I suggested that, I'd be like, what do you get out of here?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
and I would root for it not to make it, so I didn't have to do it.
What I don't understand, and it was probably too technical to really get into. Maybe so you got the main wire, and then he had two other wires to kind of anchor it down to keep it, a little stiffer.
Yeah.
How did he get those wires across the main wire and then anchored down where they were anchored down? I don't get that.
I don't remember the answer, but they do give it. They do give, because that's a very critical thing. Like you see a wire, and I forget what they're called, but they almost come. It looks like a kite almost from the point on the wire that they're tied to the building or
Right.
the structure.
Right.
So there is a way that they did it, and it was done for this walk, and I forget how they did it. But,
But
it was,
how do they
it was
attach
complicated.
those two other wires?
Yeah,
to
did
the
they
main
drill?
wire?
Did they have to drill holes? Or,
Maybe it was all attached to begin with.
You don't
I
just
don't know.
tie it off.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's a technical thing.
There's obviously a knot they tie. It's obviously metal, but maybe there's a little clamp or something they put on a wire. But you could see them. You see photos of him walking. You can see like little.
I'm kind of bummed. I wanted to ask him how it was working with Omar. I can't believe we didn't ask that question.
Who?
Omar, Man on Wire. He was on the.
There was something sweet about
Well,
that.
it says Man on Wire. It's one of our favorite. Yeah.
I just didn't get it.
I know. I'm just trying. Scott Rigsby, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
What are we promoting as we leave everybody today?
Well, it's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Are you talking about? Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I'm talking to the wall.
Yeah.
What do you think?
ScottRigsby.com. The Energizer going the distance. Hall of Fame award. If you go to my site, click on the bunny.
Who are you up
vote
against,
for
by
me.
the way?
9 other finalists.
What are they, though?
Yeah, teachers, cancer
Just
survivors.
inspirational people.
Yeah, inspirational people.
Let's put
yeah.
Scott Rigsby over the top and make sure he wins this award.
Yeah.
You go to ScottRigsby.com and you vote for Scott, right?
Right. Yeah, just click on the bunny.
And what is he filming for? Your website?
Actually, I did a show with Alan for Team Kids. And it's just really telling teens about prosthetics and just overcoming adversity.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Opie, look, a picture. Sorry.
What?
There's a picture right here of him with the wire tied off. You can take a look at it.
No, I know, but how did he tie that off?
Just with a knot.
Just a little.
You do it like a shoe.
Some fat chick sitting on the other end.
Yeah, just like a shoe.
Yes, Stunt Brain.
Yeah, it looks like they have those clamps that you have on guy wires that have tension
Oh, I know what you're
adjustments.
talking about.
And you can actually
Crank
tighten them
them up.
or loosen
Yeah.
them as you need to do.
So that was all set up, and when he was getting the main wire from building to building, that rigging was already set. and
yeah,
then
they
just tied everything down.
pre-rigged a certain amount,
Sure.
and then when they lock it down, they can
He
tighten
does-
it up.
They talk about that, though. That's actually a really critical thing in the walk, and the documentary actually goes into that, because I was wondering how they tied that off.
Yeah.
I had the worst ideas. I'm like, did they actually go to the ground with it? I'm such a dope. All right, well, way to end the show.
I'll be at Comics
next weekend,
August 1st and 2nd.
And
in Sag Harbor this weekend, Saturday night.
For who? What day is that?
Bay Street Theater or something. Me and Fitzsimmons, Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a nice little theater in Sag Harbor out there on Long Island.
Oh, Long Island.
Ticket information at
way out there on the North Shore.
.com.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Up in upstate New York. Different. Okay.
All right.
Where is it?
Sag Harbor.
Is it like the Hamptons or something?
It's like north of the Hamptons. Sure. Yeah. A lot of celebrities in that area.
Oh, no, I don't want that.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably have a bunch of celebrities in the audience. ScottRigsby.com. Scott, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Scott.
If you're not busy, we're going over to XM if you want to curse and stuff with us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, we're going to continue over at XM. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Thank you. What were you going to say, Jimmy?
Nothing.
Well, we have to end professionally.
All right.
End professionally.
Tomorrow, Ann will be here because he's not doing well today. But tomorrow.
And congratulations to Aunt's sister who had the kid finally.
Oh, did she really?
After 11 months of pregnancy, so that's good.
Oh, boy or girl?
I don't know. I'm just finding out as we speak.
No, the father was from Mastic. Is that true?
All right, we're out of here. Thank you, Nick. We'll see you guys soon.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. XM 202.
Before you get pissed off at us, man, we have nothing to do with this. What?
What is this?
Garbage! You know what? I can't take this anymore. It's an awful, awful radio show.
We're really, really mean-spirited, evil people who can't see the good in anything.
Off the air, let's say racist things to each other.
Hold on.
And really turn them off.
Excellence in broadcasting.
Our anus. What? Again?
Oh.
Our anus. What?
Stop. Enough about the anus.
This is hurtful.
This is hurtful. No one wants to hear this on their radio show.
Come collapse on our floor.
Just potty mouth day.
You may feel shame, but all the same, you are never to blame.
Opie. Anthony. Jim Norton.
You guys ready to laugh?
It's got to be the greatest thing ever.
I'd sooner have a water drinking contest.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Here we are, XM Satellite Radio. We are live. It's July 22nd to prove that. Because sometimes I hear we're live and I'm at home and I get confused. So you give the date and then people can figure it out on their own.
And tomorrow, Wednesday. We have Randy Couture coming in. He's promoting a book.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to Randy again because he is. If anybody saw, we've been yapping about fucking Fedor Emelianenko, and to the douchebag on Whackbag that thought I purposefully didn't mention Tim Sylvia to fucking oh my god, I'm blanking out from the UFC. Fucking holy shit, Dana White. Called in and thought I was avoiding that. You're a fucking dope. I actually went on Whackbag. I re-got my password just to smash this cocksucker.
I don't understand the people that claim they're fans and all they do is try to find things wrong with the radio show. You're not a fan at that point.
But like
Go
it was this
away.
But like it was this purposeful thing to avoid, like, I don't want to upset Dana, who's brutally honest. I would have mentioned Sylvia just to fucking hear him smash him.
Of course.
But
it's our loss we didn't mention him because Dana White would have gave us some headlines.
And he called in for my birthday to wish me a happy birthday and I just didn't. Apparently, I didn't grill him enough to this cocksucker's satisfaction. So fuck you, douchebag. You know who you are. Anyway, the Sylvia Fedor fight.
I just saw the footage. Amazing.
Sylvia's 6'8".
Yeah.
And I think he weighed 263. And Fedor's not as big as I thought. He's only 6 feet tall, 230.
Only. I would love to be 6 foot 230.
But to be a world-class heavyweight fighter, I mean, against guys like this, he just dismantled him in 36 seconds. And it wasn't a lucky shot. He beat the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah, and then choked him out.
But it was a mercy choking.
Yeah.
Because he could have knocked him unconscious once he was on the ground by pummeling him.
Right.
And he just got on top and choked him to be merciful.
Now, where are we at with Affliction versus UFC?
UFC
Jimmy?
hates Affliction, I think.
I understand all that, but I mean, as far as popularity goes.
UFC kills it.
But is Affliction gaining?
This fight, it wasn't as well done as the UFC shit. Look at this fucking animal, how hard he hits.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Affliction to me is not nearly as good as UFC. It was only this fight. I paid $39.95 for 36 seconds of entertainment.
But it was worth it.
Well worth it. I paid $200 to fuck for 30.
No, what I don't like about Affliction, the UFC, their presentation's way better.
Much
with
better.
the octagon and all that. I don't like seeing the ultimate fighting in a boxing ring.
It was everything about the UFC. Like, I watched the way they did the walkouts and stuff like that. They're just something, and it's not even to shit on Affliction. I just felt like it wasn't as fun. UFC is just a better production. It's like, but whatever. I mean, that was just the first time I'd ever watched Affliction. I didn't care if they fucking brought them out in rickshaws. I just wanted to see the fight.
So I'm assuming Dana White wants Fedor in the UFC.
Yeah, but like Dana said, Fedor is just he's apparently controlled by the Russian mob or Russians, who have a little. That's what I've heard, and they want too much. They want too much to bring him over. But after seeing this fight, you can't not want to see Fedor fight.
Yeah,
he's a frightening guy. I mean, he's a heavyweight, and he's just he's like a mule leg.
Right.
His fist. I can't see anybody beating this guy.
No. All right. Scott Rigsby made the walk.
Hey. Good morning.
We were just being polite, by the way. But
thank you.
But what the hell? You can hang.
I'm kidding. Just uncomfortable.
Just making
I just nodded on radio. I nodded.
Next, like, yeah.
Didn't say anything. I just nodded. That's effective on radio.
I don't know if you noticed this, but we walked maybe a block, and the stairs you get are pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All my friends.
Do you notice that people are looking at you when you're walking and stuff?
Well, I don't really notice it, but my friends always tell me to walk ahead because they like to see people look at me.
That's exactly what I did. I had you and Nick walking so I could see everyone, taking a look at you.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
but if you have pants on, I would challenge anyone.
Well,
they
never,
would not.
yeah.
They would
Never.
not know you have two fake legs.
Yeah, I would never get
They
one
just
look.
wouldn't know.
No.
I thought they were looking at my hairline.
Hey, we got breaking news. Batman has been arrested.
That's great.
Batman has been arrested.
I love that.
And not for his performance either.
No.
I'm Batman. Are you?
Why are you arresting me?
Why are you arresting
I
me?
gotta fight crime.
Yeah, I was
in
the
the
mayor.
Make-Believe City.
I was the mayor of Carmel, California. Oh, wait, that wasn't me.
Anyone else notice that Gotham City is actually Chicago?
I noticed that in the fucking movies because of the river, the water behind it.
How about you try to, like, hide it a little bit with some CGI, maybe erase a river or something. That was Chicago.
E-Rock sent me a text, by the way, when he was seeing Batman. He's coming in. He went to see it this weekend, and I got a nice text.
Yeah?
From,
E to the Rock.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the show so far? What's your thoughts on Philippe Petit?
A little weird after the interview because he said he would do IDs, and then we get in the hallway and he goes, no, I can't do this, and he freaked out. And Roland
did he like his time with us? Where's Roland?
I couldn't tell.
His stool was too high.
He seemed cool, and then as soon as he got in the hallway, he kind of freaked out. And
he's a strange bird.
He's a French goo gobbler. Let's be honest. Fucking people go, by the way, to watch people fall off the fucking wires.
Of course.
Okay?
No one cares about the artistic merits of wire walking.
Yeah,
they're there to see a brain get squashed.
Nobody looks at them and goes,
Roland,
"Ooh, artiste."
Hold on, let me...
Mike?
Yeah, what?
Well, he said you guys pronounced his name wrong. He went, did he pronounce my name wrong?
Why did he correct me then? How was his name pronounced?
Phil Pettit.
Yeah, I was going to call him Philip Pettit, right.
No, but he said, he goes, I didn't want to correct him in the middle of the interview.
Well, how do you say his dumb name?
Phil Pettit.
I know, I guess Philippe Petit.
That's what I said.
What the fuck we saying wrong?
Philippe Petit.
Why
Put the accent on my cock.
Why doesn't he stop? Does he really want us to trash him tomorrow? We were so nice to him. What the fuck does he want?
No, that was it. And then, I guess he's French. That's what they do.
He's a glorified mime.
Why wouldn't they fucking, why wouldn't he do IDs for us?
Because he goes, I am late.
Oh, he's late, okay.
Yeah. And then you're just right down the hallway.
Let's ask his
Oh.
All right. Did he have a good time?
He did have a good time. He loved the interview.
He's a little weird, isn't he, Roland?
Yes.
He's flaky as a croissant.
What do you think his deal
Am
is?
I saying that right?
I don't know.
Goddamn fucking Leno's leaving.
I know.
All right. Thank you. You edit a lot there, Roland. I appreciate it.
I can't believe he's 60, though.
All right, listen. Here we go. Batman. Is
Lisa
this
Lampanelli.
the update on Batman?
Yeah.
All right, Batman has been
head whipped
arrested. Batman, we're not going to acknowledge that his name is Christian Bale, by the way. It's
I love
Batman.
that guy.
Batman accused of assaulting mom and sis. Batman was to be questioned by police over allegations he assaulted his mother and his mother. He assaulted what?
Yeah, his mother and sister. They're probably fucking moody.
Yeah, they're probably rambling about Heath Ledger's performance.
Exactly.
And he got tired of it and he clocked the bitches.
Wait a minute. He
Couple of quick
assaulted his
backhands.
He assaulted his own mother and sister?
Apparently, we don't know.
I thought it was just a mom and daughter.
No.
His own, that makes it great.
Family.
Makes it hot.
No, probably.
You never want to punch your sister or mother in the face on the
Please,
same day?
who
I have.
doesn't?
I know what that's all about, by the way.
They all stop bleeding on the same week. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ, get off my back.
I bet you his mother and sister just kept raving about Heath Ledger's performance. And Christian, did you just say that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Well, because I was looking for info. Yeah, that's good to know.
He's nervous about his shoulder appointment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
I bet you Christian Bale is snapping because everyone is talking about Heath Ledger, even his mom and sister, and he finally had it. Because no one is saying, "Wow, Christian Bale was great as Batman in this movie." It's Heath Ledger's movie, like we've been saying for over a week.
And I'll bet you that he caught them mocking his Batman voice, like his mother and sister. I'm Batman, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
What do you want for supper, Christian?
Yeah. I'll have a cup of overacting.
Right. His mother and sister reportedly complained that the 34-year-old actor assaulted them at a West London hotel on Sunday. Britain's Press Association said they made the allegation at a police station in South blah, 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 blah. The Scotland Yard. It said questioning was expected Tuesday. When asked Tuesday about the news report, Scotland Yard said it was investigating an allegation referred to it by another police officer. But the update is he's now been arrested for assaulting his mom and sister. Holy shit. Do we know why?
No, everything. So far, everything.
I hate news reports like that. And don't put it out until they have the full story.
Give me
you know?
more info.
Right now, everything I see, they're still referring to it as like the alleged incident. Like there's nothing concrete out there.
Yeah, it's alleged.
So Sharpton has to pay millions in back tax.
Good fucking silverback.
Yep. So,
whoa!
So fucking.
That was Nick DiPaolo.
I didn't say that. That was a Robert Kelly thing. Didn't he say that?
So fucking.
No, see, now we have to protect ourselves. Look, you should just be able to say whatever the hell you want on the radio, but you just got to acknowledge, look, we're just trying to make jokes. So
What, even on XM you can't do that
Dude,
shit?
there's fucking bloggers out there just waiting for us to fuck up. Trust me.
Yeah, no, the whole, like I said, fucking 15 years ago when the internet came out, it's the fucking worst thing that ever happened to the world.
Well, except unless you want to get porn really quick. I mean, you should see the things Pete
I
Townsend
did
and I have
forget
traded.
about that. That's a good point.
All right, moving on. Scott Rigsby, I want to go back to you because the reason you're in New York, you ran in that triathlon.
The New York City Triathlon.
Do they call it running in a triathlon, even though it's
Yeah. I mean,
running,
swimming,
biking,
biking,
and
run.
swimming?
Yeah.
And we had a guy die.
Yeah,
He was in the
just read
Hudson
about it,
River,
yeah.
and he said he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
They're saying that he probably got stung by some of those jellyfish. You see any of those jellyfish when you were swimming?
I didn't get stung by them, but I when I was practicing in Hawaii, I get stung by one, and it's
they're not fun.
No, not at all. But and some people can actually die from them if they have a reaction.
Right. Did you
But,
know that someone was dying in this race?
No
clue
I mean,
until
'cause
afterwards?
there's 3,000 people in the race, and they start the waves at 5:50 in the morning.
Right.
So I mean, it's just a
What
mass.
do you mean the waves? Not everyone goes at the same time?
No. It's not a mass start.
Okay.
For this race, it goes by pro males, pro females, and then they do age groups.
Right. You don't want some slowpoke messing you up as you're trying to
Not so much.
swim and crap.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, this guy ended up dying. They did an autopsy and they don't know why he died.
No, I mean
they were thinking it might have been like him. He got stung by a jellyfish, which caused a cardiac arrest. But
Yeah.
They already
now
did
they
an
have no
autopsy on him?
Yeah.
They're
And
doing.
they don't
they're
know?
doing
They have
one.
no idea.
But they don't know anything right now.
And-
It can cause respiratory problems if you're deathly allergic to like a jellyfish sting.
Oh,
But that was I mean, actually in Florida they've had at the half Ironman competition down there, they had somebody die back in May when I was there.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not as a rare occurrence as they've had a couple of people die within the past year.
Well, I
in
can't
the swim
imagine
portion of the race.
I can't imagine this whole triathlon thing is good on the heart.
It's tough. It can tax the heart. Yeah.
I do believe. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my buddies is the Andy Ball in The Bachelor. The dude lost his cookies after the race. He puked.
I heard Dick Cheney's going to do one next year.
The mini triathlon with Dick Cheney.
Swim through 2 miles of oil. My heart fucking hurt.
I think we have the news story on the triathlete dying here in New York City over the weekend. Let's see if this...
He did not have the right frame of mind, He did.
Yes.
Heat caused troubles for competitors in today's New York City Triathlon. Several athletes were taken to hospitals for heat-related illnesses, and one man died, though it is not known if the heat had anything to do with his death.
Yeah, Carolina, it's supposed to be an opportunity for athletes to challenge themselves and compete against some of the best triathletes in the world. But this morning, tragedy out here on the Hudson River. A 32-year-old man died just a few meters into the 32-mile course.
The Ivy League.
The course's organizer, Bill Burke, tells News 4 New York this morning's heat and humidity made it a challenge for athletes as well as the swarms of jellyfish. But still no word yet how this athlete died. Burke says the water temperature was about 72 degrees around 7:30 this morning when the 32-year-old athlete was in the water. He says he was wearing a wetsuit and just a few meters away from completing the swim portion when the athlete went under. Others stopped and signaled over to the rescue boats that the swimmer was in distress. Trained medics performed CPR in the water, but he died. As of now, we don't know the name of the man because his family in Argentina has not been notified.
In Argentina, well, you just narrowed that down.
Probably a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
it can happen.
They're putting a positive spin on this whole thing.
Completed actually probably finished a little more than 3/4 of the swim course. So he was somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300 meters into the swim. The swim is 1,500 meters. So he had covered a good portion of it already. When other swimmers noticed that he wasn't moving, they signaled to the rescue boats, the fire rescue boats right in the area, that this gentleman was obviously in distress.
Now right now it's not known how long this athlete was in the water before help arrived. Autopsy will be performed this Monday. Now, 4 other athletes were treated for heat-related illnesses. This is the first death in the triathlon's 8-year history here in the city.
All right, there you go. Positive spin. First death in 8 years. That's not bad. The odds are good, right?
Yeah. Count me in for the next one.
Guys, we got some breaking news here.
What, Jimmy?
Which, it's amazing.
What happened?
Charles Van Doren is finally talking. The guy, he was in the movie. Who
is Van Dorn?
The guy from Quiz Show.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Jesus
shit?
Christ. 50 years later, he's finally telling everyone how he cheated and all
Yeah,
that crap.
we don't
the inside
care.
story.
Jesus
They made the
Christ.
movie back in '94,
and he wouldn't talk then.
Right, and now he's finally like, okay, no one's paying attention to me anymore. I'll finally talk.
How about this? We want to know about the Kennedy assassination, 9/11 mistakes that were made. We don't give a shit about you on your fucking faggy quiz show. No one
Can
cares.
we get a quote from Bob Barker next? Fucking models half his age.
What is he saying about this whole thing?
He doesn't go. He just said they fed him answers. The same shit we knew already since he said it in 1959.
Right.
And then never talked about it again.
Right.
Go fuck yourself, Charles. No one cares. Just die already.
It's too late. We've moved on to other things.
Why do I hate him?
I heard Gene Rayburn was a flounderer.
By the way, that triathlete died doing what he loves, so that's good.
What's that? Sucking in salt water?
Thank you, Nick.
I always hated that.
Yeah, I hate
He
to go down
he
that
died.
road. No, if you ask the guy, I don't think he died.
Always
doing what he
find
loved.
out. Always find out before you go to a funeral. Because I showed up at my buddy's uncle's funeral and I didn't know what. I said, well, he died. Doing what he loved. And they go, he's hit by a bus.
And then you tried to save it. He loved buses. You
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
understand.
I go, what do you mean? He was into the extreme games, wasn't he?
I don't think the triathlete is sitting there going, well, at least I'm going to die, in the middle of what I love doing, which is triathlons. No, I don't think that's what he was thinking at all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're doing what you love or you hate.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you're eating a girl's ass and your
Exactly.
heart just stops. Then you die doing what you love doing. What happened? He was jerking off on Craigslist and his head blew off. Yeah. He went out doing what he loved.
Scott, you eat ass or what?
Not before noontime.
Would you get right in there if it's nice and clean or what?
I actually
Don't say that to this kid. Look at him. He's a decent fella.
No,
he's
but-
from the South. He's a polite fella.
I'm a decent fella.
Yeah, but I've been studying him. This
I
guy
was,
has an edge to him,
I was was going to tell you the funny story about you guys would like this about the Hawaiian Ironman. It definitely was a first. I had this girl approach me the day before the Ironman, and she said, "I'm going to really be cheering for you tomorrow." And I said, "That's great," or whatever. Met her. And then the next day, I didn't see her, but I finished the bike portion of the race, got on the run, 2 miles on the run, and I'm running with one of my buddies from Atlanta, and all of a sudden this girl jumps out onto the course, and there's 20,000-30,000 people there, and she lifts up her shirt.
Nice.
Now, I'm sponsored by the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, so I'm thinking, these guys put this up to, motivate me in the race. and she actually had my name, Scott Rigsby, written.
Fucking Tara Reid.
across,
What a whore.
Right above it. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, and this guy behind me goes, I can't believe that just happened. I'm like, dude, I think I'm seeing things. I'm so tired. So go to mile 5 on the run. Same thing happened, but the girl comes running and gives me the running flash and says, hey, I'll see you at the finish line. Never saw her. And then I told my training partner, I said, hey, man, you won't believe this. This girl flashed me after the race. He goes, oh, yeah, the crazy girl came into the transition area, and she said, hey, where's Scott Rigsby? And I said, and he goes, why do you want to know? And so she flashes him, and he says, you misspelled his name when she put her shirt back down. So she goes up like this. He goes, oh, get out of here, you crazy girl. So he got flashed twice.
So wait, so your cock blocker friend sent the chick away?
No. He sent her away because it was that was like the transition area, and that's where we she wasn't even supposed to be in there. She was kind of like a stalker.
Well, she was showing her tits, so it's like to me that trumps any backstage pass. Do you have a pass? Here's your tits. All right, no pass needed. Come on back.
You do all right with the ladies there, Scott?
I do all right with the ladies. They, when I first had the accident, one of the things you think about when you're 18 and going off to college, you think, wow, man, this is just really gonna, hurt things with the ladies. But they don't care. They react to, my legs the way I react to, the way I come across. They could care less.
Right.
Yeah.
Women look at things differently than guys do. It's a whole big piece of my act how men and women are different. But a woman, like a guy would look at a woman with no legs and go, but a woman would look at it like, wow, this guy's has made it through this awful thing. Let me fuck him.
A guy would look at a woman with no legs and go, how do I get her on a ceiling fan?
That is true. How do I hide these so she can't leave? Yeah, right. That's actually a good angle to take.
That's my ratchet set.
All right, we got to go backwards. Remember we were talking about Batman?
Yes.
Pretty much everybody saw Batman this past weekend. Well,
what's it about?
I'm Batman.
The Dark Knight.
It's a guy who just he arrested Joker for I almost did a beating his wife and sister joke, and I'm like, why?
Is it true now Larry King played the Riddler?
Nothing. Hello. Listen to what this guy did to go see Dark Knight.
Police say the temptation of Batman was just too much for a child's father to pass up. But while David Farnham was enjoying The Dark Knight, his young son was battling to stay alive. Farnham's accused of leaving his 2-year-old son inside a car all by himself.
Again.
But that's when Janica Nielsen and her father saw the child.
We were walking to my dad's vehicle, and we see a baby in the back of the car. I thought it was a doll. At first, I couldn't believe someone would leave their child unattended.
It was about 1:30 in the morning, and so they stayed with the child while police were called.
The doors were locked, the windows were rolled up, but we were able to get the child out of the car.
I got the baby out, and he was soaking in sweat, so completely dehydrated. His diaper was wet. He was crying.
What the fuck, man?
But the fucking... Did he get to see the movie? The fucking Heath Ledger was good.
Yeah, let's at least get the guy's review of the movie and Heath Ledger's performance.
God, what are you thinking when you leave a fucking baby, especially for a 2-hour and 40-minute...
You're thinking about yourself. That's par for the course for this country, fucking Nitwitville. I've had it.
And that's why there's no God.
There is no... Thank you very much. There is no fucking God.
These are the stories that come out, and I go,
the baby lived,
there
though.
can't possibly be
There
a
can't
God.
be.
Because there's loving couples out there, they can't get pregnant, and then you got these schmucks having kids and not taking care of them. That proves there's no God.
No,
Thank
honest
you.
to God, I really fucking feel that way.
The baby lived.
Let's get the second half of the story.
Trying to prove there's a God because the baby lived.
All this time, police say
how you look
Farnham
at
was inside the movie watching The Cape Crusader.
He wanted to see a movie, apparently.
Do they have to use the
Cape Crusader.
Jesus Christ.
Fight crime in Gotham. Well, his own baby.
Right.
The Cape Crusader.
He wanted to see a movie, apparently.
Apparently?
Maybe he didn't think that leaving the child in the car was that bad, but it's certainly very,
trying to
very
justify
But while the
behavior?
child remained in
What's
the
wrong?
dark for nearly 2 hours, police say temperatures inside the car climbed to 86 degrees, a dangerous point for the child.
86 isn't
That's
dangerous.
not that bad. What the fuck?
Let's get
What's
a
this kid, a
contest
baby?
going.
Oh, he was a baby.
Let's get a contest going. 86 isn't dangerous.
Yeah, but you have no
86,
water.
It was 86 in my
86 is
bedroom last
easy.
night. for Christ's
Exactly.
sake. What the
Baby was
fuck? I didn't shit my
sweaty.
pants.
The little baby was sweaty. He had no water.
My parents didn't believe in AC growing up. Trust me, we got way above 86 when we were sleeping.
Do you know how many times it was fucking 1 in the morning and it was hot in my stupid house and I would get up and put the AC up a little and Chisler mother with fucking fruit bat ears would wake up and go and turn it off. I that was the worst part about growing up is they were so with the air conditioning bill.
Yeah.
It's like, Ma, it's fucking air conditioning. It's not blowing, a fucking plutonium out through the vents. It's hot.
Why did you even have it then?
I don't know. We had central air. I couldn't sleep.
Plutonium.
And it would just go, and fucking, sure enough, fucking, right out the fuck. You've never seen a woman get up faster. It was like she had her clit tied to the fucking thing, and I would switch it, and it would pull her hood. She had a little fishing hook in her clit hood.
Only he could fucking reference a clit in an air conditioning story.
And my mom.
Yeah.
Don't forget I
his
threw that in
mother's
the mix.
clit and the central AC.
Yeah, with a fish hook, it was hooked through the hood, and when you put the air conditioning thing, that would tug just hard enough, and Mother would know she had a bite. Jesus fucking...
It's like trolling for blues.
Old penny pincher.
She's got great ears. She hears that thing going on, huh?
Although my electricity bill, $500 this month.
I never noticed my electricity bill.
$500 fucking dollars.
Is that a lot? How much should it be?
It's usually around $380 or something.
Sure.
But I did hear on the news everybody's is up like 120. But
Yeah,
the fuck,
thanks.
$500. The fuck.
Yeah.
Let's get the rest of the
I
story.
like a lot of
I gotta
AC,
start
though.
selling coke to kids again.
Back to the kid dying in a car.
Climbed to 86 degrees, a dangerous point for the child.
I was
for Christ's sake.
incredibly angry it's selfish of a parent. It's irresponsible and selfish.
Wait,
One of
can
those
I
stories
pause
hard to
that? I
believe.
want to point out how we reacted. At first, we're like, that fucking guy, what an asshole. And now we're mad that they're saying 86 was bad. We're like, fuck that kid.
86 is nothing.
But the point is leaving your kid in the car to go to a fucking fucking cocksucking moron, you.
One of those stories hard to believe if you're a parent. Now, Nielsen says they couldn't find the father inside the movie house, so they, along with the police, waited until Farnham came out, and that's when he was arrested.
What an asshole.
Arrested him, huh?
How would they find him?
He did get to watch the whole movie. To answer your question, he did get to enjoy the whole
Did
movie.
he see the whole
thing?
What the
Did
fuck?
he really?
What, they don't...
Seriously?
They can't even do the right thing and stop the fucking movie and go, "Dude, whoever has their fucking kid in the car, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave right now."
They didn't want to interrupt the other patrons.
Oh, my God. See how
For the
stupid we
person
are?
who has a blue sun.
Exactly. Well, that's... The Dark Knight is more important than the kid. That's what we learned today, right?
Yeah, they probably. I think the police tried to say something, but they kept getting shushed by the usher. Nothing.
Not everybody should have kids.
Hey,
did I tell you that my mother shouldn't have had kids if she didn't want to use the air conditioning? How about you fan me with your big giant tits? I'm just being inappropriate.
They're shocked on the bleachers today. They're like, "Why is Jimmy making fun of his lovely
I love my mother. It was just-
librarian mother?"
My mom
I
was
always
great,
do
but
that, too.
she was awful though when she would get up there, and I would just hear the air turn off, and the rage would build in me, and I would get up and go, "Why are you doing that? It's hot."
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Open the window." Like, what do you think? The fucking it's not snowing out, Mom. It's August.
Yeah.
And then she threatened to throw me out of the house till I was 26.
Hey, you survived another 4 years though.
I sure
you
did.
made it to 30 with Mommy and Daddy. Hey,
Open a window.
It is 2 for Tuesday, so we have another story of a kid being left in the car. Look at what we do.
Good.
Two stories.
This guy was seeing Porky's 3.
This is even. Believe it or not, we got a story that's even worse than what you just heard.
What was it, 88 degrees in the car?
Yeah, was the kid driving? Baby.
A 4-year-old boy is dead. His mother left him in her car while she went into a nail salon. All of this on what was supposed to be her wedding day.
Dumb cunt, dumb cunt, dumb cunt.
Her wedding day.
Dumb cunt.
She wanted to get her nails done. She left a 4-year-old in a car.
Yeah.
How long did it take? How many fucking fingers did she have? 300?
I don't know what the fuck goes on in those nail salons, but they take way too long to get their nails done.
Jesus.
Way too fucking long.
Two
Why
Korean
does it
women.
take an hour and a half? What are you doing
How
in
long
there?
was she in there for?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's about her.
Yeah.
Hope she finds
Salon.
nice.
All of this on what was supposed to be her wedding day. Marcy Gonzalez has more from West Palm Beach.
She was excited for her wedding, you know? She was happy.
A
happy bride-to-be spent the morning in this...
That's a Korean. That's a Korean nail girl, no
Yeah.
doubt, right? Her toe jam, very dirty. Takes 6 hours. Fucking baby roast like potato.
She was happy.
A happy bride-to-be spent the morning in this nail salon.
What are you yelling at?
After a pedicure, manicure, and facial, the woman walked out to her SUV, ready to go to her wedding.
I heard the screaming outside.
The mother's heartbreaking screams brought store owners rushing outside.
My baby is passed away in the car.
Her 4-year-old son's nearly lifeless body was inside the vehicle.
What did she think was gonna happen? She wanted it to happen. I'm telling you. Half this shit ain't accidents. I'm fucking telling you. People are that selfish in this fucking world. Especially a bitch who spends 2 hours getting her fucking nails done on her fucking what? She didn't want that fucking kid. Seriously.
But now I know
nobody's that stupid. There's no fucking way.
Now she'll get conjugal visits at the prison.
I hope she gets a nice lump in her armpit.
We're all missing this. How did the wedding go? Was the reception dampened by the news? Did people go, you know what, let's have a good time anyway?
They're like, we already got the flowers. Fuck it. Let's do the...
I bet you they take it down a notch and they don't do the chicken dance out of respect. But everything else is a go.
Well, the husband, I bet you at the wedding, the reception, the husband still wiped the cake on her face and she went, are you fucking shitting me?
They'll do the electric slide.
Passed away in the car.
Her 4-year-old son's nearly lifeless body was inside the vehicle. He was in cardiac arrest after spending almost 3 hours trapped inside a sweltering vehicle on a 90-degree day.
She opened the car and she tried to, CPR, wake up, wake up. She was screaming. The both are trying to bring him back.
I'm telling you.
What are you thinking?
I'm with Nick on
I'm
this.
telling you, you can't be. No one's that stupid.
You think
there's no way you shut the fucking car doors, look at the car with a kid in it, and go and forget. You
want
deep down. She don't want a fucking kid. I'm telling you.
You want to have a kid, and then you realize, what the fuck, this sucks.
What did I get into?
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
And then you start thinking, all right, there's ways I could get rid of this kid without being charged.
Why on the wedding day, though?
The bride, huh?
Why on the wedding day? People take back the gifts.
That way even looks more like she had a lot on her mind.
Right. Well, the Vulture reporter tried to talk to the wedding party, and they were still formally dressed for the wedding. So,
good.
Really
Did he break the news? Good.
Paramedics tried to save the boy, rushing him here to Palms West Hospital, where he was...
By the way, Tim H. from Columbus, Ohio, makes a very good point on instant feedback. The 4-year-old died doing what he loved. Banging on the windows while sweating profusely.
While waiting for Cunto to get her fucking fingers fixed.
El Cunto.
Jesus Christ. This kid had the same kind of mother I did. I'll bet if he had turned the air conditioner on, she would have run out and shut it off.
Now that's what I call a late-term abortion, my friends.
What the
Paramedics tried to save the boy, rushing him here to Palms West Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. What was supposed to be one of the happiest days of a woman's life, turning into one of the worst.
When she arrived at the hospital, she thought that perhaps there was still a chance that the boy was going to live or survive. When she discovered that the boy had passed, she went into an emotional breakdown.
Back at the nail salon, disbelief.
I can't imagine someone leaving a child in a car.
Really? Investigators say...
Wow, Nick is really fired up on this
It
one.
fucking is inexcusable. This bitch should be taken out and shot in the fucking right in front of the wedding party.
4 years old, though. Most four-year-olds know their way around a car, no?
I don't know, man.
Oh, come on. You think we're blaming the kid now, really?
Yes, he's lazy.
Fuck this. This broad should be fucking beheaded.
Yeah, but
she probably had child locks in the back. You couldn't get out.
Dumb fucking whore.
Yeah, but you're not in a car seat at 4. I mean,
Yeah.
you're sitting in a seat at 4.
Why wouldn't she bring him inside?
She can get out.
Because she wanted him dead. That's why.
Because 4-year-olds are noisy.
They really are loud.
They're loud.
What
and they can't
it's
sit
making me
still.
sick.
And they have to, like, play with every single
Fidget.
fucking thing they see.
No, but that was probably her that was her experience for the past year. What you talking about?
Yeah, she
Here's
said,
a perfect way.
I don't want to deal with this. I got a new husband that's banging me good. Right? That's what she's thinking.
That'll last a month. but didn't the fucking broad drowned their kids in a tub, another one put them in a station wagon, drove them into a lake. This is just a sneaky way of doing that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it was no fucking accident. Nobody's that stupid.
You're onto something. Let's get to the wedding party.
But investigators say the mother may not have known her son was in the vehicle. They think he could have climbed in earlier in the morning without anyone noticing.
Fucking liar!
Very sad, yes.
The woman now answering questions from detectives about her son's death instead of saying "I do." I spoke with the family today outside of the hospital. They were all dressed, ready for the wedding, too upset to explain what went wrong. Investigators tell me it's too soon to know if the mother will face any charges.
What the fuck, really? If it was a guy, he'd be facing charges automatically. I fucking guarantee it.
This fucking reporter, too upset.
You didn't know the kid was in the car.
Like, why would you need their comments about this?
Well, the two things. One thing is that if the lawyer's trying to say, well, maybe the kid climbed into the car. Well, how come he couldn't climb the fuck out of the car?
Thank you.
You know, and second of all, this fucking cunt reporter, how dare you go up to, they're still dressed for the wedding. And she wants to know what's the haps with the dead kid.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the haps? Jesus, just have some tact.
You think Greta Van Susteren?
You think you're in the wedding? I imagine you're in the wedding party and everyone's just standing around and you just kind of look at everyone else dressed like yourself and you're thinking, awkward.
Yeah, great. I fucking trying to think you can get the money back on the tux.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that is a typical reporter, a typical vulture who would go to these people still dressed. It's like, what do you expect them to say, you fucking cunt? What kind of news are you going to get? The kid is dead. They're going to be miserable. You're looking to have screaming people on camera.
They're just looking for the shot of somebody crying to make the story even better.
But already, though, just that angle that, the kid, she might not know the kid was in the car, is that fucking angle, that lawyer fucking statement.
They can interview anybody, and they're going to get what they would have got from the wedding party. I'm completely shocked. I can't believe I knew her. I didn't think that she's somebody who would do something like that. She seemed to be a very responsible person. Why do you need to upset the family further?
Because they're fucking scumbags and vultures, and that's why it is great when they get the fucking punched in the face when people attack the media, and it's amazing how self-righteous they got when O&A fans were running up and screaming in their faces like they're doing important work. You fucking vultures. You're going to a dead kid's family at a wedding party and sticking a mic in their face. Fuck you. Fuck you. And then she's saying, hey, it's one of the worst days of their life. Really? Like, what's worse? When she had 1,500 on fucking Norwood to make the extra fucking the field goal? You shit twat. I'd like to shit right in her vagina and then squish it in with a boot.
She lost a parakeet.
Did you just do a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl?
I did. I tie them all in. Nails, dead kids, air conditioning, and Buffalo Bills.
1986, I think. Super
I didn't
Bowl
know the
joke?
kid was in my car. What were you driving? A fucking Denali?
Dirty Ralph.
The cough at the end of that made me very happy.
Choking on my egg.
Dirty Ralph's got a what's the haps? He writes, what's the haps? Is the honeymoon still on? What's the haps?
The fucking reporter I hate more than the mother.
Well, how about it's like Greta Van Susteren and her show?
She's
Talking
nice
about
lips.
show built on that fucking thing, that stroke
Greta
victim
is
face.
awful.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't be serious on
course
that
not.
one.
No, but you know why I said that? My buddy Al Barber goes, I think she's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? She's like a stroke victim.
Yeah, she's not attractive.
All right,
She's got like a hotline. Any? Go ahead.
No, good, Nick. Jesus. Nick is like...
Nice fucking 86 grain bread with no butter on it. Really fucking...
It's a little dry, isn't it?
Jesus Christ. It's like Barbara Bush's snatch. I mean, can I get more dust with this toast?
I eat that shit too, and without the butter, it's not a treat. All right, ScottRigsby.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. You want abroad? We can get you abroad.
There's plenty back in Atlanta. They're good looking.
Oh,
women
are
there.
there ever,
Good
man?
Southern belles.
Oh,
Good
love
Southern
'em.
Bells?
Good Southern belles back in Atlanta.
They lick,
Absolutely.
They lick
Hot Atlanta.
Do they lick balls in Atlanta or what? Let's get down to the...
I have no idea.
I know the guys do. I spent a week down there.
It's hard to find a girl. I've only gotten hookers in Atlanta. There was a girl I wanted to see down there who had a really big clit and big pussy lips, but she lived too far away. This is true. A couple of years ago, she was going to let me bareback fuck her.
Have you been to the Punchline?
Oh yeah, a few times. Sure.
It's a great place
down there. Yeah, it's great.
Great place.
He plays
Good
it a lot.
place.
Next time you should go see Jimmy.
I'm there in a
okay.
few. I'm there in about a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great place.
I like to have my asshole spit in. You ever have a girl spit in your ass? It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, Scott, I mean, come on.
By
We can only
accident.
talk about triathlons long enough. Do you like that or what? Jimmy's asking a legitimate
I like that.
question.
Like when you're on your hands and knees and your fucking rear is up in the air and they spit into it and they just slowly tug your dick.
You like that?
Oh, who doesn't?
Jimmy likes his dick
Sounds
pulled
like
backwards.
Yeah, like
Backwards.
almost if they're gonna pull it, I'm gonna go take off. The way.
Sounds painful.
Put your dick
taking me
backwards.
serious.
Jesus Christ.
I do a little bit like a Manx cat tail, but it's awful because my stomach hangs down and they're jerking me off with my fat stomach hitting their knuckles. It's really unsexy.
Spit in your asshole, huh?
Yeah, it's really fucking nice.
Yeah. Can you get footage of that? I'd like to see that in slow
I probably
motion.
could actually. I'd love to have a fucking spy cam hooked up.
Hey, I'm going to put the audience on the spot for a second. Anybody have a question for Scott Rigsby from ScottRigsby.com? Double amputee who completed the Hawaiian Ironman triathlon.
Who's the chick out there? Hold on. Can you get the mic on the girls, mister? Oh, I didn't see the girl here. I couldn't see from where I'm sitting. Who's the girl here?
Oh my God! They just want to watch. They're scared. This crowd is scared.
Oh, there's two girls. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. What's your name, miss?
Megan.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. Do you got a boyfriend?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. How about the other broad?
Oh, the broad. You got a boyfriend?
Yes, I do.
Where is he?
Husband.
Okay, you guys are together.
All right. Listen.
Sorry.
Would either one of you?
Thanks for the effort.
Would either one of you bang Scott Rigsby if you were single?
I don't know.
It's a hard question because their boyfriends are right there, and what's going to happen is this: the drive home is going to be this.
Yeah.
So you want to fuck the athlete? But you said you would have. But we were on the radio. And these fucking jealous guys are going to wind up thinking that they want to fuck. So the women can't say.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be fucking kneeling by the bed and they're going to get their hair pulled. Where were you today? And they're going to say, I said the movies. They say, what'd you see? And they're going to
Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride. The best slaps ever was De Niro in Raging Bull.
Oh, fucking rhythmic.
She calls him a fucking fat pig, selfish fool, and he bites his tongue, selfish fool, and he lines up the slaps just so those guinea
Open that,
hands.
will you?
Oh, sure.
Can't get my fucking greasy hands.
Hi, who's this?
That's Scott. He might have a bottle opener on his knee.
It's Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army leg.
Hello?
She's gone.
Who was it?
Some broad looking for Russell. I thought we'd fuck with her.
Russell?
But maybe
Russell who?
maybe I shouldn't have said hi. Who's this?
Oh yeah,
because no one answers their phone like that at home.
I'm just trying to get.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Hi.
I should have said
Who'd I
hello.
call?
Yeah. Hi, you're on the air. What's this, a residence?
All
It's
right.
open, kid.
All
Thank you, fella.
We're going to take a quick break. ScottRigsby.com. Nick Dip.
Atlanta Rigsby.
.com.
I got a tinkle.
And so do I.
You're going to go in that tiger cage and shit?
Daddy, 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 please don't kill me, Daddy. I want to live. Why are you killing us?
Wow! Fat bellyacre, shut up.
You deserve to burn in hell.
Opie and Anthony.
We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. Got a full house today. We got a nice crowd outside. We got Nick DiPaolo from NickDip.com. Scott Rigsby in studio. A lot of questions for you, Scott. We're going to go to the phones in a second, but Nick DiPaolo was telling us about his trip to Afghanistan, actually, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, you heard about the whole fucking incident about the mortar attack and all that shit, right?
What's your take on that?
Well, I'm just glad it's
Were you
third
scared?
world ragheads shooting at us because they have no fucking aim, and apparently they don't have the equipment, but they were aiming at the base that we were at, so, you know what I mean?
And you were in a bunker for a while?
Yeah, we were in a van on our way to a meet and greet, and all of a sudden the sirens went off, so we had to pull over and kind of jog to a bunker. You know, I mean, we felt better because it was soldiers who'd been through it with us, and they weren't exactly panicked, but...
Were you scared a little bit?
I don't know. I was, like, too tired. I was up fucking for, like, 24 hours. I was too tired to be scared, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, a little bit. It's a little creepy, you know, and, yeah, it was fucking amazing. So we're in this, you know, cement bunker for like 40 minutes and already signing autographs and shit.
In a bunker?
In a bunker. And, yeah, it was fucking crazy. And we got to, like I said, we got to fly the Black Hawk helicopters. They
Well, this is what Nick was saying off mic. He's got to talk about this, but he was in a Black Hawk, and the guy said, yeah, you want to shoot a few rounds. I can't imagine that's legal.
I don't know. I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble. I don't think so.
Just
but
don't name names.
No, it was fucking great.
And then Nick goes, you shoot women and children?
Yeah, it was fucking amazing to get behind that machine. Obviously, it's cool when nobody's shooting back at you. I kept it all in perspective.
Yeah.
But,
you were firing at a little hill or something?
well, yeah, the guy said, just fucking aim at that hill over there, which I did and shit. And then, you know, when we landed, I saw him getting a little talking to from his superior. Apparently, I shot over a village. So, which wasn't my fault. I shot when he told me to shoot.
How did they know you were even shooting?
How did who know?
Someone on the ground was like, what the fuck? There's some firing going on here?
No, I mean, I'm sure the pilot knew, you know.
It was the carnage of
They know
camels.
exactly where they are. And, you
What's
know.
going on?
Yeah, what's going on.
So why the
they-
hell would that guy take the chance? Maybe he was leaving in a couple days. Maybe he was just about done.
we all got to do it, though. Like,
That's amazing.
I mean, it was fucking, and like I said, there's footage.
How did that feel?
I didn't want to let go of the fucking thing. Seriously. I mean, you're like a 14-year-old kid playing. I mean, in a Black Hawk, whipping through the desert.
Right.
I mean, it was like, I couldn't sleep that night. I was so fucking excited.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty cool.
We also got to sign a 500-pound bomb from one of those drones.
Ralphie May was there?
We got, oh, motherfucker.
Poor guy's not even here to defend
I know, but I
himself.
just couldn't think
It's
of
too
it.
good.
That's perfect.
And this video's on YouTube?
It says dude shooting machine gun. That's,
Your dude?
Yeah. It says dude shooting machine gun. That's me. You fucking pull it up.
I think they're looking for you.
But
I
like
think they're looking for
Florentine
who-
did it.
who-
You know, Artie did it. Bubba Bowie did. It's going to be, I'm sure, and they all have footage of themselves doing it, so it's going to be on their website. So I'm not getting anybody in trouble. I don't think.
That's pretty cool, man.
But yeah, that was fucking. And we got to sign this 500-pound bomb that those drones drop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got a Predator and a Reaper. The Reaper's the newest one. And the next day they dropped it on 8 insurgents.
Really?
Planting an IED. That's what the guys told it. It was fucking crazy, man. I mean, just and the guys loved it. They ate it up. We flew out to the middle of nowhere. Like we were in Kandahar, and we flew from there on the Black Hawk out about 45-minute. Helicopter ride.
Were you weaving and shit?
Yes.
Were they doing some cool shit for
Yeah,
you?
they were flying. I mean, to look at
Sideways
those mountains.
and-
Yeah.
Wow.
The first, 10 minutes we're sitting there, and we're whipping through it. And all of a sudden, they started shooting. It scared the shit out of us because we didn't know if we were being shot at.
Oh, they're just fucking around.
I guess.
They
I
had
never
to.
got an answer to that either.
They were showing off. They're cowboys,
Yeah,
man.
I would think so.
Did he get sick?
No, the fucking thing. They kept talking before we get on. You know, there's even a few pilots that have got. I'm like, oh, this is going to make me sick. The thing was as smoother than most flights I've taken.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be puking.
It's so cool though. They can hover. You know, when you're waiting to take off, you hover like 30 feet off the ground for like 5 minutes, and then just.
And does it like just shoot forward?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
How high
man.
are you? Like 500 feet? They can't go too high because they don't want to be targets.
Well, when we were actually shooting the machine guns, we weren't that high. Yeah, I mean, I remember what Artie was doing. He was shooting like an irrigation ditch or something. You could actually see the bullets hitting the. But you know, I don't know what the exact. Once we were whipping through and we weren't, but it was fucking. You're in that helicopter, you're all strapped in, right? And there's wires hanging and shit, and you're like, there's no room for error here. If something,
right?
You know what I mean? And they actually go before we get on. The kids that are flying are like 25 years old, baby face. Like, and you remember what a nut you were in your 20s.
Yeah, no shit.
And they go, if the thing goes down, just stay in the copter. But he goes, and if you do that, you might get burned by searing oil from the ceiling. And they're giggling and shit, and we're looking at each other. What the fuck? We're gonna die in this.
I'd be out of my mind.
It was to see those mountains, and you'd fly over the fucking desert for 20 minutes, see nothing, and then you'd see like a house made of mud, right? And you're like, how? What are they surviving on in the middle of the desert?
Right.
And then you'd see a fucking acre of green vegetables and shit,
right,
in the middle of nowhere because they
So
know how to
weird.
tap into the water underneath. It's fucking. I mean,
Are we accomplishing anything over there? Have you seen any signs of we're doing good? What did you see?
Well, I mean,
Afghanistan's a little different than Iraq, though.
Yeah, you know, right now it's much more dangerous. You know, I mean, there were more people killed in them.
Yeah, I know it's getting bad again over in Afghanistan.
I guess
the numbers are going up over there.
All the equipment's in Iraq, you know, and they want to switch it over to. But once I see the technology of these unmanned drones and shit, and this colonel is showing us how he can literally, you know, the unmanned drone send a picture back, and he's watching on his computer like a couple insurgents burying an IED at nighttime.
He saw that footage.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he goes. The thing is, he can go home to his home in Vegas and actually blow people up in Afghanistan from his home in Vegas. Wow. And then go swim in his pool. So how will we even, I don't even see how it's even close, how we could fucking ever lose.
Right.
I don't fucking get it, you know, with that technology. And the drone took off during our show in Kandahar. It took a picture of us doing our show from and they gave it to us the next day.
Is that on Nick Dip?
Not yet. I haven't had time. I had to go right to Montreal from there. I haven't had fucking 2 minutes to shit in the last 3 weeks.
Right,
but it's all gonna be on nickdip.com.
Absolutely,
And put
that's
the
cool.
footage up, and it was very humbling to see how these kids live and what they're giving up. I mean, Kandahar was a fucking nightmare. It's like 120 degrees,
and they're living in tents.
They're living in they have like barracks, but
there's no AC or all that shit.
But there was a sewage treatment plant, like right in the middle of the fucking base. So literally, the shit smell was so bad. And people told us before we got there, we're like, they got to be exaggerating. You could literally taste it. It was so thick.
Oh.
I mean, picture like somebody's septic tank backing up on a hot day. It was 40 times worse than that. Literally. You got used to it a little bit, and every once in a while the wind would shift.
They can't figure that shit out.
I don't understand. I don't understand
I think
that.
as men we'd figure that out quickly. You'd imagine, but they got other things to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. And they're accustomed. They become acclimated to it. I saw guys jogging in the fucking afternoon. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Get the lungs of Amy Winehouse when you've done.
Yeah, exactly. Just sitting around, you're burning calories. You don't need to go for a jog.
No, they tell you to drink literally. It was 12 quarts of water a day, which is 3 gallons. Right. Just to stay hydrated.
Stay even.
Just to stay even. They have a chart over the urinals in there. It shows you, different colors of your urine.
Right.
If it's real yellow, you're dehydrated.
Sure.
There's like 5 different, it's all, they have that posted over every urinal in the bathroom.
3 gallons a day.
Yeah. Just to stay. It was amazing. And to see chicks with machine guns.
Did you take long leaks at night?
Long leaks?
Yeah. The weirdest thing, I went hiking in the Grand Canyon. I've talked about this a bunch over the last few years. Me and my brother, and because it's so fucking hot and dry, heat. They not the same thing because they're fighting a war and I'm fucking hiking in a hole.
Right.
But they tell you at every turn, make sure you stay hydrated, and because it's so hot, your body keeps all the water inside to keep your body temperature cool.
Right.
But then when you go back to your room and you got AC and you're sleeping, you wake up and take these monster, they take forever leaks, and you're amazed all this fluid is in you.
Yeah.
Because your core temperature's finally, dropping, and then and your body's saying, all right, I don't need this water anymore.
That's right. That happens to me at home more than it did over there.
Oh, really?
I don't think I probably wasn't fully hydrated over there. I wasn't drinking enough.
Yeah.
But that fucking happens to me all the time.
All right.
Patrice is busting my balls about that. About me having to take so many pisses. You're a fucking old man. It's like an Avatar commercial.
Stupid Patrice. I was flying to L.A. with him many years ago. I call it kind of La La Land. And we were going on...
I call it the West Coast.
Just, crazy stuff. And we were on a TWA flight. L.A.
Sorry.
That's right.
One too many.
Yeah.
I'm known for that.
That happens.
I really... I'm going to eat my banana now.
All right. But yeah, on a flight, I pissed so many times. Patrice told me to get checked for diabetes. He's so obsessed with other people's the urinary habits of white people.
Yeah.
He focuses on.
Well, he's
and
hoping.
He roots against us.
Yeah, he's hoping we
roots
get.
against
He
us.
really is. He's hoping.
Yeah,
that
he
we
can't
have
wait to
diabetes.
get the good news.
Absolutely.
That you tell him that you have diabetes just like he does.
When he told me he had diabetes, I asked him. I go, well, if you're a black guy and you get diabetes, how do you know when your feet start rotting?
That's a joke by Nick DiPaolo.
Hey, well, we can't do that. Patrice laughed his balls off. He's one of my best friends, and he's black, and I'm not a fucking racist.
Nick,
okay,
I'm with you. Trust me.
No, I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to whoever.
These dopey bloggers once again. The Breitbarts out there.
Yeah, now fuck the bloggers.
They just jot.
Yeah, I know. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Are you a big man, Scott? What are you packing?
Speaking of bloggers,
I get home alone.
All right, we got.
That didn't get dragged.
Why don't you pull up my clip of me shooting that gun? No?
Yeah.
Nobody interested? Fuck it.
No, we'll throw it up on the big screen. Absolutely.
I'd like to see it on a big screen.
All right, we got Tom in Chicago, also known as Gotham City. What's up, Tom?
Scott, how's it going, man?
Hey, brother, how's it going, man?
What was your support structure as you were training starting in 2006, and what, outside of being a double amputee, did you do to prepare for that? And the second question is, did you ever consider using your prosthetics to host some advertising, and would you throw a wow sticker on each of them?
Hey, thank you.
Was this a William Morris agent?
I like that.
Yeah, my support structure, and a lot of people ask me, how did your family react to saying, hey, I'm going to do Ironman? First of all, they didn't even know what it was. I'm the youngest of 7. My parents have been married for like 63 years. I have older parents. They're 80 and 82 and 83 now.
Wait. You're not kidding? You have parents that have been married for 63 years?
Yeah.
And what's the age range with everybody?
My oldest sister is 60, so there's 20 years difference. He goes 60, 4 sisters, 60, 58, 56, 54, 2 older brothers in their 40s. Well, my oldest brother's like 50.
Wow.
And then I have a middle brother that's about 4 or 5 years older than I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, they asked what my, kind of my support structure was. Is my dad, basically my mom was very supportive, but my dad, when I had, really I was the first U.S. double amputee, I don't know about world, to do an Olympic distance triathlon like they did in New York this past weekend, and then the first to ever do a half Ironman. And so I asked my dad, Christmas time of 2006, I said, hey man, I said, I've done all this stuff, I've helped a lot of people, and what do you never called me to like say anything about it. He goes, and I said, well, are you not proud of me? He goes, I'm not proud of you. Because, my dad is like from the old school. He's a guy came through the depression, and so he's like, you need to get married, you need to get a job, and all this kind of stuff. And he didn't really see the bigger picture. So then I think I kind of get a little bit more props when I finished the Hawaiian Ironman. And so he watched me on NBC, saw 50 million people see me cross the finish line. And I said, hey, Mom, said you saw me watch you across the finish line, and I said, what did you think about it? He goes, I didn't think anything about it. So he said, he's kind of like, just, he doesn't really understand what's going on. But that helps me relate to people who really have a dream and want to do great things, but then they go, I've got to have people to support me. Well, you really don't. You just have to get good people. You have to have a dream, and you have to get good supportive people. So I've got good friends.
But that's got to be disappointing that your dad's not impressed.
Oh, absolutely,
man.
sure.
What the fuck?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
That's
sure it was.
weird.
But, it's
You've been an inspiration for a lot of people out there.
Yeah. But, the fortunate thing is I get a lot of press, but really there's so many people around me, good guy friends, from high school, college, and stuff like that, that really, I mean, I wouldn't be able to cross the finish line if it wasn't for them and their support.
Are you angry at him for that?
Am I angry at my dad?
I'm getting annoyed listening to it. Like
I'm so annoyed.
Like I'm getting aggravated for you.
No, I mean, I think about like if he's such a hard case, think about his parents. He probably had, I mean, they were, they probably were doubly hard on him. So I want that kind of attitude to stop with my kids. When I have kids, I want to be able to be very supportive in whatever they want to do.
Where do you get your personality from? Your mom, then? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm a lot like my mom. She's very kind of laid back, go with the flow, but a very hardworking woman.
What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living? Yeah, I do public speaking engagements and
so
pay the rent.
You're making a good living with that.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I pay the rent by I've talked to Arby's and places like that. I go do corporate gigs and then I don't really pass up an opportunity. I mean, I drove 2 hours to spend time with 13 kids in this little small school on a cross country team. They wanted to invite me up there and just talk with them about running and stuff like that. So drive up there. So I don't really.
How old were they?
They're like middle schoolers and stuff. Yeah.
That's Uncle Paul, by the way.
Okay.
Uncle Paul really likes kids.
They're so inspirational.
Yeah. I gotta say it. I mean, that's way cooler than having a job.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the middle of writing a book. Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to trash your dad. I don't even know him, but I'm getting really frustrated.
What exactly? Is he jealous of the attention you get?
What? Yeah.
I think that he came in a time, during the like Great Depression where you worked hard and you got married, you had a bunch of kids. You didn't get anybody's business. They didn't get in your business, and you just kind of kept to yourself, and in his own world, and that really wasn't where I felt like this accident happened for a reason, and that I'm supposed to be out there inspiring our military men and women to overcome if they're injured, to go overcome their challenges. Or just able-bodied people, motivate the couch potato, to get active and just show people what they can do.
You're absolutely inspirational. Now, when you lost your one leg first,
right leg below the knee first, yeah,
and then finally in '98 you told him to take your left leg. We talked about all this earlier. If people are just tuning in, what did he show any emotion when you lost your leg initially?
Oh yeah, he was very emotional. Yeah,
but
that's probably the only time.
But he still wanted you to get a job.
Well, no, that's the only time that I've ever seen my dad cry. I mean, and really, I guess the older I've gotten, I had a lot more empathy for him, because, to not be able to express your emotions, like that, it's got to be difficult because you got all this stuff bottled up inside. And, so, I mean, I'm like my mother, I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve. And so, you have to kind of get past that, or you end up being bitter. Like people go, like I noticed one of the guys said, hey, whatever happened to the truck driver?
Well, that's
Momo.
The next question from Momo. Yeah, you can answer that.
Which truck driver? Your friend or the one who hit you?
No. Actually, the 18-wheeler driver that passed us that ended up causing the accident. I lost my legs. I mean, that guy got a $55 fine. And this was, rural South Georgia, so they didn't even drug test him or anything like that. But I didn't, I haven't gone around, I went through the normal stage in the grieving where you're pissed off, you're depressed, you're angry, and then you kind of get over it, because the deal with it is what helped me get over this is I had good friends, and when I was kind of depressed or moping around, they didn't cut me any slack at all. They're like, no, we're not gonna let you. Just go be depressed or whatever. Get over it. We're not handling your legs. We're not handing your walker. We're not handing your wheelchair. You do it yourself. And so they really forced me to kind of be extremely independent. They were very hard on me at the first. But, you can be mean at first and nice later, but you can never be nice at first and then mean later. And that's really how, my support team was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the trucker, you never spoke to him?
Yeah, I never got a chance to talk with him.
Does he even know what he caused?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. He has. kids even ask me, hey, if you had a choice, if you had this kind of divine choice to, get your real legs back or live with prosthetics the rest of their life, and they asked me, what would you do? And I was like, hands down, it's an easy question. I would go through my life with prosthetics exactly like I am now, then go back to just having just real legs, because I can make a greater impact on the world by walking around on prosthetics.
And you're so used to them by now. Do you get more?
Yeah, I mean, I've lived longer, with prosthetics than I have without them.
Do you get more women now?
It's weird. I mean, I've never been married, because I can go into a bar and I can sit down, and I have a woman will come up and she'll sit down and she will tell me every intimate detail in her life and actually then leave. And, it's just, I just have this kind of personality that people just, they spill their guts to me. And I think,
Do you give them a good, sticking before they leave, though?
Not so much.
Should we get her to jerk you off under the bar?
Yeah. Do you poke them in the fart box before you tell them to beat it?
I am the ultimate friend zone kind of person. And I think it has to do with something, people see the prosthetics, they understand that there's a story behind there, and that there's a trauma there, and people relate to pain. They understand, about pain.
Do you dream? Do you have dreams that you still have your legs, or what are your dreams like? Is that like something that will come to you, like you're running, or it was a really chilling moment in Born on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
When he had lost his legs and he dreamed of just getting up and just running, and it was fucking an awful, really chilling scene. Do your dreams like that?
I think right after the accident, I remember specifically right after the accident, I played high school football, absolutely a fanatical college football fan. And I remember it was interesting, I remember playing with prosthetics. And it was weird. I was like, wow, why am I dreaming that I have prosthetics? But I think what happens in the deep subconscious is that that's when acceptance happens. You go, that was an old life, that chapter's closed, and I've entered into this new chapter, and so that's when you really know that you kind of accepted it, when it gets into your dreams, that hey, this is me, and this is who I am. Yeah.
Wow. Very good. Nick, your video is now up on nickdip.com.
Oh, is it?
That's what someone is saying. And here's the video on YouTube.
Found it?
Dude shooting a machine
gun on YouTube. This is our friend Nick DiPaolo. That's you right there?
Yeah.
Holy what are you you look insane.
I know.
You just don't lead him as much.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, you're really into it.
Yeah. I wish you could see the fucking ground of the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fucking
Or at least
crazy,
your face.
man.
I bet you're just making crazy faces.
Well, I'm lucky to even have that. All the other guys had cameras and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I went first. They weren't sitting in the same section as me.
Right.
And I didn't even think to ask anybody to take a picture or anything.
Yeah.
And luckily, the other gunner videotapes everything that goes on in the helicopter. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't even know. I'm lucky to even,
Do you, if they had said to you, you can shoot those people down there, they're possibly insurgents, or they are insurgents, would you have done it?
Why not? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wanted to answer Brian's question, but I can't see it.
Oh, well, sure, Scott. Right. It's the Scott Rigsby Show. Brian the Trucker.
Yeah, Brian.
I'm just the phone screener for the Scott Rigsby Show. What's up, Brian? Brian, you're on the air.
I'm here, but I'm on another phone also.
Oh, jeez, let's not interrupt your day. What do you got, prosthetic ears?
Stay back on hold.
Well, who are you on the phone with?
I'm on the phone with my company.
But you're kidding, right? You're on a live radio show in front of two countries.
Would I make it sound like truckers? What?
Scott makes it sound like all truckers do drugs.
But I've never said anything about drugs. Actually, there was a truck.
I hate this guy. Not you, Scott. This guy on the phone. I'm on the phone with my company, and he's calling to defend truckers. Shut up, you bunch of junkies.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of heroin addicts.
Yeah.
Well,
Scott said it, and I agree with it.
Interesting story about that.
And gay. All truckers are gay. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead. Bunch of gay, rest area, blowjob, fucking junkies. Go ahead, Scott.
Crystal meth.
Interesting thing about the truck drivers. I never said that the truck drivers did drugs. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, there was
after what you were you went through, you would like to know if the guy was on drugs.
No, I just said all I said is that they didn't even drug test. It was 1986, so I mean he didn't even get a breathalyzer or anything like that. So I don't know that the guy. I don't have any heart or any bitterness toward him. Actually, there was an 18-wheeler driver behind him. And if it wasn't for that guy, I might be dead because that guy had paramedic training.
Oh, no shit.
And was actually helping me out. So a truck driver caused the accident, and then another 18-wheeler driver helped save my life.
But like this guy
Brian?
who's on the phone with his company. Can you hear us?
I got rid of him.
Good. I'm on the phone with my company. Put me back on hold.
Yeah.
Shut up, druggie.
Yeah.
What do you do? He's probably calling to explain the fucking tainted piss results.
I'm sorry, Brian. It's obvious that this 18-wheel driver had an extra cup of coffee.
That's right.
That's what caused
you
this whole thing.
Druggie. Bunch of
Another
druggies.
selfish asshole.
That's why everything's late. All truckers are doing
Why don't you go
drugs.
home and let your kid out of the back of the car?
Let's go to Kevin in Texas.
Is this another druggy trucker?
Yeah.
Gay druggy trucker? Go ahead.
What's your handle, Goo Gobbler?
Go ahead, gay.
How's it looking over you,
Druggy
Smokey?
trucker.
How's it looking over you, fucking donkey? Stupid.
Yes, you're on the air, gay druggy trucker.
Yeah, gay druggy trucker. What can we do for you? Hello?
Kevin.
Yeah, what's your 20, HIV?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up there? What's
go.
up there, good butty, B-U-T-T-Y? You're on the air, sir.
Hey, shit dick, let's go.
Hello?
Yeah.
Kevin!
Hey,
Thanks for breaking that stereotype.
I hear somebody else's name.
No, it's you. What's your name, druggie?
Mine's Kevin.
Oh, hi, Kevin.
Another thing. No, I'm a truck driver. I've been driving trucks for 8 years, and I mean, yeah, there are a lot of drugs out here available to truck drivers.
Sure.
But, I mean, not as many as you'd think do them and everything. Half the time nowadays, it's just inexperienced truck drivers. Everybody's putting drivers out here who don't know what they're doing, and
That's
it's all
true.
Smokey and the Bandit movies and crap like that. I mean,
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Driving home from Montreal, I get cut off like twice. They're driving around a rotary like they're in a Toyota. The fucking 18-wheeler with 60,000 pounds of potatoes. They're fucking riding right up my ass.
Jimmy Bass truckers all you want. I still think you're funny.
I'm just kidding, dude.
Yeah,
My
we're
father's
just
been a
fucking
trucker.
around.
Holy
Jesus
shit,
Christ.
now we have sensitive truck drivers in the country. Fucking Oprah, somebody
I'm
shoot her.
saying every
fucking
trucker.
around,
I'm
man.
saying every trucker is a gay druggie, and he thinks I'm really bashing truckers. My dad was a trucker for many years. He drove an 18-wheeler with a little thing put in the seat, shaped like a penis. But that was him. Get it?
He used to sit on the emergency brake and spin.
Speaking of penises, now Greg has a problem. Greg the
Oh
trucker.
no, Greg, what's the matter?
Greg.
Greggy.
Jimmy, I did appreciate what you saying. All truckers are gay, man. I mean,
Oh, come on, man. I don't. Maybe they're not all gay, but they're all willing to at least just hold your cock in the mouth for a second.
I mean, that's what a lot of lizards are for. They're supposed to be the ones that give blowjobs and stuff.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, dude. I mean, if you're helping out, if one trucker's helping another trucker out, just holding the dick in the mouth and going, "Come on, are you done?" There's nothing gay about that.
All right, just all truckers aren't gay now. Okay.
Get a hold of yourself, you homophobe. They're not gay, but they do take it in the ass. What the fuck is with truckers being sensitive?
Yeah.
That's because the time we're living in, we're so feminized a society.
You can't even fucking
even the
tease
truckers.
truckers.
I'm telling you. It's the times
I
we're
really
living in.
thought
I'm
the
well aware of
truckers
it.
would be the ones that wouldn't be so fucking sensitive.
But who doesn't understand what the
We got Brian.
that I'm kidding.
We got Brian back, who was on with his company and couldn't take our phone call, but he's now ready to take our phone call.
Oh, cool, Brian. Hope we didn't interrupt you with the company.
Hey, Brian.
Little Jimmy, happy birthday. Get off my ass. I was driving in downtown Miami on the phone with the company, man, and any other time y'all leave me on hold for an hour.
Oh, what'd you have to tell the
thing
company?
is-
All right, go ahead.
The thing that upset me is this guy made a comment, this truck driver that hit him and caused the accident or whatever. He said they didn't do no drug testing or nothing. Any truck accident is DOT reportable. It's by law they have to drug test.
That's
Why-
86.
It was 1986.
I mean, but still.
And I wasn't saying that he had.
listening. It's a nitwit.
Hey, how about we give?
Oh my
He made a comment that all truck drivers do drugs out
I never
here.
said that, dude.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, Scott, you did say that.
I never said
And he
that.
said they all like trannies. Oh, he was talking about me.
Yeah.
I never said that, bro. Did you?
First of all, he didn't say it, and second of all, why don't we give him a break? The guy has 2 missing fucking legs.
Yeah, I know. Thanks to the druggy truckers.
I was standing behind everything he said until he made that comment, and they didn't drug test.
He wanted the guy drug tested.
You were standing behind everything? Is that a pun?
On drugs.
I think if you lost your legs, you would like to know, why did this guy do this to me?
I get
was
hit
it
by
drugs? Was it too much coffee? Was it him thinking about
I was hit by a
his
person
ex-wife?
doing drugs.
Did he go to...
10 years old, hit by a car.
Hey, did you hear about the part? There was a truck driver behind the truck driver who hit us. That was actually a former paramedic. So one truck driver caused the accident. The other one saved my life.
Luckily, the one saving his life was doing coke.
Did you guys hear the part that there was another one going down
He's
on him?
very
His name was
alert.
Little Timmy.
Well, you know what happened was that this one trucker was hauling 30,000 pounds of bananas, and he fell down a hill going into Scranton, Pennsylvania, and he yelled, "God, make it a dream." No one?
I'm giving it here.
Hey, Jimmy, would you shoot the insurgents? People want to know.
I think I'd be able to. I don't know.
Fuck, am I non-existent here?
Well, they were probably asking, could I ask you?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm very tired. Go ahead.
Did
you ask too?
I asked Nick if he would have shot
I know
them.
that. So
they were
that's why we
asking me
want
would
your
I
answer.
would I have
If
shot.
they were, if they were in the process of burying an IED or something.
I don't know if I could. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not military. I don't know how if I'd be able to do it.
I don't know how it. Well, I could. I have no fuck. You know me. I'm fucking have no.
Did they tell you how they actually buried the bombs?
The IEDs?
Yeah. They
no.
actually have a truck that comes through. The guy was
Of
telling
course,
me.
a truck again.
Yeah, they have
and
a
a
truck
guy
that
driving
comes
it's
to-
high.
Well, no. They cut the hole in in the truck, and then one jumps out, digs the hole, and then another truck comes
Yes.
in and plants the bomb, covers it up. They now have kind of a casinos,
one system.
Well, the casinos actually have this kind of eye in the sky. They
Right.
actually have one of those that they stick on the plane now, and it can identify.
Well, yeah, no, we saw
the
that.
truck. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
those eye in the sky things
Yeah.
are on the bottom of the drone.
I met the defense contractor that in California actually made that. Yeah, when I
Did
was
you?
out there.
Yeah. Well, we actually went to the fucking, to the garage where they were working on the drones. We saw the
exactly,
and we actually signed the 500-pound bomb, and the colonel was explaining to us they have the technology where he can be in his house in Las Vegas and fucking blowing up insurgents.
I just got a crazy deja vu.
What the fuck? You come
That's
from
been a-
Bally's playing poker?
That's actually been a huge progress, and that's why we've been able to save a lot of lives just because of
Yes,
that technology.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
All they
What
need
the
to
fuck?
do is take care of that drug problem that they got over there.
Yeah, the poppies. But
all right. Let's say hi to. Well, let's go to Mongo the trucker. Mongo.
You know, what's the problem, Jimmy? You suck one cock for an 8-ball and you're labeled for life.
Not necessarily. You were just broke.
it wasn't an 8-ball. It was a tuna sandwich.
All right, and someone is agreeing with you. They didn't drug test the truckers back then.
Of course they didn't. They don't now. They all cheat. They're all driving with
But they
suspended
do drive like
licenses.
fucking maniacs today.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. They drive them like they're in a car, man.
The scariest are the ones that actually have the double trailer.
Yeah,
Those are the
yeah.
scariest.
Yeah.
Well, you
because
should
that
see-
back one's doing this.
Oh yeah.
I had my grandmother would always yell whenever people would pass us. She would drive her Ford Escort, and the catalytic converter would make it smell like farts. And I would always go, "Are you farting?" And she would be very mad. And whenever someone would pass her, she would yell, "Oh, Speedy Skippy!" Really? Yeah. Or "Hooray for me! The hell with you, huh?" That was what grandmother would yell.
I hope she passed.
Oh, she's dead.
Good.
All right, I think we're heading toward line of the day.
I think so.
Fuck.
Scott Rigsby was good today.
What's Obama lying about? Talking about.
Whoa! Iraqi leaders want to take more responsibility.
Yeah.
Is he over there
so
now?
Should you? Yeah, he had to.
He's in Jordan. He actually asked me to go, but I was like, yeah. Fucking guy loves me.
Yeah, Obama?
Yeah. Likes my take on things. No.
Hey, it's hot in here.
I'll say.
The fuck? Who's running the air conditioning? Jimmy's grandmother? Come on.
No, it was my
She
mother.
said open the
Mother.
window.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was my
Fuck
mother.
that one up.
No, it was her.
It's
Open
too
the
early
window.
for comedy.
Yeah, he's over there.
All right.
I'm gonna go home and pretend to write jokes.
Why don't we do line of the day?
No,
or at
all
least
right.
start that process. Sponsored by Carbonite.com.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah? Carbonite backs up your computer hard drive so you never have to worry about losing any of your files. Check it out at Carbonite.com. .com. But
Yeah, I
promo
will.
code XM for some kind
Lose
of
your
deal, I
fucking
guess.
Files.
Here is a runner-up line of the day.
For lack of a better word, they're kind of like my idols. You know,
Is that
just
right?
From the science and the engineering standpoint. I mean, it's
Why, did
brilliant
you
stuff.
go to school for engineer?
No, I dropped out of high school.
Fanboy! Danny with a runner-up line of the day.
Nice.
You like the Mythbusters
That was
today,
a good
huh?
one.
I love the Mythbusters. It's probably
The one guy is such a bore.
The mustache guy?
he is a bore, but that kind of
Who's the one that
Which one's Penn?
That's it's Jamie. Jamie.
Jamie has the personality?
No, Adam's the personality.
Adam has the personality,
But I mean,
right.
you know, it's set up like it's
They're nice guys, but only one was going to come in yesterday, and we weren't sure if it was the boring one or the good one. So we were like debating which one was coming in.
Yeah, but even if it was just Jamie by himself, that probably would have been
Jamie makes the show.
Hysterical in its own.
Which one's
way.
Jamie? The one that talked the most?
No, that's Adam. Jamie's
All right,
the guy.
I'm confused. See?
The guy with the mustache is the one who didn't say shit. He was the drag.
The weird I'm from another time mustache guy.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he's
There's a
kinda
myth that he
dry.
has a personality.
The handlebar ones.
He had a thicker mustache.
Well, I mean, I know way too
A
much about this
mustachio
show,
man.
but
Danny really likes us.
originally Discovery Channel approached him singularly,
Oh, no kidding.
and he just said to them, he's like, I don't have the personality to do a
well,
show.
then they
And
see that. At least he knew.
Right.
At least he's.
So they brought Adam along.
Yeah, which was like they worked together. in
Yeah,
the
they
past.
hooked him up with that firecracker.
Here's another runner-up line of the day.
What's one about a shark that everybody thinks that's just not true? Like, will they chase you on land and into the street?
Only in a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Well, is there one that's not? Like, what is one that is not?
The fucking boo. He felt good about that line too.
My question it sucked, and his answer sucked even more.
His answer was the worst.
Oh god, just silence.
Right, just awkwardness.
Even Danny couldn't bail it out. He loves him.
Here's another runner-up line of the day. Put that way before.
Yeah, that is that. Well, the book I have, my ex-girlfriend who did eventually leave me, got me your book for Christmas last year because I've been kind of obsessed with you for a long time.
She's got good taste.
Yeah, she really does. She left me for a gentleman of color.
That's more offensive than saying, you know what? That's the beauty of that.
It's cracking Scott up, man.
Well, he's from Georgia. They love that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Can we call your dad?
I don't like that's creeping me out. His legs over there.
I know because there's two of them.
That's kind of creepy, Scott.
Yes.
That is weird. The one leg is crossing.
It looks
over
like the
other leg.
chair has actually.
Yeah, it's bizarre. All right.
I could leave one and could you take one of your legs out from the table and just replace it.
What legs are you going to be wearing later today?
I'm just gonna use my walking legs, the one that I have on.
How many
today.
sets of legs do you have? You showed us the ones you got on.
Well, I've got the running
You got
legs,
the spatula
swimming legs.
feet. We
Yeah.
call them the spatula feet.
Yep.
The flippy.
Just those two. Yeah.
And then the thing for the bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 3 sets.
3 sets. All right, let's go to another runner-up line of the day.
I had enough. Tightrope. It's like enough about the rope. We know the sky. We get it.
I think she got sick of looking the other way. God. He's getting another piggyback ride. Good old Philippe.
Yeah, they said my name wrong.
Yeah, we were disappointed with Philippe. He's a hero to us, and now it's like, ugh,
He's just a fucking guy who walked on a wire. Fuck him.
you know,
The French are very difficult.
he's an artistic fruit.
Actor. I am an artist, yeah? Well, then fucking paint a bowl of fruit and stay off the fucking...
He brought up juggling too. What's the obsession with fucking French people and juggling?
Yeah, they like it.
Put him on a fucking unicycle, paint his face.
I'm an
send him-
artist. Are you?
Exactly. I don't see your
really?
shit in the Louvre.
Yeah, he's an artist, and now he's juggling. Yeah,
They're gonna
Fucking,
hang a
they go
fucking-
hand in hand.
They're gonna hang a wire in a fucking museum? No.
And stop being so cool and answer the
Juggling.
question, why did you do it?
Yes, this is a stupid question. No, it's not. It's a stupid thing to walk across the fucking wire between two buildings. That's why there's sidewalks.
I love how we turn on people because we just...
I am what I do. Well, it's all bullshit.
What was his answer to why?
I don't know.
I forgot.
People are throwing things at me, calling me queer.
At least
It's
you didn't
like
say,
you should-
why not?
Nobody
You shouldn't
liked me.
ask
It's
why.
street level.
Yeah.
His answer was, you shouldn't ask why.
You shouldn't
Yeah,
ask
you know
why.
what? You're right. We shouldn't have had you in here, fuckface.
Yeah, it's called an interview. What are we supposed to ask you?
You fucking go get your easel and your fucking beret, you cunt.
Go get a croissant.
I'm not just meeting you at
Leave us alone,
Starbucks.
stupid. Right.
I got your shitty book, which me and my girlfriend laughed at.
I know. You were fucking like saying what a big fan you were, and he was getting more fucking flip with you.
Believe me, I just
Because
wanted...
it's cool not to have fans or a purpose or any of that
Is
shit.
that what that is? That
Shut
cool?
the fuck
Really?
up.
I wish I knew that's what he thought.
He did it for exposure.
Here,
course
Carl
he
Wallenda
did.
fell. Fuck him. You're next.
Yeah. He could
I love how Jimmy has his books and his book.
Oh, I couldn't have been nicer. Fucking
Cut
fruit.
to Jimmy wiping his ass with his DVD.
But the book was terribly written, the documentary. Ugh. They had to hide for a couple. He thinks I'm blowing the big secret. Hey, stupid. You fuck, this is not the Dark Knight. Everybody knows you're here. You're talking to us.
No
You
shit.
live.
It's about as surprising as the ending of the Bible. Fucking.
Yeah. What do you think happens? Did you almost fall off in your cock helmet and caught the wire?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You walked, you waved, and now you're here boring everybody to tears.
Fucking landed in a fountain.
Exactly. Why don't you fucking eat a croissant and then throw yourself off a building?
Yeah. What have you
exactly.
done lately? That was 1974.
Exactly.
Yeah, no shit. A little sabbatical in between jumps there, fuckface.
How about you start walking again?
I would love if he. I would
Mr.
love.
Artist.
I would love once he retires that he falls off his roof fixing something. Fucking paralyzed. How funny would that be? He slips in his tub. Now he's shitting into a bag in his hip.
That fucking...
Not such an artist now, are you there? Fucking empty that piss bag, douche.
That cunt, he corrected me on everything. I'm like, this is a horrifying picture. Well, this is not horrifying. Really? Then why do you live up there? You fuck. Why don't you live on the wire?
Let me see that fucking French.
It is an amazing photo, though.
Yeah.
That's a great photo.
Is he laying down?
Yes, that's what I was trying to show you before.
What
It's a
the
horrifying
fuck?
photo.
Nice time to take a nap.
And
That's not horrifying. Really? Then why aren't hotels doing it? Of course it's horrifying.
how the fuck do you say his name if it's not Philippe Petit?
Exactly. Hey, you. Hey, asshole that walked in between two buildings.
There's probably some little French thing you got to do that we're not doing.
Yeah.
I like how we question if somebody really walked on the moon. That might have been fake, but I have to fucking take for granted this is for real. This is fucking. He could have fucking photoshopped this yesterday. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, where's the video?
Exactly. We talked shit 2 hours later.
He goes, yeah, the Twin Towers called me. Yeah, they called Bin Laden too. Fuckhead. Obama at Jordan Marsh. What?
Do you think he twinkle toes his way from room to room when his girlfriend is sleeping?
He enters the room backwards with his ass out.
Moonwalking.
His quote, long-term girlfriend is sound asleep and Mr. Twinkle Toes is going to the other side of the house.
I like that Phil Pettit.
Exactly.
Fucking
Every fucking thing he called out. It didn't hit me at the time.
I know.
So Carl Wallenda, I would never question a wire walker. He fucking fell.
You wouldn't question the wind?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to figure out there. It's
He really
windy.
was a snippy motherfucker. I wish I would have been as annoyed then as I am now. I swear to God, it didn't hit
You were
me.
starting to get there. I was hoping it would really blow up in his face.
But if I don't ask if, you do ask if. That's why you fucking took a year. Otherwise, you would have walked up with a string and thrown it.
In other words, we shouldn't give a fuck at all about this, is what you're telling us. So why are you making a movie about it, Dink?
Exactly. Write a poem.
You motherfucker!
I told Jimmy on the walkover I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't go after him a little bit because I was feeling it big time. I was so feeling it.
Well, it wasn't my place to do so.
I didn't do it, but oh well.
Neither did I. Before you get me at 11 a.m. and I'm tough.
He's long gone, and now we have the balls. Guy couldn't have been more than 5'6".
Hey,
the guy's
Artist,
name
how
is
old are ya?
Petite, and we didn't want to pick on him.
Right.
Hey, and he didn't want to answer the age question. Hey, fucking mister, it's all about art. How old are you? If you have friends that are 90 years young, how about you? How young are you?
Right.
How old's your prostate?
And I know teenagers that died. Great.
Big
Answer
deal.
the fucking question. When are you going to be blowing out the candles next?
Yeah.
And how many are there going to be on the cake?
When they find a lump on your left nut, are you going to fucking imagine that away too? With your great fucking positive thinking? Thoughts on?
Big
Anyways.
We will be reading about him in the future. I'm going to give it 2-3 years tops.
Yeah. Again.
He's going to need a little more attention, and he's going to do the wrong thing.
He is.
Yeah.
Again.
All right, let's do another runner-up line of the fucking day.
We also got the sign, a 500-pound bomb from one of those drones.
Ralphie May was there? Couldn't get that one out fast enough.
I was going with the Voss joke myself, but you beat me to it. I didn't know they shipped Voss's act over to Afghanistan.
That would have just been mean-spirited.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's not 500 pounds.
I'm Philippe Petit.
Yes, you are, Philly.
Are you?
Exactly. Answer the fucking question.
Right.
Don't try to call us out because we're not asking you right. Then
I'll help you land on a wrought iron fence next time. Right. Goes right through you.
Right
like
through
a
your
fucking.
Right through your asshole. fucking Philippe Petit. And then I'm giving away the movie, he says. And then he turns around and gives away his own fucking movie. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, land.
Holy shit. Now I wish I could give away more of the movie. Where are we up to?
If I didn't hate it, I would.
Huh?
I blocked it out like a childhood rape. Get the video camera running, you asshole.
Yeah, it's really cool that there's no videotape of it. What the fuck are you thinking?
It's not cool.
Right.
Sucks a dick.
Tropical storm Dolly.
Yeah, Dolly's going to be maybe a 1.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah. What is it called again?
That's all it takes of those houses down there.
It's a 1. Yeah, category 1. Thank you. Sure.
Fucking made of mud and balsa wood. Huh.
Yeah. Fucking let's.
bowl of chili would take the roof off.
Anything else on Philippe Petit?
What else is there to say? I didn't realize. I didn't add it all up until as we're talking. I wish
noticed.
I had.
We were so excited.
Well, that's what's funny. You were the biggest fan. You knew. You took the time to research it. You fucking knew everything about it. And he was getting snippy with you.
Oh, he didn't like Elaine Robert. That set him on the wrong path.
Oh, I knew that was gonna. You know.
Why would it?
Because French guys are like catty cunts, is what they are, and you can't. You know. They're just fucking.
He made it sound like the guy was climbing a ladder. I mean, that's pretty impressive too.
Yeah. He didn't just do it once either, fucko. He does it all over the
That's
world.
right, motherfucker.
Wonder. You fucking sang your modern English. You fucking sang always something there to remind me, and then you fucking retired.
Thank you, Norman Greenbaum.
This guy up, Elaine Robert is going up and down the buildings, causing a ruckus everywhere. What do? One walk and you're fucking finished.
Watch out, Jimmy. Heard he's downstairs waiting for you.
Big deal. What's he gonna do? Walk across something? That was my big comeback.
A great rant, but modern English sang "I'll melt with you."
What did I say?
You said always something there to
which
remind
is
me.
by that band.
Exactly. Who gives a fuck one and who gives a fuck two?
To remind. I forgot the name of that fucking 80s band. Naked Eyes, thank you.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
I'm glad I mixed that up.
I fucking watched this guy's movie yesterday. Motherfucker. Take your wire and choke yourself.
Chicago.
I'm singing Chicago.
Fucking guy. I should have just talked about Elaine Robert more.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is. Shut up, you fucking do.
Of course you do.
Liar.
We know.
Oh, man.
He's lying. I didn't like his lies.
Is that the Pakistani version?
Pakistani Chicago. It's a cover band in fucking Kabul.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Why don't we...
here.
Why don't we do line of...
Where you going, the doctors?
Yeah, I gotta see what this wing's all about. Stupid wing.
Fuck.
Fucking torn tendon.
Me too.
So... I have a 11 o'clock actually on the other side of town. All right, fuck you, Philippe Petit. Here's your line of the day.
Here comes line of the day. Line of the day.
My God. See how
For the
stupid we
person
are?
who has a blue sun.
Exactly. Well, I got a new husband that's banging me good. As soon as I said that, I knew that was going to be trouble. Fuck.
When did you say that?
Exactly. I heard myself saying that. I went, what am I doing to myself? All right, ScottRigsby.com. RIGSBY.com. And let's put you over the top and win that award.
Appreciate it, brother. It's been fun, and man, you guys are hilarious.
And your dad still won't be impressed.
Who knows, man? You might put him over the top. He might finally be impressed.
That pisses me off. You should take your spatula feet and kick him in the groin. That's what I would do.
I think he is impressed.
I
He's
missed
just one
that
of those
part
guys
about
who
his
doesn't
dad.
know how to express his
Yeah, he's in that
emotions.
generation.
I think
He probably is. He just doesn't know how to express it.
What else does his son have to do?
But it's again, it's probably not a case of not being proud. It probably is literally a case of a lot of old people are shitty at expressing anything, except
I
for
like that about
annoyance.
him.
I would agree. They are.
I like that about my dad.
But Mom,
I know
is
he loves
supportive,
me.
and your friends are supportive.
But that's considered men are considered. You're supposed to be rocks, whereas women are supposed to be the emotional ones or the ones that get carried away. That's old school. That is
them
old
and
school.
fags.
By the way, a lot of people think we're going to trash you tomorrow there, Scott. 'Cause
No.
that's what we do. We wait for you to leave. That's not happening.
My friends
That's
bust
not
my balls
happening.
all the time.
It's not happening.
No, absolutely not.
We took a couple little shots, spatula feet, things like that.
Now, if you try to cross a high wire with those feet, we'll be fucking jumping all over.
I just wish I would have fucking. I was starting to get irritated at one point
with Philippe.
Yeah. And I can feel
that's
myself.
all I want to talk about. Can we call me later so we can talk about this asshole for another hour?
Yeah, I would like to.
I'm serious.
I'm annoyed that I don't want to call him out now, and I didn't in front of him. Well, I was trying to pin him on one point.
What was that?
Just that fucking you do plan and you do look for the negative.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't do it aggressively, although I should have. So I'm just a douche.
You should have said, "Did your girlfriend shave her pussy or the rest of those dirty French?"
I should have said, what would you have done if it snowed that day? Would you have slipped?
By the way, he had this long-term girlfriend that was there for his dream, and he broke up with her after he made the walk. And this French broad goes, it was the perfect time to break up with me.
Exactly.
It was a perfect ending to our relationship.
Can everybody stop taking lemons and try to make lemonade and just admit the guy's a self-centered douche?
Yeah, he dumped you because he knew there's going to be some fucking girls waiting to suck his cock because now he's famous. And she's making it sound romantic.
Christ, it's an easier way to getting pussy than that. Holy fucking moly.
He tells a story how he had a romp in the hay after that.
Yeah, with who?
some fan. He got fans immediately.
What was his
he
name?
banged one of them.
Who from?
Whoa, hey!
Tom Petite.
All right, fuck Philippe Petite in his fart box.
I love how this.
He just turned on him.
I love how the whole XM show is dedicated to shitting on the guy.
You know why? Because
From the
I
first
invested
show.
a lot of time in this fucking guy with his dumb documentary and fucking Googling my ass off the last few days. This fucking guy. Yeah, he's pissed off because we pronounced his name wrong. Sorry, I'm not French. I did the best I could. I took 2 years of fucking French. I should have taken 3, obviously.
You're lucky we didn't call you douche with a shitty documentary with no footage in it.
Right.
That's what we should have called you.
Lay douche.
Yeah.
That's all right.
How do you make a fucking hour-and-a-half documentary?
He's a good kid.
How do you make an hour-and-a-half documentary with 3 pictures of you in between 2 big buildings?
Exactly. We get it. There was a wire. You walked. Right already. Next. What else do you do?
Imagine he was, this might be a little sensitive, but imagine Philippe Petite was doing that tightrope act.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Oh, that would have been the one you could have really zang him with. Too bad you didn't do it on September 11th, you fucking jerker.
Then now what? Now what, sir? Now what?
You have to just go to the other building. He probably was the only one that survived. Whatever one that hit you, just go to the other one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh, walk on a wire. Ooh.
Although I don't know that wire would have held up, see, if one of them went down.
Yeah, but it would have.
What are you using his positive thinking method now?
Yes, I would just keep my eye on the thing. Really? What do you do if you drop the stick, faggot? Answer the question.
I didn't answer that either.
Drop the stick.
Yeah, what do you
yeah, but in layman's terms, Jimmy, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to listen to the interview again.
And I was
later
actually
today.
mocking like my hands.
Yeah, put your hands facing up.
Put your hands facing up.
Yeah, what's he gonna, Jimmy, you gonna fall off his stool 3 feet high?
Exactly. It's
Doesn't
a
really
radio
matter.
show. How about just answering the
He
question?
corrected you on every turn.
I really would like to scream in his fucking face right now, but I just didn't. It was as it was happening. I did not put 2 and 2 together. I wish I would have.
By the way, your sweater was awful. It was chilly in studio. He put on the queerest sweater I've ever
Exactly.
seen.
Could have been gay if he put on Rock Hudson's body. If he threw it around himself like a stole, that wouldn't have been gayer.
That's definitely a re-gifter at Christmas.
Oh, it was just awful.
It's
fucking awful.
We got to go because we both have doctor appointments
Yeah,
today.
go fuck yourself, everybody.
Getting me sinuses.
Why are you going to the doctor? Just think positive. Your nose will clear up.
All right.
What is that?
Scott,
I gotta go to comics. Anybody know where that is?
Oh, next week, Nick DiPaolo at Comics, 14th and 9th Avenue.
I gotta go over there today to be interviewed by some magazine.
Oh, you really? Yeah, 14th.
But yeah, August 1st and 2nd at Comics.
COMIXNY.com, one word.
Yeah. Go to nickdip.com for fucking ticket information. August 1st and 2nd. It'll be terrific.
You come to New York a lot, Scott?
Yeah, I should be back in.
All right, you come see us next time. You're all right,
love
man.
to.
Yeah.
Next time we're getting your
Thanks,
dad
guys.
on the phone.
All
We're
right.
gonna ask him what is it gonna take. All right, let's go home.
Right.
Thanks, Nick. Nick DiPaolo. NickDip.com.
You got it. Thank you, fellas.
All right, fuck off.
You got a war face?
What the F?
Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face!
Oh!
Bull! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face!
No!
You don't scare me! Work on it!
Jackass.
Anthony,